Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like wrestling on YouTube, join Hello, welcome to the...
That lad from Slayer with his technical difficulties.
Oh, I thought you were
Hang on, let me just check. Yeah, it's set to Constipated B. Perfect. That's right. The Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast, WrestleMania Weekend Edition. Ooh la la. Listening to the dulcet tones of Maffew, Ross, and Jack, and also Tubman.
Hello, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Hey. Go press the button.
There,
It works.
Hello.
How are you guys doing? Been a good Easter?
Oh, man.
Fantastic.
You know, nothing else of note going on?
No,
Just a lot of
just been
chocolate.
working. No bank holidays around here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least Mania, right? And there's positive opinions and negative opinions out there, but there's lots to talk about. What am I doing?
There is lots to talk
Yeah,
about.
no, there
This is a
lots
good
to talk
start to a sentence. Now here comes the second half of the
about.
sentence.
I've lost confidence halfway
It
through.
went.
No, that's because you
Much
watched
like WrestleMania
Like
Night
the
2.
Pope, it's no longer here.
you watched the kickoff shows, didn't you? So you got enough of the in case
God,
they've
really?
talking analysis that sounds really clever, but it's just saying
Yeah.
some really simple things, but
Yeah.
in a very dynamic way.
Right. And you think you can do that on a podcast room with a bunch of diddlers? It's not quite the same.
No. How's it been? You feeling all right now?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Don't know what the hell happened because there were so many people around me a week and a half ago that were so ill. It's like a game of Cluedo. I don't know who it was who did it.
Because you were at a wedding.
At the wedding, everyone got infections. Tom's just come back from his holling days. He didn't bring me back a fridge magnet, but he brought me back something. And and the cleaner at the other place is ill as well.
All right, the
So-
cold. Sorry. I thought you
Yeah,
were hinting
so
something. That's
I'm
all.
okay. It's just my body's just still recovering mentally. But I mean, the day it happened, though, it was like, I think I'm not very well. And I went from the bed to the couch, laid on the couch and went, all right, let's watch everything I've got on my watch list on Netflix. Watched all of it and went, all right, time to go to bed. It was that levels of effed up. So, and I still thought I could drag myself in to do the podcast somehow.
We
And they're
took
like,
the-
what am I going to do? Communicate with blinks?
We took the reins, and
Bless you.
I was humiliated somewhat. Pictures emerged of my drunken night in London, which was good.
They were the right
Oh,
side
really?
of fun.
They were.
Yeah, they were enough. They
They
wouldn't
were.
have put anything
Shout
bad
out
on
to shout out to Chris, the photographer who sent them in.
Yes, thank
Super
you, Chris.
Sharkosaurus photography, who used to be a.
Oh,
yeah.
I know him. He's a good lad.
Yeah, well, I thought he was a good lad, and then he sent in these pictures of me having a great time. Having a great time.
There's just a set of them where he's having a conversation with people in the crowd, and it's just the evolution of his face.
Yeah.
Reacting to what's happening in the conversation. And then he ends with a little cheeky look down the camera. I was like, what a lovely journey we've been on there with the
Yeah.
pictures. You can vote for those at patreon.com/cultaholic for the Hall of Fame on
lovely
Thursday.
I also apparently may have met Damien Priest.
No,
You
apparently
may
about
have.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? he's on stage at the same time as me. I'm behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ross is like, do you shake his hand? I was like, don't know.
That's so great.
No.
I may have met someone.
Yeah.
And how are you doing, Ross?
I'm absolutely fine. Out the cold, into the WrestleMania. That's what they say. Nice
Oh,
to
yeah.
be sat. 3 little diddlers all in a row for the first time in a little while there.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
It's been 2 little diddlers for a while now. 3 little diddlers are all hand in hand once again.
Sat on some speckled logs,
That's
eating the most delicious grub.
Yum,
Yum, yum.
yum.
One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool.
Then there was 2 diddlers.
Yum, yum.
Whoa!
Right. What are we starting off
Off
with?
to a
then?
great start as usual. Should we get right into the wrestling now?
Oh, yes.
Go on.
SmackDown. As we see the superstars arrive at the venue, LA Knight attacks Tama Tonga and slams his arm in a car door.
Well, the big news at the start of the show is that Cody Rhodes has got himself a pair of Dharmas, which could have had lasting ramifications after WrestleMania weekend. We're sat here now. He hasn't turned heel, but there was a chance on Friday that he might have.
I can't imagine your excitement when you saw the Dharmas.
I've got my appointment booked 2 weeks' time. I'm going to get myself some Dharmas.
The Cody effect working again.
We'll have to set up a camera outside the office whenever Ross arrives. You can step out of his car and follow him in.
Yes!
Looking round.
The background, you and Fraser are slamming each other in car doors.
Aye, especially after Fraser's fraud. Goodness me.
Oh, yeah.
Been taking money from Jack.
No,
You heard about this?
my card got frauded, and it was the night I went to North, and the person who was using it was spending it on the TikTok store, and I was like,
What?
Who? I've never used TikTok. And then Ross was like, Fraser. I was like, oh!
What are you laughing at?
I've got
Victim of fraud.
the car details and use it for TikTok. That's
Honestly,
obviously, it's a very serious crime,
I've got
but
the-
also
I've got
funny
the-
as hell.
I got the money back. Up the TSB.
I almost had that. Somehow lost my card at Aldi one time, and I had to ring up the bank and go, "Yeah, cancel my card." And he goes, "Oh yeah, there's some things here. There's some dodgy, fake fighting websites." He goes, "No, those are mine."
Fake fighting
Yeah,
website.
the guy was completely dismissive. Like, I'm not even going to say the word wrestling. I'm a banker.
But it was a shame for Tama Tonga, back to the wrestling bit, because he
Yeah.
broke his arm in kayfabe and was taken to a local medical facility for x-rays out of WrestleMania. But his dad was there instead.
They were ruthless with people not being on this WrestleMania show. Unlike previous years when it's been like, get the Battle Royal on the pre-show, chuck everyone in. No, Triple H has got strict guidelines.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter to them because there's no bloody royalties.
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
there's
of
like,
course.
the Battle Royal DVD.
Yeah.
It'd
Royal
have been
event.
nice to see Tama Tonga at Mania and all the crowd going, yeah.
You got a lighter on you, Richard? I feel like lighting a lighter for Pamela Bailey. Bailey, whose real name is Pamela. You don't have to have a lighter. But
I was trying to find something else appropriate, but I can't see it.
that's all right, Richard. Just off the back of that discussion there, how she was treated this WrestleMania weekend was disgusting.
Yeah, they said that there was a report from Fightful, I think, saying that this has been the plan the whole time. It's not not a last minute injury or anything. Bailey was always going to be written off. Yeah.
So why take away the Roxanne Perez Stand Deliver match, give Roxanne next to bugger all for Stand Deliver,
Yeah.
and then take everything away from Bailey? What a load of nonsense.
It's like NXT's booking's complete crap.
And the main well,
More on that later. But yes, I always enjoy a little attack during the intro just to keep you awake, because if it's the same every time, why even care about it? One time I want someone to attack during the consolation thing at the start. Just with someone yelling, "Expect the unexpected." Watch how that worked, but I'm not WWE, am I? Then here comes that cheeky monkey, Seth Rollins. That's what they call him. He sits cross-legged in the ring like a cheeky monkey and wonders if CM Punk came back to wrestling for the fans or for a big fat paycheck. The same goes for his return to WWE at Survivor Series. Tell Seth when he's telling lies. At least Roman Reigns doesn't even pretend to care about the fans. He's always only cared about himself. And when Paul Heyman brought him in as The Shield, Seth never got any of the credit. Everybody in the back wanted to concentrate on Roman because he was the next John Cena and the next cash cow. While Roman was being selfish and Punk was sitting at home, Seth was doing everything he could for WWE. It all culminated last year when he made sure Roman lost to Cody. At WrestleMania, he'll be in the most important triple threat match in wrestling history.
massive.
Unbreakable 2005. And he'll sacrifice everything to make sure the industry moves forward in the right direction. That's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
And
Well,
the
it
crowd
was.
get that when he's saying that. Like they get that.
That's what he
Heyman's
says.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
I would have, knowing now what we know about how that triple threat panned out, and it did go the way that people had sort of cottoned on to over the course of, probably started on Raw, and when Rollins stood tall at the end and was looking at Heyman, and then after this promo, I think a lot of people by the match itself were thinking, this is how it's going to happen, and it did. I maybe would have preferred if they'd kept it a little bit more of a secret then. I don't know. Do you think they dropped too many clues, or do you think it's fine?
I think it was that shocking of a moment, it just about past what you're getting out there for me anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
There was still that little bit, he surely won't. Not Roman and CM at the same time.
Yeah.
Or Seaman, as Michael Cole
Yeah,
called it.
I honestly thought, wait, I must be hearing things. I must be so out of it. Then the people online, I see.
It's his nickname, Seaman CM Punk.
Yeah, yeah.
Ahoy there. What about Tugboat, yo? What a great speech from Tugboat. Nice and short, not too much. And then Triple H came on, 70 minutes. My goodness me.
I've not watched it.
Great time.
Oh.
Great time.
It was great ASMR. If you don't believe me, ask the crowd.
Everyone fell asleep. Booker T fell asleep. Jey Uso fell
Glasses.
asleep. Bianca Belair, after Michelle McCool finished, was like, you can just exhale on the old cheeks there.
I saw someone
Fantastic.
suggest that that's why Jey Uso ended up winning, because Gunther's awake and Jey brought sunglasses to have a tactical nap before his match the next day.
But back to this promo, I reckon Triple H could make Rollins wrestle for free off the back of this promo. He doesn't want the big checks, does he? He just does it for the love of the fans, love of the game.
And the love of he's a company guy.
Yeah.
He's the company.
Take all his money away.
Yes.
Then we'll see.
And we will see.
Yeah, but I agree with what you said there. There was just enough to make you go, oh, wait, Rollins is in this three-way match, isn't he? It's not just all Punk and Reigns. And also to get people excited at the idea of Heyman leaving with him, because Rollins' gear mixed in with Paul Heyman, you just got Elton John.
The clothes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I should have made that a bit more clear. I do apologize. Oh, I see.
It was a John Tickle of a promo.
If you're going to sit cross-legged in the ring to do a promo, Oh no, but it's Seth. He's a little Weasley man. He's not little at all, but he's a Weasley man. It made sense for his character to do that, I suppose.
I get really worried about doing that nowadays because there's every chance you can lean over a bit that you don't want to lean over.
Well,
well done, Rollins.
He's a CrossFit man, isn't he? So he'll be all right.
That's why I'm going wrong.
Lean over a bit, you don't want to lean over.
My balls. Here are some cool and fun things that happen in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, the armbar. R-Truth tries to align with his JD pal Carlito, but gets attacked. Truth manages to throw Carlito out, but gets eliminated too. Karrion Kross tries to resume his feud with The Miz. Oh yeah, remember that? But Carmelo Hayes saves his tag partner. Rey Fenix eliminates both shagging cousins. Santos Escobar is not amused. He tries to team up with Fenix later, but gets eliminated by him as well. The Creeds eliminate Tozawa, so Otis clotheslines him to the outside in revenge, accidentally eliminating himself in the process as well. Chad Gable is left isolated and gets eliminated by Fenix after attack from the LWO. Karrion Kross gets in with it with the LWO and says Rey Mysterio is just using them. He's eventually eliminated by Dragon Lee and glares at him from the outside. Miz saves Mello from the elimination at the hands of Pete Dunne, sacrificing his own chances to win the match in the process. Rey Fenix makes the final three, but is eliminated after a surprise run-in from El Grande Americano. Carmelo Hayes last eliminates Andrade to win the trophy. He celebrates with The Miz.
Serviceable.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I mind it, actually.
Oh, it was a good armbar, me. Lots of storyline stuff outlined there by Jack that very much made sense, especially Karrion Kross's stuff I enjoyed. Although it was disgusting to see A-Town Down Under getting rid of Pretty Deadly mere hours before a camera cut in the Hall of Fame. When Tugboat was talking about teams that don't gel in the business, the camera cuts to A-Town Down Under. And PD were felled by them. Another unfortunate camera cut in the Hall of Fame was Undertaker saying Michelle McCool didn't get here by her last name. And then it cut to Natalia, just sat there watching.
Oh!
Cold and callous cameraman. Oh, director.
Callous cameraman.
Yes, but mean as well. The final three humped as well for me before Americano got Phoenix out there as well. He hates all the bloody luchadors he does.
He does. And it was really weirdly fortunate, actually, for them that they did this with Phoenix and El Grande Americano. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ray.
Yeah.
And his groin, he's torn his groin. It's not his knee this time, it's his groin.
I put you can't convince me Rey Mysterio can be hurt.
Yeah.
Give him a few stem cells.
I was going to say, how do you get the stem cells into the groin? That's a new one, surely.
Well, don't ask questions, don't know the answer to.
Jam him up there, baby.
Aye, but speaking of jam up, this match was pretty jam up for an armbar. I'll just put here, Mello's the winner. Oh, sure, now you push him after you spent the year doing Now with him. But I did enjoy Wade talking about how the wrestlers know this is a consolation prize for not being on WrestleMania, so they want to prove themselves, which is like, it's true.
Yeah.
Fenix not winning because he's beefing with Grande, I can live with, as that'll mean more than this silly battle royal will in a week's time. Oh, good psychic Maffew.
It's not a silly battle royal. They've done greats like 2018 Matt Hardy and 2017 Mojo Rawley and and more greats of the game.
Baron Corbin.
2015. Corbin might have won the first one.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
That was Antonio Cesaro.
Oh yeah, he slammed Big Show. That was a good moment. That was a good one.
And that did wonders for him.
Well, yeah. I don't mind it. I know that Mello isn't who you typically expect as because I thought once it got down, once it had thinned out a bit, and Otis was still in there, I was like, Otis would be a good one. But then when he clotheslined himself out, I was thinking, well, who? Now you've got like a high flyer and a luchador and stuff. You've not really got many battle royal guys, but
right. It's just who's guaranteed employment next month.
But at least it furthered the Miz and Mello story and everything. And I found their celebration really cute when Miz came along and went, "You did it! Yes, I'm the Miz. I'm left-handed."
That's his catchphrase.
The most left-handed, right? Sorry, please carry on.
Where were you this?
Ross pointed out last week that we've been bringing that back, and you were right. It's like, why are we doing that? Yeah.
He wasn't there this weekend though. Big DT, the Trumpster.
Yeah.
Because there was rumours, wasn't there, as the weekend got close that he was going to appear.
Well, yeah, there were rumours and people not stopped talking about how great he was.
Yeah. The big dog himself, Roman Reigns.
What a weird PR week it was for WWE.
Certainly was.
We're not allowed to critique the show. We just have to enjoy it as fans as well. That was the other big thing.
I watched him further explain this point.
Triple A?
Yeah, so he says, like, if I said to you, I've been to the cinema to see Terrifier 3.
Oh, how was it, Ross?
It's a fantastic film. I fully recommend you go and watch it. You go and watch that with a different perspective than if you go and say, I'm going to go and watch this show and analyse it and then pick it apart bit by bit. If I just said, go and watch the show and enjoy it, or go and watch the show and write a review, you watch it it in two different ways, and he more enjoys the not thinking about it way.
You can still go in. You can still go in to watch something with an open mind and still not enjoy it.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can.
Oh, all right.
I mean, obviously, he's the. What's his official title?
The game.
I almost call him. He's the king of kings of WWE.
Chief content
He's the
officer.
cool. Wait, does he have that on the lapel? That's not right. But
Chief content officer.
there you go. I'm gonna call him that. The cerebral assassin of WWE has got to say something like, "Oh, man, cheer up." Like, I get where he's coming from, and I do think, you can be too negative if you just rely on what people tweet and stuff like that. You think no one's having any bloody fun. I get where he's coming from, but yeah, it is also funny that people go.
It's the timing as well, because like no one was saying boo to a goose this time last year, were they? You were going radio rental because it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then this year is just
Yeah. What was CM Punk's thing? I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. It seemed because I didn't think he was going to be saying something like that, but then he did say something like that.
Punk said this.
Yeah. I started saying I, for some reason, just assumed you knew it off the top of your head because CM Punk said it. I realised how offensive that is to you,
When?
Jack.
This week? Or is it an old
Yeah, it's
thing?
things like, wow, people think I should leave the company now.
Okay.
because it's a MAGA company.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
apparently.
MAGA company. It's like, I'm not doing that.
No, I imagine most big companies in America are MAGA companies.
That was the thing over here. I mean, I'm sure Americans were like, oh, no. And everyone seemed to online being like, oh, this is really bad. They're saying these things. And it's like, you know what they're saying is what the rest of the world assumes they're all thinking anyway.
Yeah.
So is the PR issue that they opened their mouth?
I know. I wouldn't judge any of the wrestlers for working there.
Yeah.
Yeah, strange.
I judge myself for talking about it more than I do the rest of them working there. Anyway, we see a previously recorded sit-down interview between Charlotte Flair and Wade Barrett. That'll be a good match. Charlotte doesn't like how things have gotten in their feud with Tiff, but it's made people more invested in their match, which is the most important thing. Well, yeah.
I mean, this felt like just a real out-of-character interview.
Yeah. I think it was just a little snippet from something that was shown on the 3-hour
was.
kickoff show, which I didn't sit and watch.
I did not. How was it, Jack?
It was fine. Night 1 was a lot more eventful than Night 2's kickoff show. Nothing happened on the Night 2 kickoff show. Well, Tony Hinchcliffe turned up, but everyone talked over him, so I couldn't hear what he said.
Thank God for that.
I was waiting to see if he was going to say something controversial, but the lads in the office were talking about... he was wearing like a camouflage suit, and there were quips like, I can't even see him. I was tired on Night 2. And we were all quite tired by Night 2, so... yeah.
God, when he did commentary on that New Day match, I was begging him for doing some slurs after that. Some of the worst comedy.
Oh, that's not what Tony said, though. The lads in the office.
Oh, I thought you meant that's what Tony was doing.
when Tony-
I thought it was hey guys.
No.
Hey.
Big E was like, you're just a floating head.
Oh, no, I don't think he was on at the same time as Big E, if I remember off the top of my head. But no, he came on screen and I was thinking, right, let's listen now and see if he says anything.
Yeah.
And then the lads in the office just started heckling him, basically. So I, was like, I wanted to be like, lads, he can't hear you. I want to...
The lads in the
Oh,
office.
get that camouflage. Can't even see him. He's wearing camouflage, man. It was good. It was
Wank
good.
chat was in the office, not on the TV screen. Hop the cultaholic.
Hey. But yeah, not a lot said in this little snippet here. Other than, it's now part of the feud now. It's done a much better job of building this up than anything we had been planning. And yeah, I tend to agree.
Yeah.
Yes, agree.
Rhea Ripley arrives and says this will be her 6th WrestleMania. This one is probably the most important to her. She isn't going to make excuses. She's going to do what she has to do and get her title back. Io arrives, but is immediately interrupted by Bianca Belair.
I don't
She
get
got
it,
booed.
me.
I don't know.
She's done nothing wrong.
Yeah, everyone's been booing her.
She says tonight may be her last on SmackDown for a while because she's walking out with the belt. Naomi interrupts and wants to know why Belair has been ignoring her texts. Does their friendship mean so little to her? Belair doesn't want to talk about this anymore. Naomi knows exactly why she's been ignoring her. They argue, but here comes Jade, so Naomi runs away. She sneaks back in and shoves Jade into Ripley, who falls into Belair. Everybody brawls to the outside and Io hits the big moonsault. Io points at the sign. Jade and Naomi continue to brawl in the background until security break it up.
Yeah, there's certain parts of the card that sort of limped towards WrestleMania, and this was one of them for me because this segment has happened a couple of times now where Bianca and, well, it's mainly Bianca and Rhea, but this time we had Naomi thrown in there as well, getting at it. And Io obviously being the afterthought before doing something cool to become not the afterthought, and this happened again. So, not much new here.
I honestly thought this was a consolation afterthought for Rio, thinking she's never going to do it again. Well, they got me. They bloody got me.
It's how they did things back in the day.
Yes.
Oh, you were stood like with your arm raised and the belt over your head and the episode or whatever before the pay-per-view, you're losing.
Yeah. That's really what I thought was going to happen, but no.
Yeah. American made mock Rey Fenix for being eliminated by El Grande Americano. Dragon Lee steps in to defend Fenix. Rey Mysterio arrives too and suggests a 6-man tag.
Don't suggest that, Ray.
No!
Don't do it.
That was Brutus's laugh.
All right.
He laughed it out. It was great.
I thought you were
Great
just
laugh.
mocking an injured man.
Say, why are you mocking me? He's like, no, that's how I laugh. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bruce is definitely the funnier of the two. Even though Julius seems to be the one who gets the slight sort of edge in praise or whatever. I'm a Bruce boy.
Good lad.
Yeah.
He watched his reviews of crisps and that.
No, you showed me a clip of him once. He was like flirting with somebody or something.
I think he was fawning over Bailey's ass
Right. Yes, that was it. Yeah. Yeah.
while reviewing crisps or burgers or something.
I remember this clip now. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because it writes itself, doesn't it?
Well, I guess
I don't want
so.
to have to say what it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wrote itself.
I'd like to retract. Julius is my favourite member of American Men.
Raise your fists. Bump, bump. The MCMG are here for the tag title match against the Street Profits. The match goes back and forth, but DIY run in from the crowd and cause a no contest. They steal the belts from ringside and leave. Presumably going, hee 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 hee.
And obviously, that's going to set up a ladder match, or maybe even a TLC match at WrestleMania 41.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You would really would do, wouldn't you? Considering we've been sitting here for 6 months now, building up this entire tag team division sort of intertangled web. But I don't know if that happens or not. We'll have to find out soon. I can't wait to find out. Match was fine. It was Ron Seal. They all nailed everything they did. The carouette was nice, catching Gargano flying in there like a small Superman, Superboy.
Which he has a action figure of at home next to his little shoes.
His weird clothes for the Hall of Fame. Let's put pictures of our boss on our clothes because we need to keep our jobs somehow. Our pops aren't loud enough yet.
Oh, they did do
Gargano
that,
is in
didn't
a
they?
cult. He's trying to get out.
Was it you who retweeted something? I saw a retweet.
Die, Gargano, die. No, that
was
wasn't
like-
me. That wasn't me.
It was like the funniest thing that I think maybe like Kurt Hawkins or someone ever said. And it was like, did you hear this? Where the Hall of Fame, like years ago, and he was like, no, I couldn't hear it because Ricochet and Aleister Black were clapping too hard for Triple H. I can't remember if it was Kurt Hawkins or who it was. But I saw someone tweet in and said, this is the funniest thing this person's ever. It was an amazing thing. But I can't remember either who tweeted it or who actually said it. I wish I could remember. But no, it's. And then also, they're two of that NXT generation as well, aren't they? Yeah.
It's so odd. I don't care how close you are to a boss at work, but you don't do that. That's not normal.
I mean, Ciampa turned into him.
You see, he had a fall.
I was going to say,
God.
if they were doing a Hall of Fame this week, this would be the thing we'll be doing because bloody hell, had a fall.
Throw them up for the beard.
Shaved his beard.
Yeah. And you go, who are you?
I know.
You see Gargano and go, oh, no, you are. No.
What must Triple H's reaction have been? Like looking down at Candice LeRae's shoes and going, oh, God.
I think in wrestling it would be seen as just a great bit of
That
banter,
wasn't
wouldn't it?
weed.
Wrestling's weird, you know, the humour of wrestlers is weird. Maybe they'd have gone like, oh, let's go on, DIY.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aye.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Whereas your real mate, if they're English, you'll have like, look at my shoes. It says 4 out of 10. Anyway, yeah, just a SmackDown tag title match. The lowest title in WWE right now. Crowd did not care.
Oh,
Yeah, it's down there. It's in the conversation. It's high on the totem pole.
Come on.
Well done.
Speed Championship on its way.
The Secret Hervis complained to Nick Aldis about Chelsea Green's count-out loss last week. They serve him papers. Bloody hell, yeah. Screw that referee from last week for counting in fives.
That was a quick count.
It was a quick count.
1, 2, 10. But yeah, Nick goes, go away, I don't care. And
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he definitely does not do
more.
that.
He does more than that.
Oh, okay, I beg your pardon. No, we're not having a 6-woman tag match. We're having a singles match.
Read the rest of my note.
Aldis pretends to agree with Chelsea's concerns and books a rematch of Zelina Vega. He bans the others from ringside.
I'm sorry,
He also says Maffew should read the rest of the notes before getting
fine.
distracted like an ADHD riddled person.
Sorry. I should have.
You knew I was going to forget that bit. That's very good. We're on Cardi B will be the host of SummerSlam.
Yeah. Cardi,
Star of the
body,
B movie.
banging, body like a hot tamale. Right, sorry, that's Cardi B there.
That's good, yeah. Jerry Seinfeld will also be there.
Will he?
The B movie.
Oh,
No idea,
I've
Matthew,
never seen it.
unfortunately.
It's becoming old me. Oh, whatever. I'm not going to even waste time talking about that.
Cardi B is a wrestling fan, I believe. Or did she recently become one? Was she one of those celebrities who started tweeting about wrestling? Like, who the hell is this person? And then a million wrestlers jump in and go,
I have no idea. I'm just glad it's not that damn sexy red.
She's better than Sexy Red.
Oh.
What's the best Cardi B song, Richard?
Well, I couldn't tell you, to be
But-
honest.
So that wet ass P word? Huh?
Oh yeah, well that's pretty
Huh?
good, yeah.
Huh? Richard? Do I be that wet ass P word to you? Huh?
She's sampled that,
That wet ass P word,
No,
was it?
you
That
know-
was just sampled?
I like it like that. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, she's done one of them ones.
Oh, okay. Then I know what song you're
Yeah,
referring to.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's all right.
Oh, she is pretty.
Pretty all right.
Pretty all right. She's all right.
Aye.
She's better than Sexy Red, as
Hey,
well.
I tell you, if it's SummerSlam, she won't need a Cardi T.
Yes.
Cardi S.
Goodness
Here we
me.
go.
That's all I got.
She'd be called Cardi Bikini, aye. Because she'll be wearing a bikini instead. That's what the B would stand for.
Yeah.
Maybe she could have a Bacardi while wearing a bikini.
Cardi B.
Cardi
wow.
B, barbecue while having a bikini, having a Bacardi. SummerSlam, baby. Biggest party of the summer.
This has become very shooting stars. I don't know what's happening.
And, every year she gets a card B, a B card, a birthday card. It's your birthday card.
Yeah.
Aldous and the security team, stop this podcast. Sorry, DIY from leaving with the belt. The Street Profits and the Machine Guns arrive and try to start a brawl. DIY reluctantly give the belts back, and Aldous books a TLC match for next week's SmackDown.
Crowd
Boo!
boo, yeah.
What are we doing here?
Why do they? Oh, I thought they were going to run away and be rebels. DIY run away, and then they literally like naughty children went. Oh, there you go. I thought, oh, no one looks good. What's going on?
You should have tried and hide them. But what belts?
No, I'm surprised they didn't do that.
If you pulled together all the time, they were going, look, it's Jelly Roll. Look, it's rapper number 3. Look, it's Tony Hinchcliffe. Pull all that time together. We could have had a lovely TLC match in that show either night.
We had to see Dana White twice.
Oh, in quick succession.
I think that's because
yeah.
they forgot to put the UFC logo on the first time. That was my rationale. That's why we had to see him twice.
Dana who? Oh, that Dana White.
They were just 18 minutes apart. I don't know about I forgot what he looked like by that point. That whole 18 minutes. Poor Dana.
Poor Dana.
You narrated the voiceover as well at the start.
Yeah, he did.
Welcome to Vegas, the city that takes chances. And all that sort of stuff.
Beats up
didn't realise that
wives,
was
eh?
him.
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
Yeah, beats up our wives, yeah.
Yep, we all saw those videos. Randy Orton comes out for a promo. He talks about his dad's involvement in WrestleMania 1, and this will be Randy Orton's 20th Mania. Christ. So there's no way he's sitting out. He'll be showing up on Sunday with his gear, and he'll be ready whoever decides to take him on. Anybody who owns a pair of wrestling boots can step up. He should have challenged one of those fans that had like the world title replica belts they've got. Finally, it's your chance, mate.
Now, without saying who it ended up being, at this point, the speculation was Aldous, maybe Solo, or Rusev, who was apparently in Vegas with Lana at the time.
Yep, I put, okay, it's either going to be Rusev or Black, because
Right,
obviously the
yeah.
steamy, woo.
Some people were saying Jeff Cobb as well.
Yes, he was too busy feuding with TJP and TJP's wife on Twitter right now. It's been rather funny. They do not like each other.
Fair enough.
I don't know what issues they got. Don't follow New Japan, but it's been steamy.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
Oh.
She wants
easily more heat than the SmackDown
She
tag
once
title
emailed
division.
into the podcast.
TJP wife
Aria Blake. Yeah.
to say what?
Like the podcast lads.
No way.
So I'm on her side right now.
There's no way, really.
Years ago when we
I
were
reckon she was just-
before they were married, I think. But yeah,
She was just trying to use our clout at that time, Jack. I don't see her around.
Well, she was
these
an up
days.
and coming indie wrestler at the time, wasn't she? Yeah.
Now that our star's fallen, Jack, I don't see her still watching the
No,
podcast.
I think she's still dedicated. You know what, Mrs. TJP, I've always been a big fan of your work.
But at least Randy Orton have the right amount of baby on his skin. Just the right amount. I'm sure Drew McIntyre
And the crowd
backstage
went,
with him.
woo! Go, Randy.
I put this was the proper way to have a Randy Orton promo in 2025. Quick, coked up, and excitable.
I thought his head was going to pop at the end. He gets so red. Sexy red, some might call it.
And he's a fan, isn't he?
Of sexy red.
Yeah.
No, of wrestling.
No, of specifically, he said, specifically female rappers. He's like, I love all them. Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Sexy Red. Loves them. I don't know why he just said it. Anyway, that's true. There's no punchline. Just Randy Orton recently went, I just love aggressive female rap music. Megan Thee Stallion as well. That was another favourite of his. Yeah.
That's nice. Thank you, Jack. We see a recap of Drew and Damien brawling at the fan event early today. Byron interviews Priest backstage. Drew tries to convince the world he's some kind of victim, but he isn't yet. The world isn't ready for his violence. Drew has tried to paint Priest as a bad guy, Now he's going to beat Drew so badly, he'll wish he was future endeavored again.
Buzzwords.
He's going to bury Drew.
Another buzzword. 3 buzzwords.
When he said he's going to bury him, I was like, oh, I'll get an Undertaker appearance. I don't know why I convinced myself that would happen.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Taker's going to come out and help Priest. Yeah.
I was anticipating some sort of desert play, you know, because we're in the Sin City that's next to a desert. Bury him in the sand. Just leave his head sticking out and get him a good old burn on the forehead.
That would work, but surely it's really easy to get out of sand.
I don't know. I've
As
never
opposed
been
to dirt.
I've buried someone in. Well, I've been buried in a coffin in sand. I've never been like buried.
Well, that's obviously at the beach, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
True with the
Do you reckon there's difference in the viscosity of
right
beach
with
sand
the
and desert
moist.
sand?
I'm sad enough to be thinking right now in my head. Yeah, with the moisture, that must make the sand feel like really dry and light.
Well, the further you get towards the sea, the harder and more compact the sand becomes, of course.
Right. So in the middle of bloody nowhere, Nevada, it's gonna be like standing up with a very small blanket on you.
But surely if you put enough on top.
I've seen Breaking
Oh yeah, like a
Bad,
ton of it might work.
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I've seen Narcos, yeah. It's all looking...
That's
it's
true.
a dangerous place.
They've usually been shot in the head by that point, though.
Yeah.
That'd be a good finish. The Smokey vignette reveals a date this time. Next week's SmackDown.
So he's not Randy Orton's opponent. Whoever it is. It's got to be Aleister Black.
I've put JR voice. It's Tabs.
Tabs. Good.
You can tell I was doing really well at this
That's a
point.
colloquialism for cigarettes, American viewers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna... Matthew's making an acid joke. Yeah.
Oh. Zelina Vega wins her rematch against Chelsea Green, but it's non-title.
The crowd didn't really give I've written down a bad word there, but the crowd didn't really give a poo, which is a shame, because I think Zelina Vega's got it all, but she's not being presented very well indeed. The Super Code Red was a nice way to get the win. That would be the sort of move I would say for when I win the title, not for a match where I'm just getting a shot at the title.
Well, that would make me think, Ross, that she's not winning the title.
Precisely.
Well, I was about to say that exact same thing. You little fiend, you.
Fiend.
Sounds too much like my alarm clock, that, you know.
It's
What
like
is
a big bin truck.
Well, yeah.
Bin truck.
Reverse it.
I'm trying to think what it's the garbage trucks in America. We don't say garbage.
We say bin lorry, bin wagon?
Bin wagon.
Bin wagon.
Bin wagon?
Just say the bin man's here, don't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The bin man's vehicle.
Yeah.
Reverse. Whoa.
It does sound like
Hi,
that.
I'm an alien blending in with
Vessel of
humans.
the garageman.
Yes.
But WWE know what to do with Green. Really over silly heel with the stable. Like, Chad Gable is all over Raw and SmackDown and getting pushed, but Green, it's with like, how about she lose clean and put Vega over? I'm like, that's not what the crowd want to see.
I think she'll get her revenge.
She should have been on there was that talk, wasn't ever being the host of WrestleMania. Just if you're not going to have a match, which you should probably do as the United States champion, have her be the host, because there wasn't one this year, was there?
Unless it's a
There wasn't.
massive name like The Rock or someone, I don't think we'll get a host like that again, like a roster member.
The who? The Rock.
Yeah,
I don't remember who was that person.
He's the bloke who's. I saw another tweet. I was like, "This is The Rock during this main event," and it's just him on a hammock going "Way!" with a drink in his hand. It's just true. It's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA Knight arrives and wants to talk to us. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Solo and his gang use the numbers game, but Knight can play that game. Oh, hey, can play that game. Tama Tonga's been taken out, and he's going to do the same to Solo. At Mania, it'll just be Knight versus Jacob. People say they've seen nothing like Jacob before, but Jacob has never seen anything like LA Knight. There's that SmackDown writing that we know and love. Jacob will win a title one day, but at Mania, he's going to eat a BFT. Solo arrives for his match against Knight, and they brawl on the ramp. Then LA Knight wins the match via DQ after attack from Jacob. Braun Strowman makes a save, and Nick Aldis turns it into a tag match. The faces win after Braun and Jacob end up on the outside, leaving Solo to take a BFT from Knight. He holds up the belt and taunts Jacob ahead of their match.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly cromulent.
Yeah, it was. It was much of a muchness, wasn't it? Much of a muchness. Knight selling the ribs well throughout the match against Solo. What will this mean for WrestleMania? The Fatu interference initially was interesting, I've written down for some reason. He don't need Solo to weaken LA Knight down, I suppose. But then it gets turned into a tag team match, so what do I know? Nothing.
Yeah. Maybe they needed. To,
Not a damn thing.
maybe they needed to kill a bit of time, but I thought that it made me realize that they don't over rely on this anymore. It used to be in the latter sort of Vince days. Almost every Raw or SmackDown would have a singles match that then turns into a tag match. So it's not too common. It's not too common now. It's all right when it happens. And I thought the finishing stretch of the tag match bit in particular was quite exciting. They were flying around onto each other.
I'll give them that. Yeah, it wasn't dull. It's just like, okay, cool. Here we go. This feels like a match just to fill the time between the big promos that are coming later on, and the crowd seemed to react that way. At least something was happening, though. I think a fan got thrown out during the tag match portion that we didn't see.
Really?
You could hear the people going, no, 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 no.
Oh.
And he deserved it.
Are we getting his wrestling boots on to try and fight Randy?
Just look, I saw coked up Randy. I can leave. That's all the highlight. We see an interview with Barrett and Tiff. Wade brings up the promo segment with Charlotte, saying it's created a ton of buzz, possibly for the wrong reasons. He's talking about Kenny King's guitar. Stratton says over the past couple of weeks, she felt bullied and taken advantage of. During the split-screen interview, she felt extreme discouragement, but used it to motivate her. The next time they were face-to-face, she hit Charlotte with a kill shot, and Flair has to respect her now. Tiff says she's standing up to a bully at Mania, and she'll hold on to her title.
Even though it's like the genesis is outside of kayfabe, potentially. I don't know what the truth is, but like the proper truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. But off the back of this in kayfabe, that was a very good explanation for me. Like it laid out what had happened. It laid out that Charlotte did take the piss in the first one, so I got her back in the second one. Let's go and wrestle. I liked it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, turning non-kayfabe into kayfabe.
Yes.
Not quite as exciting as it was when they were talking poo about one another, I'll admit, but this is how WWE wants things.
Yeah.
You can just settle. Well, they got a disagreement. Okay, you're not allowed on SmackDown until you sort stuff out. What a weird thought, eh?
Yeah.
It was all right. It was just a counterpart to Charlotte's bit, wasn't it? But it did trick me. I was thinking, oh, you naive girl, Tiffany. Oh no. So there we go.
Oh no. The LWO win their 6-man tag against American Made, but Rey Mysterio barely features in the match. He seems to have sustained an injury, and fan footage shows him being helped backstage by the ring crew. Yep, that turned out to be very true. Bless him. I'll put a few cheeky stem cells and he'll be toe-paying all over the hellos, but that turned out not to be the case. So I don't know why I wrote it.
I mean, I think the stem cells take a little bit of time to do their stemming into the cells.
They should know who Ray is by now.
She's got a bottle of stem cells in the fridge.
He opens the fridge door. Hi, Ray. Hi, stem cells.
People did point out, I saw people saying, like, why have him wrestle? Why take this risk so close to WrestleMania?
Because Netflix want 3 hours filled.
Yeah.
You have to do it somehow. As Triple H explained, like Netflix largely tell us how long shows are going to be.
Yeah.
Damn you, Netflix.
Yeah.
Because, again, this was a very long, padded out SmackDown, and it injured Rey Mysterio. You're like, okay, great.
That is the standard now. 3 hours for a go-home SmackDown is the standard now. So there was nice bits in the match, though. Chad's belly to belly onto Dragon into a powerbomb position by Julius from a Brutai ball from Brutus. All in a row. Nicely put together. I've put the match humped elsewhere. Operation Dragon into the double knees from Ray for the win on Julius. Yes.
I don't really have anything else to add.
Yeah, there's not much
another
to say,
SmackDown.
is there?
Thank you for making it sound exciting, though, Ross. We
It's
appreciate
just
that.
Operation Dragon always gets a pop in the office, so it does.
It does.
Great name for a finisher.
Cody Rhodes arrives, but John Cena makes his entrance before Cody can speak. Cena tells Cody to shut up and listen. He emphasizes that this is his last Mania match ever, and there's nothing Rhodes can do to prepare for a man who knows he's going to die. Jesus. Nobody believes that this is really Cena's retirement, because wrestling retirements never last. But that's because every other wrestler is a loser. Cena is only here to take the title away from the fans forever, and Cody will lose because he cares too much about them. The fans don't write history, winners do. Cody will be faced with a choice on Sunday: sever ties with the fans and do whatever he wants, or realize that he doesn't have the balls to be the last real champ. Excuse me. Cody replies, and the crowd seem to boo him at first, but he gradually wins them over. Cena previously said he doesn't bury talent, but Cody knows a graveyard of talent that would disagree. Just Alex Riley 7 times. WWE is different now, and Cody proves this by challenging Cena to name a member of the ringside crew. He used to worship Cena, but now he's realized John is overrated. He's out of touch. His face is melting wax. His neck is a stack of dimes. I never understood that insult. And he's paler than Sting at Starrcade 97.
It's pretty pale, that, you know.
It's pretty pale. Like Casper.
So what's the
And above
story?
all, even in 2025, Cena still can't wrestle. Cena says he doesn't have to wrestle to beat Cody. He cheap shots him and goes for the AA, but Cody slips out and hits the crossroads to end the show. Sorry, what were we saying, Jack?
So there's a rumor that like Sting lost because he was pale at Stark. Oh,
Yeah, it's to go.
Yeah,
this
reference.
like, this has been like ground that has been tread many a time. It's been solid earth. the story is that Sting versus Hogan was greatly changed because...
He didn't lose, sorry. It was
Sting did win.
It was changed, yeah.
But it did have a screwy finish and stuff like that. And there's a lot of umming and erring about what exactly happened. It doesn't help that the people who are telling this are all carnies. But the rumour and innuendo is that Sting showed up and Hogan took one look at him and went, mate, wait, what the F? He looks horrible. He's not buff and stuff. And
He bloody was buff. Tony Schiavone even says at the start of the match, look at the arms of Sting.
yeah, and he's also, people go, he's pale. If you look at a picture, you can Google it yourself, of what Sting looked like in Starrcade 97, which for people who don't know, was at that point WWE's biggest pay-per-view ever. He doesn't look pale. He looks normal. He's just next to Hulk Hogan, who looks like a hot dog that's been microwaved for 3 months.
He looks like his bloody table, Hulk Hogan does.
Yeah. Wow, look at you, Paley McPale face.
He's also a goth.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other thing.
he's
Like,
allowed
we mean
to be pale.
He's lived in a roof for
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah.
There's no sun in a roof.
Sting looks amazingly tanned for a goth. So, yeah, it is umming and erring. Sting has been very tight-lipped about that part of his life, though, but people have, ummed and erred and said he was not a good point in his life.
Right.
So
Maybe shagging around, wasn't he?
that's the argument. He found God shortly afterwards. That's the thing. That's again, I'm rumouring and innuendoing everywhere.
Luger was gutted. He lost a friend.
Yeah,
shag these women by
that
myself
is a legit
now.
thing. Like, all right, I'll shag them myself then, I guess. Sorry, Sting's at the all-night goth tanning bed. You can't go out and shag somebody's wife.
I never heard that bit about the paleness before. I just heard it was like Hogan rocked up and was like, "Oh, that doesn't work for me," kind of thing, and then they changed it.
It was one of these things where, was Hogan looking for an excuse to screw somebody
It
out of this
sounds like
position? Again, there was the fast count that wasn't a fast count. Using Brett to go, I won't allow this screw job to stand. You're like, what screw job? It was a clean count. Again, it's a lot of stuff being done about it. It's almost entertaining something to wrestle with Tony and Conrad yelling at one another.
Brett came out that soon after the screw. Oh, he couldn't wrestle, but he could have.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, because November was Survivor Series and December was Starrcade. So yeah, it was funny. Like, I remember that, but it's like, okay, was that foreshadowing or something? But it was the most noteworthy thing of the entire promo that Sting got a reference.
I'm just realizing there as you're reading it back, Cena spelled out what was going to happen. You'll have a choice. You can cheat or you can stick with the fans, and you'll realize that you're not going to beat me. Everything he said came true.
Yeah.
Maybe just not in the way I would have liked it to have done.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah.
But isn't that the point, everybody?
No!
Travis Scott ruins wrestling with John Cena, who ruins wrestling. It was a wank finish. More on it later, though.
Yes, it happened too soon after the Young Bucks for me. After that finish. I need a pay-per-view that ends on a happy note.
I like Cena's angle of like not being like every other wrestler who's going to come back because wrestlers ever retire because he's not an insecure loser. I like that angle he brought to the table. But Cody Rhodes, the stuff about his melting wax face, his stack of dimes for a neck, his spindly ass legs, the pale skin. I was thinking if Cena wins now, that's quite embarrassing for Cody. Yeah. This guy's a bum.
Yeah, especially if like you don't watch wrestling, you just hear in promos or whatever, or have this podcast in the background, you know what Cody Rhodes looks like. Like, Jesus Christ.
But just the way Cody was like, you're tired, you're knackered. How's he lost? I don't get it after that.
And it's not even, because I thought the match was going to be that Cody is clearly the better wrestler and Cena has to constantly cheat to keep up with him in the match. But Cena spent a lot of the match just battering Cody. He was doing like Rikishi bumps off clotheslines and stuff, and I was like, no, this isn't how it was meant to happen. But it was how it was meant to happen.
Yeah. Pleasures.
It's all right.
Any other thoughts on an award-winning SmackDown?
No.
It was all right. I guess the ending was like, it had me thinking Cody was going to win quite easily because John starts the attack, doesn't he? But then Cody reverses it and lays John on his arse. That spindly little legged white man. How could he lose? Yeah.
How can he lose? Especially now that he's got the power of the Dharmas as well.
Oh yes, don't you count out those Dharmas. There might be a heel. If he turns heel on those Dharmas, Ethan Page, he wears Dharmas as well.
Oh, I thought
He's a murderer.
I thought his were more like Bubba Ray sort of efforts.
Oh no, definite Dharmas.
Oh, he does, of course. I can picture them now.
Yeah.
That's what the D stands for in 3D.
Yeah.
Three Dharmas.
Speaking of Ethan Page, the main show of the weekend's about to...
It certainly is about to stand and deliver with NXT. A pre-show match. Oh, I didn't know this. We start with a 4-way elimination tag match to win a tag title shot between the Meta Girls, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, and Fatal Influence. Roxanne eliminates Lash with Pop Rocks, but walks out on Cora shortly afterwards. Well, why would you do that? Cora is eliminated by Gigi and Tatum. The faces overcome the interference of Jasmine Nix to win the match. Oh, how was it, Jack?
Fine. I couldn't get out of my head what Ross said earlier. Like this, so this is Roxanne Perez's WrestleMania match then. Because it wasn't just
Right.
Bailey who got rumored to do something big with Roxanne. And this is Roxanne as well, and she's very talented. She's been in the chamber. She came second in the Rumble. It looks like there's going to be big things for her. But for some reason, she wasn't a featured part of the weekend at all. And she walked out on Cora. And they'd only just reconciled on the NXT that you would have missed. So it didn't last very long, the reunion.
Yeah, the booking was nonsense. Why would she walk out of the show? I guess it makes sense, kind of, because it's not on the main show. And that's why she was kept going to Ava, didn't she?
Her whole story was complaining to Ava that she wasn't on the card.
Yeah.
But then she was still in the match at the time.
Yeah.
Like Cora got eliminated after Roxanne walked away, so it didn't quite land for me, that little decision there.
No.
Especially after Roxanne eliminated Lash Legend. I think that might be Lash Legend's last NXT match, because you can't lose to a Pop Rocks. I'm sorry, that might just be my bias against it. But Lash Legend, big Lash Legend, loses to a Pop Rocks. But her and Roxanne in the match were very good. I've written down worked well together, like Shearer and Bellamy, little and large. Fantastic.
Phillips and Quinn.
Liked how the lasses were tagging in other teams and elimination rules. Tactics. You don't mind other teams getting eliminated in the early going. Fantastic scenes. Match had a bit of everything. Nice dives by everybody in the match to the floor, with Jackson doing hers over the referee. And then freaky positions.
Freaky Positions is the name of the double submission. They call that Freaky Positions.
Starts with Gigi Dolan sort of kicking back like that and air humping on the
Yeah.
floor.
Okay.
Freaky positions.
Tatum comes in and does something else, and they've both got a submission on, and yeah.
Yeah. The
Booker,
fight.
Booker, wasn't
Randy Orton, a big fan.
Booker wasn't as excited as I thought he would be, actually,
No.
by Freaky Positions.
Yeah.
He's probably still waking up after last night.
Good house for a 9 a.m. show, by the way. It didn't look full.
It
but
was actually 9 a.m.
Yeah.
then.
Didn't look. It looked far from empty. So fair play
They
to
kept
the.
saying, Booker keeps going like, we're going to find out tonight. Yes, well, it's early in the morning, Booker, but it was really good.
I saw Lola Vice got there about 10 to 6 in the morning. What? That was her first Instagram video of the day. That was the first bit I saw, because I was expecting to go on Instagram on Saturday, whatever day, Sunday morning,
Right,
and expect to see everyone going like, "Oh, I'm so tired," but no one put anything apart from her as far as I could see. But
They're all
10 to 6.
motivated wrestlers.
If you don't go to bed, it's not morning.
But I Kings Road stuff at the end as the lasses laid it in hard. Paxley was the man of the match for me, the player of the match, sorry. Everything she does looks very tight and technically proficient. And the stuff she's trying is on a different level. I was writing
No, she's good. She's
eating
good.
when I was writing this. Beautiful kick by Tatum off the back of JC in the middle of a pin after a beautiful knee from JC. Cemetery Drive gets the job done. Interesting choice for the winners.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting that.
That-
Especially now that there's babyface tag team champions.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I thought this was going to solidify that Liv and Raquel were going to win.
Me too.
Obviously, this is before Bailey was written out.
Yes.
And I thought one of Bailey or Lyra would turn on the other. And so I thought heels would win this match to set up babyfaces would win this match. And they did. But then the Mania match didn't go the way I thought.
Oh,
it would.
okay.
I guess they've been waiting for Shotzi to come back to really put them into gear. Because Shotzi's been missing for a little while.
Oh, yeah,
hasn't she?
Shotzi was on the outside with them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason they've held off until now.
It was one of those matches where, like, clearly Michaels wants to give everyone in the match a little chance to shine. And it worked for that respect. I think it was, even though the booking of Roxanne was weird, it was largely a good pre-show match. I like a pre-show. I miss pre-show matches. It's nice to see one here.
Bless you. These are the thoughts of someone who watched all the countdown shows over the weekend. So, yeah.
I watched Butterbean versus Minoru Suzuki as well.
Oh, how was it? I can't believe it wouldn't be great.
Tell you what,
I read about it.
Fantastic. Sabu.
Yes. Oh, what a match.
Oh my god! I haven't seen it yet, but I saw his bump to the outside
Yeah.
where he fell through the chair. Oh,
The other
so great.
The other
was that
bump where-
deliberate?
Well, I mean,
With Sabu, who can
I'm
say?
sure he knew something good was going to happen.
I didn't know he could still move like that.
He can't really. I mean, this is his retirement.
Yeah.
And I was, Cena might come back. Sabu seems to be like, nah, come on now. This is it.
And he did it while wearing I don't know if it was like a full-on tux, but it looked like a bit of a white tuxedo.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
used it to block the barbed wire shots. And then, took the spilled the out and the big pile of barbed wire. Clay didn't intend to go that far deep into it. And he was
Yeah.
like, oh, well.
He came up and he had like a little nick on his head, didn't he? And bless him.
It's like, oh no, little scar.
But that match stood and delivered, let me tell you.
I mean, the Butterbean one didn't really, but I learned that I did a mean tweet about it, then I then deleted it because I learned that Butterbean was in a wheelchair, and then with DDP, he can now walk again and everything. So I was like, oh, fair, he's done really well. But
So perfectly booked for a wrestling match.
but then they had a rounds match, him and Suzuki.
A rounds match,
The
right.
crowd start chanting and sarcastic, mean things like "Fight forever."
Oh.
The special
What show was it?
The WrestleCon Memorial, Mark Memorial show,
so there you
which
go.
often have mad matches on
Casuals.
it. No, but Dan Severn's the ref.
Yes.
Seems to think it's real.
It is real. What are you on about?
Yeah, and then they end up on the outside and get counted out. And it's a double count out finish. And the crowd start chanting, one more round, one more round. So Suzuki, who is Triple H, gets back in the ring and starts chanting along with them. Butterbean's never getting back in the ring. So all he can do is just go, oh. I was like, Suzuki, you arsehole. Why would you do that?
See, on paper, it's one of those matches I'd go, yeah, this is going to be so good. And I watch it, goes, why did I think that?
Maybe
No way.
I realized it was going to be bad. The first shot that Suzuki took where he kind of pulled it a bit. I've never seen Suzuki pull a shot. And I thought, oh, okay.
Bless him. But he was on every show, I think. Suzuki, this weekend.
Not Butterbean. Fair play to Butterbean for doing it and everything, obviously, but...
If I'd been there live, I'd told people, our best match of the weekend, man. So good.
It only got a slightly worse rating than the match before it. Mickey James versus Maki Ito, which also got panned.
I did read about that and saw a little clip of her going, you're not here to have a good match.
So
I'm sure she meant that to sound really cool, but it sounded like...
It went bad. They came out and started actually having quite a good match.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, Melter's never rated me anyway. And the crowd will go, F you, Melter. And then she goes, that's right. So instead we're going to have a sing-off. And I bet the crowd wish they could take it back. And then she sang a song. Maki Ito sang a song. Ref's still there, match is still going on. And then she hits Maki Ito with the microphone. And then the match resumes.
Is that why she does it must be Maki Ito's on the mat, and she like does the little sit down.
Yeah.
After criticising all the LFG ladies for wearing lingerie.
Yeah, she slagged off a girl on LFG saying like, I don't want to look at your ass when you're wrestling. And then she comes out here in sexy gear and stuff, and it's like, they can wear what they want. They can wear what they want.
Yes.
So was
And the men.
Was Dan the B7 refereeing that one as well?
Yeah. Don Fry was at ringside for that one.
Oh my God, yes.
He had a little argument with Suzuki. Yeah. I thought they were going to do the Takayama thing.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't do that. Anyway, sorry. NXT.
Ricky Saints takes several nasty bumps in the opening match against Ethan Page, but manages to beat him to retain the North American title.
These bitches had their working boots on, let me tell you. Horrible power slam on the apron from Page. Saints landing right on his side, on the side of the apron.
He did.
The roundy bit, not the flatty bit, the roundy bit.
The roundy bit.
Saints with another horrible landing off the top of the announce table. I reckon he's not quite used to the ropes. Surely that wasn't the planned way to do that move.
Unless he was just chucking himself around just to be like, it's my big WrestleMania weekend match. Let's go.
It's like he's trying to get himself to wake up. It's 9 a.m. Look, I'll take a bump.
Surely you would think he would bounce off and then just sort of land on the floor, but then shunt into the table, not land full on the top of it. I was like, is he not used to those ropes?
I don't know.
Look, he's here to stand and deliver, Ross.
Yeah, and fly and flop and bounce. Backdrop on the top rope. Sorry. Then the big spill from Ethan to Saints. Saints look. I've not written the sentence there, and I've just read it out as I've written it down. Saints took a battering, is what I'm saying there, lads.
He
took a bloody battering.
He did.
But he kept getting up, and I think that was the story of the match. Fighting spirit from Ricky Saints.
A lot of arguing by the commentary team, and I thought, this doesn't bode well. They were arguing over who was better in the ring. Saints won, so Saints is better in the ring. That's the story.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works.
I just thought, no, they're bickering a lot early on. This is worrying. But I thought the two wrestlers really went out there and as Ross said, stood and delivered. I think they've got good chemistry. They must be familiar with each other from the indies. I don't know if they wrestled much in AEW, but surely they must have known each other from before then, because it seemed like they'd wrestled each other a load of times.
Yeah.
You think so, yeah.
Did you like it?
I did like it. Very. Ethan Page worked his role here very well, which was to batter the Saints.
Yes.
Yeah. The Saints. Why did I say it like that? Roger Moore as Ricky Saints. And Jet got the crowd into it by just keep on doing moves and like that. And that's when Ethan Page is at his best, when he gets to be this big dominant dude. And Ricky took it all. Crowd liked it. Crowd really likes chanting that Tony Fumble thing, which is so funny to me. I mean, I like hearing it because it is nice just to hear wrestling fans, especially the NXT shed, it's all plans, chant something like that. Just be like, yay, I'm having fun. I'm not here on the social media thing. I'm having fun. I'm going to chant whatever I bloody well feel like it. That's how it used to be. And then it's less cynical times. Even if it doesn't make any bloody sense at all.
Vic's like, the crowd are boisterous here.
Yeah, right? Like, look, I'm not touching it. Because Ricky Saints absolutely could say he fumbled him, but Ethan Page.
Oh, you were just nice about the match, and now you've got to go and do that.
I think it's a commentary of how Ethan Page didn't really get good in AEW more than Matthew's hatred for a man.
Right, okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why do you hate him? What's happened?
Because he was fumbled by Tony, obviously. But no, good match. Yeah, I didn't particularly like the finish though, because Ethan looked so dominant, and then he hits his buddy the Ego's edge, and then it's the twisted grin is blocked, and Saints hit the spear, and then Rochambeau.
It's the Triple H structure, Maffew. We know this
Yeah,
now.
like
Hey, the Rochambeau looks good though when it's on a bigger guy.
I agree with that. It was just kind of like, oh no, he's hit all his big moves. Oh, and now he's just ignored it and hit his move, and he's pinned him.
Because he's the Saints.
It was flat, but I liked the rest of the thing going up to that.
I like it.
Oh, what a good sentence.
I like the
The
match.
spear was good as well because it was high. He got him on the tits.
He does a nice,
Both of them.
a unique spear.
It's
he
Mania
does.
weekend.
Yeah.
Hank and Tank heroically
Oh my God.
beat Fraction. I'm going to say it again. Hank and Tank beat Fraction to become NXT Tag Team Champions. Action and Frazier hug it out with the new champs after the bell, after teasing that they were going to bit of argy-bargy.
They did well, Hank and Tank, because they come out for their entrance and there's not really too much noise. And I'm thinking, if
There
they
isn't.
are going to be the ones who are the ones to beat Fraxion after all the investment they've had on storylines over the past few weeks, especially, it might not be the one. But they turn the crowd round, so they do, with being big, bodacious belly boys. That's all I've got to say. So many moves.
Oh my God. It was such a good match. I really loved it. It was really, really good. Fraxium, it's a shame now in a way that their reign's over because they've been putting on some of the most entertaining tag matches of the past year.
Being a tag team of the year,
But
at least once.
If there was any team of lovable bastards to lose this game, and the finishing stretch was so Hank landing perfectly on the announce table with his dive. I don't know how he
When
did
no
that.
one was there.
No, the camera just didn't touch that.
They weren't even in the same postcode. He's gone for a tope on the announce table.
It's like when
just got
dogs just
excited.
randomly jump off stuff.
I thought that after what happened on NXT, because Fraser's been acting more and more heelish, and he didn't shake the hand on NXT, and Axiom was left all embarrassed to be like, "Oh, good luck, lads." But so I thought again, like we do every title match with these two, I thought this is the one where they turn on each other. But I'm glad they didn't, and they just had them lose properly. It was good. At the finishing stretch where the lads got their tops off was really exciting.
Oh, yes.
Crowd came alive.
Yeah, one of the better NXT storylines.
Oh.
Well, been trying to copy these other tag teams. No, it's the plot of Kung Fu Panda. We need to believe in ourselves.
They did it by being themselves.
And it worked.
Yeah.
What a beautiful storyline.
Yeah, I thought it was academic after Hank, did that thing to himself where no one was in the same postcode because they get the high-low into the Fraxion boys, but Tank is in there like his father, Mr. Abbott, I've written down. Because that's how names work.
Yeah.
Spanish Fly and Phoenix Splash. It's Hank, resurrection from the dead this Easter weekend with the save. Bossman Slam Tope. Belly Bandit squash the big power slam. It's over effing hell, I've written down. What a match it was. Booker T just laughs, I've written down also. It must have been at the end. He was, yeah, that's how laughs
Did you
work.
see
Ross.
his?
What's the name of that move, Booker?
Did you see his and Bully Ray's argument about tag teams on LFG? I saw the clip they put up. They put up a clip. It's clearly
No, I was too busy pulling in my hand and clapping.
it's clearly planned, but I don't know if Booker was told because Bully Ray is like giving one of his speeches to everyone, and then he talks about how to be a great tag team, and he walks up. Devon's out with him, and then Bubba Ray walks up and gets in Booker's face and goes, "We are the greatest tag team of all time."
See, work or shoot, that is a real thing for Booker.
And Booker's there going like, and it cuts to Booker doing like a talking head bit, and he's like, "Some of those tag title reigns were regional, ECW."
It's a shoot to him, 100%. Remember when New Day would show up at NXT and he's like,
Yeah.
wow, they've won the tag titles more than anybody else. No, they haven't.
All of me.
Shows up the match graphics, all the titles they won. No, not as many as me.
Those ECW reigns were regional.
He's kind of right as well. But yeah, as you said, the crowd got into it more and more when it looked like, oh, God, they might actually win. And they did actually bloody win. So, well bloody done. We didn't think it could happen.
No. They're still not officially split up, though, Fraxion. I think that might be a NXT after Stand Deliver moment. A huge moment, that we'll talk about forevermore.
I kind of don't want them to. I like those lads together.
I'd like to see him on the main roster, me.
Yeah.
But then again, they're not asked about tag team wrestling on the main roster. So
That's
I
it,
don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
And but they'd be like the new Lundrick, wouldn't they? Sprint into the ring,
Yeah.
doing
Smoking
flips.
weed.
Well,
Crazy conspiracy theories.
maybe one.
Oh, I can see Nathan Frazier doing
I
that
can
with
see
that little
Fraser doing that. Yeah.
TV show that
That's
he
a
had.
man of the cloth.
Oh, he is now, isn't he? Yes,
Yeah,
of
he's a
course.
big
what?
JC. He's a big JC guy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that JC guy. But what do you mean? Fraser's a big Christ.
Yeah.
He's all
He's
over
like a
his-
recent convert, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of them like ultra positive ones. Fair enough.
Oh.
Good for him. Yeah. I don't want to say anymore.
I'll move on now. I'm not going to make any jokes. To another great guy, Penn Jillette, who does not believe. Who does not believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. In fact, he's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
He's part of that atheists club where you have to, to join it, you have to swear in the Bible and say, I don't believe in Christ, and you can never go back on it. But Lexus King interrupts, who will make you believe in that there is a Satan, because he created him. Hey,
And he
doesn't
took
believe
away
in
the magic of the Heritage Cup, Maffew.
Yeah.
No wonder he doesn't believe in magic.
Oh, he took away the rules.
Dick.
Yes. Penn puts the Heritage Cup trophy behind a curtain and replaces it with Teller. Lexus is angry.
Yeah.
He looks psychotic, did Teller, when he popped out that cage.
He always looked that way.
terrifying.
Bloody hell.
Is Teller a normal sized man? Because Penn is just huge, isn't
I
he?
think Penn's huge, but Teller's, yeah.
I think Teller's a little bit smaller.
But like he
Got
looks
that
really,
dynamic.
Looks really small because of Penn.
Yeah.
I don't think it made sense. I'm not gonna. Don't. I'm gonna because Penn and Teller aren't one of those magicians who claim that they really are magic. So Penn wouldn't defend the sanctity of magic. I think they're expelled from the magic circle because they just show people how their tricks are done and stuff. They give an insight into how their tricks are done, which is banned in the magic circle.
This is not the discussion I thought you'd
this
be
is
having.
great.
So
They're the worst people to be booked for this sport. Is that what you're saying?
I think before I was into wrestling, I think when I was a kid, I used to love magic, but then I got into wrestling instead.
Did you watch The Masked Magician?
Yeah,
Reveals all.
loved him.
Yeah.
But then he revealed who he was, and he was just some guy.
I had no idea who the hell he
Just
was.
Some bloke. Hello, my
Yeah.
name is whatever. And I was like, what? You're not.
And I was like, as a kid, I watched that, but afterwards I went, well, I don't know any of the magicians.
And the mask was really cool as well. It was good.
was cool.
It was a gimmick. He lost it. He lost a magician off with another magician, then he had to unmask himself.
He
ruined
his
Bar-
record on Wikipedia.
He ruined those Bury Live matches for me because I saw him say how that worked before
Oh.
watching
Oh,
them.
with the tube in the
Yeah.
little room.
Yeah, the little chamber.
Still horrible. I wouldn't do it.
Especially when he's 7 foot. Must be a big chamber.
Is that the one Saddam was in?
But Penn's like that as well, and Teller, they show you how it's done, and so it doesn't matter. It's
They
not
were,
that
those,
important.
they were like aligned with the Magnificent Randy and going, no, this is all just, it's an art. It's not like, oh, I'm a real magic man.
Do you
They
think-
hated people like that who were like, ooh, I was born with the abilities. Like, no, you won't, you goon.
They might have that reputation, but they've gone into business themselves here because the trophy's gone. It's solid gold, brother, says Lexus King.
Good, he dropped it, finally.
Can't find it for the rest of the night. It's gone.
dropped it to magic.
Christ.
The winner is magic.
Do you think they thought Lexus? Do you think that Penn thought he was just another Vegas entertainer type? Because he looks
'Cause you
like
get that
He
beard.
really looks like one of Siegfried or Roy.
Yeah.
Can't remember which one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Did they get eaten by tigers? I've just made that up.
Something happened.
Yeah, no,
Something
one of them,
went-
one of them got mauled and
Yeah.
was quite bad.
Yeah.
Then people went, oh, who'd have predicted this? And people like, lots of people predicted this would have happened. But yeah. Also, they don't like each other in real life. They're just professionals.
Penn
They
and
go,
Teller?
they don't hang out like the Rolling Stones. They just do their act and then they sod off.
Penn and Teller?
Yeah. That's how they said they've managed to tour for decades.
I didn't see why. That Teller didn't sit well in his face.
He never talks.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
I enjoyed talking about Penn and Teller for a bit there. Sol Rucker wins the 6-woman ladder match to win even the vacant North American Championship.
I thought Kalani Jordan was incredible throughout. Her splits on the ladder that was done for no reason other than to say I can do this was very, very good. The reversal out of the Dame standing suplex where she landed on her feet but straddled the ladder and then did a little scorpion death drop on the ladder. Fantastic move. Lola Vice, was getting Bobby Lashley reactions for her offense in the match before the Hurricane misses and she twats her hand off the ladder.
Oh, that got
Needed it,
that
yeah.
made a good noise. The crowd all went, ooh.
Izzy Dame was much improved. She had a miracle a couple of weeks ago with a pinfall, but her power moves, like the Baldo bomb off the ladder, where she climbed up the inside of Sol, was nice.
She climbed on the inside of Sol.
Well, you know.
Phrasing, Ross.
You know what he means.
Another pen.
The camera angle they used for this match in particular to show the top of the ladder made it look so high.
Oh, yeah.
So when Zarya sent Thea Hale off the top of the ladder, I thought she was going to die. It looked higher than when, I don't know if it was in practicality or reality, whatever the right word is there, but when Darby went off.
I know what you meant,
It looked
yeah.
higher than that, but I don't know if it was. But
Thea's very small, so maybe it just looked
Very
big.
small lady.
You can save money on these big ladders by booking smaller wrestlers.
Yeah.
I can't
That's how they
believe
filmed Lord of the Rings.
I can't believe Sol and Zarya started fighting though. Who saw that coming? Goodness me.
Oh, I'm surprised one of them won though, because I thought they'd take each other out.
I think it's the first feud set up there easily for me. Defending against Zarya now.
Oh, but I don't want either of them to lose right now.
Oh, Zarya.
She's an Australian ninja in the desert, so I don't want her to.
That's just a normal Australian person.
She lost in Vegas as well. That's a habitat, surely.
Yeah,
Right.
The deserts.
yeah. She should have had a bonus to her stats.
Oh, I thought I was in Sydney. She yelled.
I really liked Kalani's excited face when she realized that one of her opponents was on the ladder and she could do a splash onto them. She was like climbed up to the top rope, like really excited, and then missed it. I was like, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and Sol, she managed to hit every move, every little spot that she had going for her. Nailed it.
Yeah.
She's been a few times. Obviously, we watch and develop every week on the weekly wrestling training show known as NXT. Shawn Michaels' little show. You may have heard of it. And she nailed everything I was expected of her, and she looked grand in this.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
very happy that she won. It's like, yes,
Not
good.
just one soul
That'll do.
snatcher
That'll
towards
do.
the end. Multiple soul snatches for multiple opponents.
Yeah, she did one off the ladder and then a double soul snatcher in the corner.
Yeah, lots of soul snatch.
Yeah, great. Yeah, fun.
Yeah, I've seen so many of these damn things, they all blend together, but this was a perfectly decent one of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I've written down it went a little bit quick for me, and maybe some lasses might be a little bit let down. They got up that early in the morning and didn't get to do too much in the match, but it slapped all the same.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was bad enough for us lads waking up today to get ready for a podcast at 1 p.m. And it's like, all right, it's 6 a.m., get ready for your ladder match. Like,
Yeah.
bloody hell. Fair enough. Nothing else to talk about there, but yeah, well done everyone
I'm
involved.
sure they had their game of sups before they got wrestling to wake them up.
I'm sure they did. Dark State take on the D'Angelo family. Cutler James gets involved despite being the man on the outside, but Rizzo takes him out with a flying crossbody. Later, James gets a crowbar and tries to hit Stax, but the ref gets in the way. Stax grabs the crowbar and slides into the ring, saving Tony D from an attack. The pair hook it out and Stax gives the crowbar to the ref, but low blows Tony when the ref
Oh,
he works.
they've been together since day one.
Dark State win.
NXT 2.0. It's like that picture of who left Manchester City recently, and it was like, no, it was the news of Johnny Evans getting released by Man United.
Oh, right.
And it was picture of like Silas Ferguson's last squad. It was like, they're all gone now. Ah! All the 2.0 people are nearly gone.
I just.
You're right, is it? Yeah.
Did you see the weekly NXT? Because you missed
I did watch it.
the brawl in the car park.
Yeah.
So Rizzo had to wait in the car. Go and wait in the car, Rizzo. But she managed. She got a crossbody this time. She's back.
We didn't getting her lost.
It was
It's only
just
small.
There's the shot of go away to the car, and then it cuts to because they're from Boston now. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It cuts to just a static shot of the car and her walking it. Oh. I thought she was gonna have to do something else on this show, like wait in the corner, Rizzo. But
I thought she tried to get out, but the child lock was on.
The first thing I was relieved to see was that she got involved and hit her big crossbody. But I don't know about the execution of the turn. It was odd.
It
He
was
just hit him with
very NXT.
He didn't hit him with the crowbar because he knows that Tony's immune to crowbars, actually.
Oh, yes, because I remember the other.
Oh, wow, I hadn't thought about that. What a
True.
throwback.
They set it up all right in the match itself because they had the bit where Tony was left out of position, so Stax was stealing his hot tags and stuff, which made you think that maybe Tony could be the one to turn after how the plan was executed without his say-so on Wednesday and it went wrong. Richard, are you able to grey things out in post-production, or is that too much work to ask?
I could do that.
Are you logged in on Twitter there, Richard?
No, I'm
It doesn't matter then. Osiris Griffin's fingers. Go and have a look at them on Twitter.
What happened?
After the brawl. They're split, but like the pads of the fingertips, they're like split down the middle.
I don't want to know about that.
It's incredible.
Oh, he didn't get degloved, did he?
No, just,
It's a horrible term to know.
Especially since it went through a paper wall that was had fur in it on the
It's a
inside.
hard paper.
Whoa.
Oh, it's a hard back.
Which one? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Cutler James. He was the one on the outside, wasn't he?
Osiris Griffin was the one who looked naked to me.
Yes.
Because he's that long in the torso and that long in the leg. His little pants looked very little.
At the minute...
Oh, the only note I have is Osiris Griffin looks like handsome Joe Coffey.
At the minute, the way I'm differentiating them is we know Dion, that fake nerd.
That one, yeah. Fake
Saquon
nerd.
Sugars is the smallest one who is like a Pied Piper. He's crazy.
Little Big Show.
Leads people around because of his gear.
He had one strap
Oh,
down.
right. And then Cutler's the one on the outside, and then Griffin's the last remaining one for me. So I need to find out a way to get him.
I'd argue after this match, Cutler's now the last remaining one. Because Osiris Griffin was doing all these big power moves. And then
his name was mentioned a lot on commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, Osiris Griffin, whoa. Yeah.
Cutler was like watching John Cena in that main event, watching Cutler wrestle. That's all he would do.
But he's big.
What a compliment.
but he is big and tall, though. So.
He's a handsome guy.
And a handsome boy.
Yeah. But that turn at the end, my goodness me.
Well, I don't yet know whether to blame Stacks because of what happens later, but we'll get to that. He knows something we don't know, does Stacks?
But he's the underboss. He
Yeah,
went against
well.
the overboss's orders on Wednesday. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I did like Corey Graves saying that we need to treat Dark State seriously because they beat the lads in the main event of this show in their debut 6-man tag.
What happened?
Didn't once mention that Oprah and Trick started fighting each other in that match, and that's why.
Well, I mean,
And what
Corey Graves.
What happened to that feud?
Yeah.
They really quickly stopped caring about the lads in the main event and went, we're feuding with the D'Angelos now. That was
yeah.
weird.
Well, we don't interrupt their main event they've got for Stand Deliver. There'll be consequences.
But I'd be interested to see how Dark State fare when the people on who they're fighting don't start fighting with each other, because that's twice now they've profited from that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was a okay match just to build up to the turn. It was funny how cinema it was with the repeated shots of Tony just going inside. And then Stacks doing that. I'm turning on you. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Yes, I am. Lol.
The promo package about the family at the start deserves an Oscar. It was up there with the dressing down of Dark State with the case studies in the restaurant. It was on that level.
Yeah.
That was in the synagogue.
Great. Oh, the synagogue.
They went to the
That's right,
synagogue
yes.
to do that. They brought his printout. 64 tackles in 28 games.
Oof, moral. Hank and Tank cut an emotional face promo backstage after winning the tag team titles. They couldn't have done it without each other, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it was
just
a
kiss already,
face-
whatever.
Yeah.
Face promo. They're best pals. It's nice.
Yeah. Lexus King is still looking for his heritage cut backstage. Meanwhile, outside, Stacks gets in his car and prepares to flee Tony's wrath. Luca Crucifino stops him and asks why. Stacks says he'd explain everything and tells Luca to keep his phone on, then drives away.
This got me.
Very polite.
This got me fired up. No, I love stuff like this. He's on the run now. Keep your phone on. It's so exciting. It's like a film. I don't know why it just got
It's
me.
like a film.
It got me really excited because I imagine Stacks driving through the streets hiding while Tony's trying to find where he is so he can get revenge. And he keep your phone on. I'm like, I don't know who to trust now.
It wasn't a white Ford Bronco he hopped in.
No, he left faster than that.
That's a shame. Because that would have been a perfect time for it. If it was 2.0, we would have rehashed that footage.
Absolutely.
A Tony and Stacks chase down the highway.
But no, I mean, I'm now thinking, I'm sure that Stacks is still the heel, but it just put a little seed of doubt in my mind. What does he know then? He's like, keep your phone on, I'll explain everything.
Boy, I hope he doesn't find out something bad about his murdering boss.
Well, me too.
That would be a shocking revelation.
It would
if the
be a
mob
shame.
boss was a bad guy.
Well,
I
Tony
just found out he ain't paying his taxes.
Tony did
I
end
can't work for a mob guy like this.
Tony did end up in jail for crimes. When,
Oh,
when
God,
the
that whole
when the
thing.
Coffees put him in jail for crimes.
Maybe the most NXT storyline of
They
all
never-
time.
they never- it was like it was written by a child. What are you in for? Crime.
Who bailed
I'm
him
here
out
at the
again?
crime
I think-
prison.
Did Stacks bail him out, actually?
Was it
maybe?
Stacks that
No,
bailed him out?
no, they changed his.
Oh,
he didn't bail
He
out.
had to win
They
a match,
changed his.
didn't he?
Oh no,
They
no I
teased
can't
that-
rehash this.
They
again.
teased that Stacks was working for Gallus,
Right,
didn't
but then
they?
he had the recording,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Great times.
It should probably have
Oof.
been a match for Tony's freedom, but instead...
It said he overconvoluted it
I
just for the
s-
sake of it.
Still, to this day, get annoyed when I think that the chase wasn't fought for in a match. It was saved by a calendar. It's the weirdest brand in the world.
It is
genius.
so weird.
Genius. You seen Ridge on Instagram this week?
Absolutely not.
Oh, my
no,
God.
I think I might go on Instagram just to block him.
So
Why?
people are calling him rubbish now. And he's making videos calling out the people who are calling him rubbish. And he's ending them by going, ta-ta, virgin. I watched one this morning where he's like, hello there, son. I wish your mother swallowed you. Ta-da, virgin. That's what he's doing now. And I can't wait to see this come on television.
It's not going to be on television.
No, it's
I've got
not.
a
What is he
sneaking
doing?
suspicion we're not going to see that on TV.
I understand his frustration, obviously.
Do you?
Yes, of course I do.
He was given
Yeah, you
more than he deserved.
Jack understands his frustration because Jack can't wrestle either.
He can wrestle and he gets a bad rap. But,
Dull as dishwater.
Somebody in this podcast, some idiot person, was very complimentary and positive and optimistic about his chances at NXT.
But two people
it
were
was both
actually.
of us, Maffew. It was both
I
of us.
remember you getting vicious going, I can't believe you said he's most improved. He killed
Maffew,
Chase U.
you were the
I'm like,
lead-
oh, Ross, just give it time. Oh, yeah,
No,
you're right.
I was
Go on.
backing up Maffew. I was like, I think this might be good, actually.
You were the founder of the Ridge Holland fan club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at the time,
I thought to talk about that.
and part of it was the booking. Part of it was him Chase U ceasing to exist because of Ridge.
You got to look for the brightness and the darkness and just be like, well, look, they wouldn't have had him kill Chase U if they weren't going to do anything with him. ... Oh, they're doing nothing with them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All for Ridge.
All for that. In the main event, no, Stephanie Vicker even retains the NXT Women's title in her 4-way match against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. So Julia's in this match now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she came back.
When they said she was injured, the rumor innuendo online was that she was injured.
So,
It's
Maffew,
all been pointless, Maffew.
Yeah.
it seems like NXT may have called an audible, like Peyton Manning at the huddle, at the snap.
That's good, though. Yeah.
Because, as Ross, I think, said last week, they've come in, Julia's the biggest star of the two, but they've gone, oh, Stephanie's really good and over. And it's like they've gone, let's do a quick switch around. That's why the double championship thing happened and the injury. Now Julia's back and wants revenge. So they've like just changed things on the fly. And I think I agree with them doing it.
Oh, yes,
'Cause
wholeheartedly.
Stephanie's very good.
But why do it like...
It makes little sense in having Steve then vacate the title when she was willing to fight everybody, only for the title to end up how it did. The
Well,
North
that
American
made
title.
Ava look like a dick.
Yeah. And they didn't shine Steve in the best light either, I think.
Yeah, very odd.
Yeah. But I do think that's what's happened there, that they've signed Gilly with all the hype around
Yeah.
it, but it's actually Steve who's coming a little bit under the radar. I don't think Steve was as touted as much as Gilly was before signing. Now, obviously, she's become available while AEW in that situation was up in the air.
Yeah.
They've swept in, and then, or swooped in, sorry. And then, yeah, she's been totes amazeballs, as someone would say.
Fair enough. I think this is the most positive I've heard people talk about this, but then this is Team NXT.
I think
This very heel
I don't think it's ideal, but I think that they'd rather not have Julia lose. Oh no, she did lose to Stephanie. What am I talking about?
Yeah, that's
I
the
think
thing,
but I think they'd rather they kind of struck while the iron was hot with Stephanie.
Okay.
Everything since that title for title match has been bollocks. Everything. We need to say
Not
that.
the action itself. Steve is still
Not the-
great.
I mean,
the
no,
booking
no,
of it
the
all.
booking.
Yeah.
Like, why did it have to happen if Gilly wasn't actually hurt?
Yeah.
Which is what the reports were saying at the time.
Maybe she was a little bit. I don't know.
Her feelings were hurt.
Chef's overcooked his broth there.
But you know what? If you ignore that bollocks, what a lovely match here.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ross?
I'll start with Corey Graves. He's doing that weird thing again where he's singling out a lady and going after her for no reason there. He says that Jordan Grace has been coasting on her reputation for a while now. There was a time...
What?
Which is total nonsense. And
Yeah,
some
that's
people,
not true at all.
I did see some people on Twitter saying, like, oh, he's a heel commentator. He's supposed to say things like that. Nah, he's not. This is just like made up
Yeah.
bollocks. This feels like it's an agenda. And he used to do
Yeah.
this about someone on the main roster, and I can't remember who it was.
I know we
No, I
talking
know
about.
you
Who
do.
was
Brooke
that?
Or someone like that. He used to go...
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah,
Was it Dana?
He always seemed to... It's been a
Yeah,
few
it was,
examples.
and it was like, and I was one of those people going, no, it's okay because he's a heel, and then Dana never improved or never got that level where she got above it. It's like, well, the only reason you'd have a heel
you're just
commentator say
You're
that,
just hindering her. Yeah.
right, is so they overcome and then go, well, bless my soul, I was wrong.
Just felt like he was knocking her for no... Because what he said there is categorically wrong.
So what does he hate? What's the similarity there? He hates muscular women.
Ladies with muscles.
That's the difference.
Women who turned him down 10 years ago on the road.
The similarity between Jordan Grace and Dana is they're both hench, I suppose. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And Corey hates that. He can't stand it.
Yeah. Just thought it was weird because he's had previous. I'm sure there's
It's
more
so
than just
weird.
Dana Brooke as well.
Right, I'll usually defend like a lot of what Corey does, but he's just got this huge weaknesses sometimes. You're like, what are you doing?
He must have been fuming this weekend though, listening to Pat on that show. Wade held it down. He was fantastic. Wade.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have Corey on that show instead of Pat. By the end, I was going, Pat's a bit much like.
For 2 days
He
worth
was
as well.
hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah. But Gilly and Steve working together in this match was fantastic, I thought, at the start, where they sort of teased the friendship bit, but then nope, there was a roll-up. I thought Steve was unbelievable. I've written down here the way she was doing lucha things with Grace. Everything's so smooth. The double blockbuster from
with
Parker.
Grace as well.
Yeah, with Grace, yeah.
Miss Parker.
Oh, bonjour.
Miss Parker.
Her double blockbuster while Grace held them up was nice. The double Germans from Grace was nice. All the ladies had their moments in this one. Gilly with the ultimate heel turn in the eyes of horny perverts the world over by denying I guess it is now called the
That's actually,
God, were the crowd awake for that.
Yeah, but then Booker got 3 of them in a row and then did a big
for a long time.
And you could see the sea of people in the crowd looking
The
at Booker.
crowd chanted Booker T.
Yeah, wait, that move's got Booker over.
In case we don't mention it during the match later on, Charlotte's stealing that.
No,
She did.
She's done it for years, though.
She
Charlotte,
has, yes.
yeah.
I forgot
I
Charlotte
thought
used to
Naomi
do that.
did it. Oh no, she did it in the corner.
in the corner of the top
Yeah,
table,
okay.
yeah.
Look, they're all stealing from the same wrestlers.
Okay,
all right?
well, I apologise to Charlotte then. There we go.
Charlotte, yeah.
Right, fair
Must
enough.
just be the difference in the arses is what people are not noticing there. You know?
No.
You know?
No.
What? Muscular development? Gluteus maximus, the biggest muscle in the body.
Is it?
I think.
I've read that rumor.
Yeah.
Right.
Potentially.
Maybe.
I thought was that a thing like the biggest muscle is like your tongue?
Your tongue.
Yeah,
We're not a
it's
horse,
fun.
Matt.
Gene Simmons was the person who answered this question.
Oh no.
I saw that for the first time this week when Kiss, I think it was 1983, first unveiled themselves without the makeup on in that music video.
Oh,
I forget which song it is.
Yeah.
But it was when it pans across and then they got the little, I think it's the drummer on the far end. Like,
yeah.
Did it not go?
There's a bit of variety in the designs, like.
Did it not go well?
nah, people realised they weren't. They were singing about shagging and all these reputations and whatnot, and it was just the little in the corner.
All I can picture is
the demon, the Star Child, the furry.
yeah. All I can picture, but actually no. I think he's got some kind of condition, hasn't he? I wouldn't say that.
Look, Gene, he's a
when,
twat.
When Ross was mentioning the drummer there, I was
Don't
thinking
say
of,
this
Oh,
now.
there you go.
I was thinking of
You know that joke you made about someone? They're dead.
no, I was thinking of the guitarist from Motley Crue,
Oh, thank God for that.
but I think he's got back issues and stuff. Mick Mars?
issues of what?
Mick Mars?
Kerrang,
Is it
maybe?
Mick
Metal Hammer?
Is Mick Mars?
Oh, God, yeah, he looks. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't be in a band like that for decades and be like, oh, I'm perfectly healthy, me, yeah.
he's not.
Wake up every day and have a kale sandwich.
Still play the guitar though, whereas Vince Neil.
Look, they're living fast. Yeah.
Anyway, what was next?
We had a very
Thrilling
good...
end to the match, so there was.
Yeah, there we go.
Grace
So,
nearly
yeah.
gets it done. An incredibly close roll up on Parker from Gilly, then goes into the spiral tack breakup
Miss
for a
Parker.
pinfall, and then the SVB gets it done for Steve.
Sad that Parker took the pinfall, but that's okay.
I thought it was the reason she was in the match. I mean,
Well, I
it's-
know.
It's crazy though because she gets a lot of like love from the crowd.
Oh,
I'm like,
she's
is it just
very
because
over.
it's a nice thing to chant? Because she's
she's-
nowhere near the level of the other ones.
No, but I think she gets it because she's cool.
Yeah, she's got that.
I mean,
thing
I'll give her
about
that.
Got the
but-
the charisma.
Yeah, just in terms of the quality of the in ring.
She can do the moves.
I'm not saying she's bad
She
necessarily.
can
I'm
take
just
the
saying like
moves.
the crowd reaction to her was like, wow, you guys just like her.
I would go mad for her live. I think she's really cool.
Oh, I would like
Miss
as well.
Parker, do
Yeah.
that chant.
It's very, but obviously in terms of not if you're Corey Graves, obviously you wouldn't see.
Well, I've heard that Jordan Grace has been coasting on her ability for a while now.
Yeah.
Oh, I've read that. Yeah.
So everyone's thinking.
If you just look
Especially in a
at
match
her,
like this as well. Like,
when I look at Jordan Grace, I think lazy. That's what I think.
I did see some people say Grace didn't have a good showing in this match as well, but I was like, really?
I didn't notice.
it's working.
She didn't stick out to me, no. Yeah.
No, but
But I mean,
That doesn't
consider
mean she
the
had
I mean in a bad way.
Oh, right.
She
Oh, I
wasn't
see, I see.
stinking up the joint.
Yeah.
yeah, that's why
Yeah.
some people you go, oh man, look how bad she was in this. I'm like, are you all right, mate?
are people disappointed because some people thought she was going to win? Maybe I don't know.
I think we expected her to powerbomb all three women at once or something. But no, a perfectly fine match here. Very
Yeah,
happy to
yeah.
see it. Even if the weird booking doesn't make any bloody sense, yeah, I got all the action I wanted and some crazy electric chair drops as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you. And then Lexus King is still looking for his Heritage Cup backstage. Outside. I've already
No,
done
we've
that.
already done that bit.
Oh, I read that. Nah, look at me. Ruining everything. I do apologize.
That's all right.
I'm ill. In the main event, Obafemi defends the NXT Championship against Trick Willie and Javon Evans.
This match made me ill. My goodness me. It
in a
gave
good way.
Oh, I was spewing on the floor. I was so excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, the main event.
You know when like a little kid,
so happy.
a little kid's just had too much fun.
Yeah, too
They've
much
gone,
sweets.
they've gone to the fair.
Too much guided floss.
You see that little dog that like sees its own after not seen it for ages,
Yeah,
just passes out from excitement. Javon almost pins Oba several times. Trick Willie pulls the ref out the ring and takes control of the match. Oba grabs the ref to stop him counting a fall, but the ref kicks him away.
The ref kicked Oba
Highlight
down.
of the night.
No, not the highlight. That was the one bit I didn't like.
You didn't- oh.
He shouldn't be able to move that man with his leg.
Get off me.
Get off me. I'm hard ref.
Razor Ramon hard ref. Oba breaks the pinfall attempt in time anyway and eventually wins the match, pinning Javon.
I don't know what you say about this match, but it had a certain expectation heading into it, but that expectation was blown out the bloody water.
Would you say,
Boom! Sorry, that was blown out the water.
where does it,
That's what it sounded like. Thank
where
you.
does, it wasn't quite,
I'm going to put it out there.
Were you scared?
Oh!
This was the second best match of the weekend.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say something else.
Well, they're better than last year. Something like
I
something
thought
insane.
you were going to mention some kind of emergency service that needs to be contacted.
What, the NHS?
No, call the police.
One-
I'll call the
111.
police.
But I don't know if it was quite called. I don't know if it was quite called the
It's
police.
a don't right to know. It's called a 111 situation.
It's somewhere in the middle of a 111.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
555. I don't know who this is, but help.
It was astonishing.
It was the most important triple threat in the history of WWE.
Yes, it was.
I bet Rollins was fuming when he watched that.
Oh, some of your highlights, Ross.
I've got too many highlights to mention. Javon Evans is the highlight for me. He was the player of the match for me there. The player of the match. Everything he did was incredible. I don't want to just sit here and list the moves because that's boring. It's one of those matches you just need to go and watch for yourself and enjoy it because it exceeded all expectations from start to finish. What a finish. Javon's winning, then Trick's winning, then Oba comes in and does a powerbomb that involves both of them before pinning Javon after another powerbomb. Goodness me. Goodness me.
I like the story as well behind the moves, which was that Trick and Javon, I think the story kind of was, well, Oba's really tough and hard to put away. Javon's very brave. Trick's very angry and bitter. And I think Trick and Javon kept getting in each other's way a little bit, and Oba just benefited from that. And also he is the ruler, so he's really strong and tough. Didn't quite get the bit with the ref. I feel like maybe Trick was meant to pull the ref out a bit earlier or something.
I think that's what you can do, yeah.
But Oba kicked out anyway, because I think he knew Trick wasn't near him and just thought, I'm just kicking out. And that's good.
I thought it was just a good spot.
But he just Trick's like, right, enough of this. Let's just...
Yeah, 'cause he'd already been pulled out once, so
Yeah.
it's like, again, it's like, no, stop doing this.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I can't DQ you, but I can still kick you in the face.
Not that bit, the first bit where Trick pulls the ref out.
Sorry.
I thought that was a bit out of the blue, but it also kind of worked because Trick's been an arsehole recently and he's like, let's just brawl, get rid of the
It's a
ref.
three-way, can't get DQ'd. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional, but Trick doing Javon things, like they were doing the Hardy Boys poetry
Right.
in motion, using all three. That was little, like, subtle bit of storytelling. It was like, because he's little broed him. That's what they've been saying, haven't they?
Oh,
And he was trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
big bro him by doing his moves, but more impressively because he's a longer boy.
Right, yeah. When people I was watching, it was like, is Trick just now a is Trick now a high flyer? And I'm like, yeah, just to show this guy up.
That might be. I'm glad you agree, Matthew. But yeah, Javon's moonsault he did when he got Irish whipped into the apron and leapt up off the bottom rope somehow. Goodness me. The bloody, I've written down Hogan Andre, be gone. Lash Legend Ovis, be gone. Javon and Oba, that's the new scoop slam that everyone talks about. All the cool cats on the street who does a cutter. That had me going after that again. Because there was a few moments where I thought Javon's got this in the bag, and he didn't. But I think his time will come. That's some analysis, but
Yeah, I think the biggest comment you could say about a match like this is going in, you're like, well, Javon's not winning. And then like 15 or so minutes into it, you're like, oh, he might be actually.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. If they make you, tricks you, or not tricks, that's a weird thing to say, but like, oh, is he winning? You can win? Yeah, okay. I'm on board with that, with any of these people winning. And just got the massive powerbomb at the end, Evans, to finish it at 16:48. But I would have been all right with any of the result if it had happened.
yeah.
I decided to check Cage Match in the aftermath of this, and it'll probably have been tempered slightly now. But at the time I checked it, this was one of the greatest matches in WWE history. it was up there with like I think it was near like. Did Mankind Michaels have a really? It was like around that sort of.
The Mind Games.
I think it was above that. It was like it was doing really well. It was very, very good. Very good.
I don't know if it was as good as last year's Stand Deliver triple threat with JB.
Oh, I mean,
And
Dijak. That was that match of the year. It was so good. Dijak's contract was not renewed.
Apart from that house show in 2015 or whenever it was, we've not been to any. I would have loved to have gone to this event. For this main event, it would have been great live.
Would you have woken up for it?
No, but the main event would have been. It was one of those matches where it would have been so much fun live. I think.
Do you reckon you could pay like, if you're a certain height or width, you can pay for like big people just to bring you to events and you just be tired still? So you don't have to
What?
wake up
Carry
that
you
much.
there?
Yeah,
No,
it's like Uber, but like a bit more priced.
I'm sure if you kept feeding them biscuits, you could trick
How
them
are
into
they
doing
carrying
anything.
you in this? Like a lot.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, I'd like to go to this show, but I can't be asked, like, doing anything or conserving my energy for WrestleMania.
Get a taxi, yeah, I'd say.
I mean, yeah, okay, that would be part of it, but then, like, I can't even think of a funny pun, but just the
Matthew-
service for, like,
Matthew being-
hi, I'm a big guy. I will pick you up and carry you
I think
and
it
put
would-
you in your chair.
I think it would be worse. You getting
I just wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm at the show.
hefted down the Las Vegas Strip in the baking heat. Just I should have got an Uber.
Ah, that's good. I'm horribly burned, but I'm here for the NXT Stand and Deliver.
That's where Tupac got shot. We saw that.
Yeah,
Couldn't believe it.
yeah.
Check that out, Richard. I've seen where Tupac got shot. You know, you're a hip hop fan, right?
Yeah, so that was the stuff. That was the preamble. Are you ready to have a quick break?
Bye.
Yeah.
Get in. And we're back, fresh with a lovely vodka lemonade with the only clean glass in this entire
Is that
studio.
actually a vodka lemonade?
It certainly is.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, Mr. Morrison
Bloody,
just sold me
bloody,
something. So.
bloody,
Because it's WrestleMania and people expect us to get absolutely pissed.
can't be
We're
doing
not.
See it off then. Fresh
But,
up.
I filled it up to about that much, so I think I'll sip it lightly. I did not put a lot of lemonade in that.
Oh no!
If you'd like one, I'll
What's
get
he
you one.
like? Trouble.
Ooh. WrestleMania 41, Night 1. Get your notes out, Maffew, you idiot. Pre-show, WWE revealed that they've acquired Lucha Libre AAA.
Yeah.
The underdogs, WWE. We've heard in the press all last week how they are the underdogs, just trying their very best to do some good in this horrible hellscape of a world we live in today.
They did say that. It was so funny.
This is a bad thing.
I'll go over the bits here. Announced a joint branded Worlds Collide event on June 7th, in reference to the Worlds Collide event that the WCW and AAA put out in 94, I believe, but don't quote me on that year. Rey Mysterio reveals he is injured, unable to wrestle El Grande Americano, but Rey Fenix is stepping in to take his place. It is funny, the things combined, like, nah, I'm too hurt over the news, I'm not wrestling. And then backstage, Lara Valkyria finds Bayley beaten down. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are suspected of the attack, but they plead their innocence. Alan Pierce tells Lyra she has 24 hours to find a new tag partner, like he's some sort of evil Bond villain. I don't know why it's like that. So first of all, AAA, yeah.
AAA, yeah.
It's still global localization, Triple H's favourite buzz term of a few years ago,
Yes.
but done in the not honourable way. They're just going to buy up the promotions around the world. We've had TNA bought, I think, personally behind the scenes. We've had now AAA acquired, is the word I keep using. We saw Dwayne The Rock wearing a New Japan logo on his tits the other day. That'll be the next one to get acquired.
They won't buy New
You
Japan.
watch.
Buying
They
New
won't buy
Japan.
New Japan.
Absolutely
The one that
no.
WWE are affiliated with, Noah.
They'll buy them all.
Oh, right.
Why
But
would
wait,
Dwayne The Rock have that logo on him?
Just for fun.
Because he probably
The
found
Rock
it.
Yeah.
does not wear New Japan merch for
He
fun.
watches. He's subscribed to New Japan World. He loves Chris
Yes.
Charlton.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he does. He does. He was there cheering when Charlton was going in on Tony Khan. He was going, yeah.
That's why, if you smell. And Tony Schiavone went, yeah, that's him.
But either going to go back, the underdogs going to go back after the monopolization of professional wrestling. Everything will be the same around the world, and it'll be rubbish.
Yeah, Lucha Blog was a magnificent post, as he always does, about the state of things to come. 'Cause it's either going to be this way or this way or this way. It's either going to be they go in there and they go, well, I hope you get ready to get blown out the water, CMLL, because here's the new sheriff in town. And they have a guy like Conan to stay on board and show them how to do it properly, because we have multiple times over the recent history tried to break into there, but never really go all in. Like the Super Astros and all those other things they try doing, and obviously the tours there do very well, but they're not a Mexican company. They don't know the Mexican ways and stuff like that. So if they they shoehorn themselves in, overload their shows, I'm just copy pasting what Lucha Blog was saying, and just basically make CML look like a bunch of old relics, then they'll go, cool, we're rebranding this to WWE Mexico.
I listened to Melter talk about it, and you could
that
tell
must be fun.
Well, no, he was actually pretty good, because it's the sort of stuff he's good at. You know, like the history of the business and how things might
Yeah,
go.
because you're just going to repeat what Conan's told them.
No, but he was quite, skeptical about this being good for wrestling in Mexico in general. And you could tell that Meltzer was speaking sense, because Alvarez wasn't cutting him off. He was just letting him go. And Meltzer was saying, like, he took issue with Triple H saying, like, oh, the proud traditions of Lucha Libre. He's like, Triple H haven't wrestled traditional Lucha Libre in years and years and years.
That's actually, yeah, true. The other thing Lucha Blog was saying, like, Triple H's the last few years
It's the
have been...
sports entertainment of
I mean,
equivalent.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the main storyline right now is JBL. It's so funny, like, they've been trying to get rid of this for ages, and literally the big storyline is JBL going, I represent a foreign interest who's interested in buying AAA. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It
And,
actually finally happened.
and Meltzer was saying, like, he acknowledged that it's not a promotion I watch the most of, but he was saying, like, CMLL have been on a hot streak the past few years, and he said everything goes in cycles like it does in America. You know, the business in Mexico is good at the minute, but this could lead to... He was like, CMLL isn't going to be in danger tomorrow, but who knows a few years down the line how this is going to affect it, because as much as Mexican fans have a different entirely relationship with wrestling and have their own traditions and their own preferences and everything, he was like, you can't sometimes deny star power though, and if WWE keep running shows with Rey Mysterio and Andrade and
That's the thing, right.
these big names in Mexico, then... Because we say stuff like, oh, Andrade's not been done that well on TV, but he was huge in Mexico at the time.
Right, no, yeah.
And if they keep running these big shows with these stars, sometimes that'll damage the more traditional lucha libre product, and he was quite down about it, but with good justification.
It could have saved himself a lot of work by going, hey, do you ever see the UK?
Well, yeah. And then he was saying, I don't know if the lucha libre style will die out necessarily, but it'll become like I think he was trying to say it'll become like a self-conscious thing. You know when like two wrestlers do the British style and they go, they're doing the British style. Yeah. It wouldn't just be a thing in and of itself. It'll be a thing that's...
It'll be nerds like Cusco and look, they're doing the Mexican.
Yeah. So he was pretty down about it, or at least skeptical about this being good for the Mexican scene. Like you say, maybe how the UK scene was.
Lucha Pro was quite... It's interesting seeing, well, if Conan's going to stay on as a special advisor, it means he'll have to shut up on his podcast or stop doing it entirely.
We might get Vampiro involved in WWE.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
See, that's a joke. Is Del Rio actually going to be there? He is the mega champion right now.
The Kingo's portrayed as like the big champion.
Right,
But
Vikingo was able to show
But
up.
they do weight classes, don't they? So he's obviously... Del Rio's the heavyweight champion or whatever, that equivalent. So I don't know if he'll show up or not.
Yeah, he's been the focal point of the storyline, which has been him beefing with Latin Lover. But anyway,
He has said for years that they want to bring him back. So this is
I
obviously...
can't believe every
this is
month
happening.
he said that for 10 years. It's finally going to be right. Yeah, grim. And then it was also funny having all the luchadors lined up, and you're like, well, look, they're all there. Even Joaquin Wilde, not a lucha, not Latin
He's
at
part
all.
of the
He's part of the
LWO,
LWO,
Maffew.
but you're like, okay, we're just gonna keep on doing this.
I've always assumed that he is part... Like he's
Nah.
got
Part
some,
lucha.
some heritage because...
He's in the LWO.
Yeah.
Like, you're not, no.
I've always assumed
Right?
he is partly, yeah.
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 Kayfabe.
No, he wears that nice hat as well.
Yeah, he's got a nice hat.
He had his
yes.
nice hat on.
He pulls off very well. But yeah, Rey Mysterio is injured, so he'll be out with Rey Fenix. You know, very, very odd timing to have this El Grande Americano character with the AAA news, let me tell you.
Well, I thought when this happened, I was like, well, Americano is losing. He's getting humiliated by... no?
Nah. And fair play for not having El Grande Americano with the rest of the luchadors.
What were you saying? Sorry,
I was going to say how they build into the final unmasking of Americano at a Mexican show.
It's got to be that Worlds Collide, though, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's NXT, isn't it?
Oh, right.
But if they want to put their big lads on,
Yeah.
make the rest of them, as we just said.
So it feels like Grand Americano might be here to stay for a little while. Such a big WrestleMania win.
It certainly was. Show starts off with Reigns heading out. Well, Michael Cole says he'll be headlining his 10th WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Can we name all of them? There's
Yeah.
matches. I know
The
you
last,
guys
the
are
last
quiz.
10, yeah.
Here we go.
Go on.
Okay.
Well, Lesnar.
So 2015,
Lesnar.
Mania.
Yeah, the Rollins
Rollins,
clash.
Yep.
Triple H
Triple H.
2016.
Yep.
Taker.
Taker 2017.
Yep.
Lesnar 2018.
Yep.
2019 was... That was not main event.
That was the women.
That was women. 2020,
He was off.
he was away, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
21, stack 'em and pack 'em.
Yep.
Edge and
Bryan.
Oh, wait. 10th Mania, not 10th Mania main event. Because did he wrestle Drew at one of these ones?
Oh,
That
but
was 35, wasn't it? That
right,
was
so that one. Okay.
that was caught in the middle. A little bit of A1 action.
well, yeah, the Shield versus the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah. So we've got...
Yeah.
Yeah. Did the Shield have one at 29?
I thought it was Mania main event, but
well.
no, that's not right, is it?
Well, he still had a lot of Mania main events, though.
Oh, I've ruined it now.
The Shield
Doesn't
did have
matter.
one at Mania at 29 against. It was Big Show and Kane and...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Someone
one.
else.
Yeah.
Orton, maybe?
The New Age Outlaws,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
That was
was
the next
the-
30.
that was the-
They squashed the Outlaws and Kane.
That's right.
But the year before that, they had a triple threat, 6-man as well.
That's the one, yeah.
So then 38 was Lesnar.
Lesnar again.
Yeah.
39 was...
Cody Rizzle in the main event when he beat him.
Yes.
Yep. And then 40 was...
40
there
lost
was
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun.
That was
Yeah,
a
it was
great
good.
time.
It's like those amazing quizzes that you guys have been doing
Go and
on the
watch
channel.
the
That people have been
quizzes,
saying
I
very
mean.
good
We
things
need to
about
get a
them.
few more sorted once we've had time off.
No time out in wrestling. We're on about. And we got a video package starting off, and it's far below previous ones, as it's all about patting themselves on the back, I've put here, rather than how good the show is going to be, which is to be expected, but come on, it's Mania.
Vegas will finally know what's real or something
Yeah.
that will hit them on the arse. Ah.
This
Yeah,
is
but it was
where-
like, look at all the YouTubers and Jimmy Fallon talking about how great WWE is. I'm like, what about the matches? The things? No?
Well, it's mainstream now. WWE's the draw. It's weird because WWE's always been the draw. They've wanted to keep themselves bigger than any stars since The Rock, since it got too big and everything. But you could always rely on WrestleMania itself being a draw. This huge spectacle. And you're right, this year felt more like WrestleMania is the draw because it's WWE's biggest thing.
Yeah.
Which it felt a bit more organic when it was just WrestleMania is this huge thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nothing organic about this Mania, but doesn't
What
make
did you think of the
necessarily
stage, by the way, Ross? You're the stage man.
Oh, I thought it was in the conversation. Top 5.
Right.
Maybe
fair
5th.
enough.
Maybe the 5th best.
The set rule. Love the little building, especially when it appeared that there were fans in the little seating bits.
I hate to think how much those tickets would cost.
Yeah.
For not the best view in the stadium. Because I think was it 25,000 for like a
What?
front row ringside seat?
What are you on about?
While your green shirt guy sits and then he conveniently walks out with Wade Barrett for night 2. Done.
They're just pals.
yeah.
He's walking down the
Maybe
ramp.
like Maffew, he hired a large man to take him to his thing.
All makes sense now. Yeah.
Barrett was good. I've got to agree.
Yeah.
It's,
We should say we went through the Bailey situation earlier just in case you skipped through the podcast. We thought it was a load of bollocks and very disrespectful to Pamela.
Sad for Pam.
Yeah, bollocks. After Triple H welcomes us to the show, and thankfully doesn't take 90 minutes to start, Gunther defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. Jey wins via submission with a sleeper hold to become champ. Jimmy arrives to celebrate with his brother and to prove he's not dead.
How happy were you to see Salvatore Gnacchi?
the
let me
DJ.
tell you, I can't overstate how surreal it is as a fan of 2D fighting games, loving SNK for years, and they were always the underdog against Capcom and then the other 3D fighters. And then the Saudis bought them out a few years ago. So now Fatal Fury is being advertised everywhere on the planet. Ronaldo's in it, never picking him. How dare you?
Ronaldo's in it.
Yep.
Which one?
Cristiano, the bastard. So, that one.
Yeah.
You know, things that people like to do with them. And this DJ lad, thank you, the DJ whose name I've already forgotten is introducing it. because
Salvatore Gnacchi.
I like his music, but it's just the Saudis going, yep. When they had the recoming, well, look, we want Andre, we want Yoko, we want Warrior. It's like, yeah, these are the people going to be in Fatal Fury.
For him to be the first person we saw in the entrance ramp was very confusing. Very confusing.
I think that it was meant to be he was spitting the you-know-what for Jey Uso's
Right.
theme.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, just he went up and down again.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
How
Liar.
did you, when you were DJing, how did you keep the crowd invested, or were you like a shoegazy DJ?
Was it with 2D fighting
I was
games?
doing the big eats, you know.
Yeah.
Did you ever go past 2 a.m.?
Oh yeah,
Whoa!
eating past 2 a.m.
I
to
don't know
keep
if you've heard
crowd.
about a certain Eddie Thorpe at NXT.
Wait, I haven't seen this match yet. So Salvatore Gnacchi just came out and
He
stood there
popped
for
up
a
like
bit.
Cody
He was on
Rhodes
his
to Cody
deck, he was behind
Vader.
his deck.
He punched an old woman in the face, like in the video.
He stood there and did a bit of that.
But he didn't even.
Well, there was dancers.
He didn't even DJ Jey Uso to
No.
the ring.
No.
Well, DJ.
Oh.
Well,
But it was
sorry,
there.
TJ
Oh.
Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out the crowd. So,
Oh, okay.
so it cuts to the crowd, and then Jay's coming down.
He pressed a button on his set on his ones and twos that went, "Bye, Fatal Fury! Bye, Fatal Fury!"
I was expecting at least like a wicka wah, just to
very
go like,
interesting.
Jim West,
his machine's plugged in.
Desperado.
He just played his song, and
So it was one of the WWE advertisement specials. Basically.
Yeah, because and Fatal Fury was on the ring mat, which again I can't overstress how weird it is to see that. Like, okay, sure, this is just the world we live in now. So that happened. Pat and Cole did Yeet Is Come for the 100th time.
yeah.
It's me, Oos, day one. Yeet Is Come. It's me, Oos, Yeet Is Come. I've written here. God. And then they cut to a Saudi chairman, and he's not yeeting.
It's that Turkey bloke. He's called
Turkey,
Turkey.
It's
yeah.
the Turkish
the
chairman.
one
No,
that's
he's not.
involved in
He's,
the
no, his
boxing.
name is Turkey,
His name is Turkey.
but he's not. He's Saudi. Yeah.
This is like, who's on first?
And he is the one who does the he's the boxing promoter. Who puts on the-
Because
yeah.
that's why, bloody, bollocks, who was it? Ben versus
Ben
Eubank?
versus Eubank.
Junior.
Oh right,
Yeah,
yeah.
Junior, that's happening, which is also endorsed by Fatal
I
Fury.
watched that back, the original one,
Oh, yeah.
because Chris Eubank's done like a director's commentary.
Someone told me to watch that. It might be new.
I knew when he hit me here. and I felt like I can do this. It's just really all in character. I knew I could do it. All the doubters, all the hard work.
I need to watch out.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of the match?
I like the story of the match in the early going. Jay proving he can do things like he got a crack on Gunther's jaw that made the crowd go, ooh, make him say, ooh.
Make him say,
Then there was a little bit where he wasn't able to hold Gunther up before he did do. It's storytelling. Big throwing suplex off the top, followed by dinosaur kick, followed by powerbomb that made no sound on the mat to get a 2. One of the strangest powerbombs on record. Match became a bit of a finisher match, even though neither lads would have done enough offense to store up the finishers like we do on SmackDown versus Raw. Here comes Here Comes the Pain. There's no Raw involved.
On SmackDown, here comes the Fatal Fury.
Here comes the Fatal Fury. Belt to the head, that had me going there because the ref had to dive out the way of Jey Uso doing his old tope. King's Road stuff I've written down there as this match did start to finger. Jey believing more and more as he gets the powerbomb of his own out of reversing a Gunter powerbomb, 2 super kicks, a spear, an Uso splash, a second Uso splash, a third Uso splash, and then a sleeper on Gunter, and Gunter tapped. Now let me tell you, that's where a lot of people have gone,
yeah, make him say, ew.
Make him say, that's not Gunter's character. He shouldn't tap out very soon.
No, he shouldn't. That was really quick.
The story they were like trying to do here with obviously Jay believing in himself, and then obviously that's the move that Gunter did to Jimmy to kill Jimmy a few weeks ago. That makes sense. The bit that just gets me is how quick Gunter tapped out. Yeah. But then you go on Twitter and some sad prick has remembered that Ilya Dragunov made Gunter tap out in double quick time as well.
Oh, that's his weakness.
And they've said, oh yes, that's Gunter's weakness.
Ah.
And Jay knew this.
He hates getting choked out.
Because he does tap out quickly to Ilya Dragunov a few years ago. So,
But Ilya's gritty and rah, whereas Jay's he's not that type of wrestler.
I think it's Gunther's style is to like to make it look not real, but you know what I mean. And in real fighting, someone puts that on you, you're like, oh, I'm tapping immediately, get off this, which isn't what we expect with WWE submissions, though.
But that's Gunther.
Yeah,
I was taken aback a bit by how little he sold like the struggle of being in the hold before tapping out. That's the only bit, because in terms of story, it does make sense to me.
Okay,
it's just how quick it happened.
Yeah.
I found the first half of this match really weird. Did you notice anything wrong with Jay at the start?
His arm. I was going to bring this up after you'd spoken.
Because when you said the powerbomb, I thought he was looking after him a lot on that. Because Jay spends a lot of the first bit of the match. There's a weird delay. He's sat in the corner holding his arm. There's a lot of talking between the two of them and the ref. But then, as the match wore on, he was fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was about.
But then when he's, celebrating like that, he doesn't really celebrate, does he? He there's a weird look on his face.
Right.
When he's walking up the crowd, he's not very, you'd expect loads of yeeting, wouldn't you?
Are you thinking a Finn Balor Universal title situation?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what's going
Do you think he heard himself yeeting? I hate to sound like
Sami Zayn did.
Right.
Someone said, I can't remember who it was in the office, someone went, has he done a Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
During his entrance. Don't know.
It was at the celebrations, or lack thereof.
Maybe as the adrenaline kicked in.
He said, or maybe he thought, I can't have another stinker.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I felt bad for him at first because I was like, something's gone wrong here. And it's his big moment.
Yeah.
But he powered through, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if anything comes out about it.
Right. Even with that, I thought, lovely job, first of all, by Wade for pointing out that Jay was doing Gunther's offense back at him, which I thought that was good. It almost would have been ignored by the other two who wouldn't stop talking about cum. Very Gunther formula match. There's nothing wrong with that because it's one of the best in the world. Exactly what the match needed to be as an opener to WrestleMania, as the end-all, be-all feud ended between these two after, he killed his brother in front of him. I was like, oh, okay, with that quicker tap out, fine. But if it's going to be the first of a few others, I'm all right with it. If this is, I'll reserve my final judgment until we see what happens next, because Mania's not always the end of the story, as Triple H likes telling us. But, if this ends up being the first of many, absolutely not a problem. If this was the feud ender...
If it is the feud ender, who's been set up then? Because there's going to be a draft, remember, so it doesn't necessarily have to be... So Drew, maybe?
Even though he lost, Bron Breakker was like... Their match was like, oh no, Dom won, but Bron Breakker is the one you should be paying attention to.
I just don't know if I was... I wouldn't want to put Bron against Jay because everyone will want Bron to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going
Who's going to be like Jay's Kane, his first feud to...
Kane.
Yeah.
Nakamura.
They've got plenty of heels.
Who is like the Ziggler? Who is the new Ziggler? I mean, the Miz is still
Andrade?
I would have said, sometimes it used to be, when it was Roman, babyface Roman, it used to be AJ Styles, didn't it? He would be Roman's first.
He can't now.
No.
No, after he's lost that one.
Yeah. But anyway, a good way to start Survivor Series War Games, according to the graphics.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it had challenges, didn't it, for Jay?
It's challenges.
Because he's carrying the spirit of Jimmy with him.
That's right, because he's dead. Anyway, I'll put feels like WrestleMania, yes or no, and I'll put yes here. I've got this decided
Yeah.
because it seemed to be a thing that like people
right.
like, does this deserve to be at Mania? Did this feel like a Mania worthy thing, given how big they do this? So I thought I'd do this and see how many we got at the end.
That's good. I thought.
So do you think it was like Mania?
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't like a huge fan of the match in particular, but yes, it did feel like a Mania.
Okay.
It was
I
worthy of the card. Certainly.
I was like you. For some matches, yes. For some matches, no. A no is coming up next. But I am very happy that Jey Uso didn't slip. Because that was made part of the story. So you're wondering, oh my God, might he slip for realsies in the main event of this? Well,
No.
for this world title match, and he didn't. So I'm
He
thankful.
did still hit his crappy spears, but it helped him win. So.
Hey, they look good. I thought both lads nailed it.
The War Raiders defend the World Tag Team titles against the New Day. The heels win when Kofi sneakily holds Ivar's leg down during a pinfall from Woods. They grab the belts to run up the ramp to
He
celebrate.
gets his shoulder up, by the way, lads.
Did he?
Yeah, quick like that.
Oh,
Gets it
what a,
up.
what a worker, brother,
Ref
brother.
misses it. I felt so sorry for the Viking Raiders. Sorry for the War Raiders.
Oh my God.
Because they spent so long with the Viking stuff, and it really, we said this on the podcast, it held them back because you couldn't relate to these Viking boys.
Right.
They got rid of them to start dressing in more like bikie gear sort of stuff, leather jackets and that. Just let the sort of fight and do the talking sort of stuff.
Still with the Viking spirit.
Yeah, the spirit was there, the horn was there at the start of the theme, but that was enough. It worked. They were getting bigger reactions, it was going well.
And then what happened, Ross?
We're sponsored by Clash of Clans at WrestleMania, and they make them wear the worst costumes ever.
These lads
they look so
Are
rough.
we coming
It
out
looked
dressed in
awful.
soft play? What's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah, I felt so because I didn't realize it was. I don't play Clash of Clans. I didn't realize it was a sponsorship until they got to the bottom of the ramp, and then their name slate appeared, and then the commentator was like, "We are brought here by Clash of Clans," and this, and then it's the characters are. I think the game should be renamed something about Dick, shouldn't it? Was always like the other game because it was all about like hog jumper,
Oh, that was part.
hog rider.
That was part. It was like, that's right, I'm on Clash of Gash there's the big pig effer, and it was like, yeah,
Pecker.
thank you.
Pecker, yeah.
Pecker, my big hog that I have between my legs. I'm like, this is great, Pat.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There's a Raw tag title match happening.
yeah.
Talk more about yourself.
I felt bad as well because they've got to look hard and mean while they're wearing these silly
It looked ridiculous.
cardboard outfits. It looked like something off Phoenix Night.
I hope they got a bonus.
He's dressed as a Viking. What's he doing?
Let's see what's in the box.
Makes sense on Raw because the New Day got interviewed and they were like, "We're busy playing Clash of Clans." They did that on Raw. Yeah, should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big start of the match, though, with Eric sending Kofi into Woods and then suplexing Ivar off the apron onto the New Day on the floor. From there on out, though, it felt a bit like a Raw match, apart from Kofi doing his senton on the apron, which was a nice move. Nothing out of the ordinary happened between these two teams. Ivar not quite getting around as much as he might have wanted to for his big moonsault that nearly murdered Kofi Kingston. Woods breaks up with a nice elbow drop. The daylight looked rough as bowels, but I like that, as long as Ivar didn't get hurt, because it looked like the sort of landing of Woods didn't quite go to plan. And as I say, he got a little shoulder up. I think it was between 1 and 2. He went like that. So I was like, stop the count. Let's continue the match.
Was not, I think it's supposed to show like, I'm trying to kick out, but I can't. But instead it's like, oh wait, I'm a much bigger guy than I thought I was.
But this one felt like a Raw match, not like a WrestleMania match.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm assuming that you put that on your.
There's a hell no. Video package focused more on the New Day turn with Big E because it's the only thing to talk about with regards to either team, and that turn was months ago. Also funny with Wade doing analysis on New Day's gear and talk about how the unicorn skeleton resembles Big E, that forgotten member of the team who's no longer with us.
Because there was 2
And
alive
then-
heads and 1 dead one.
Nice.
Right. And then seconds later, here come the War Raiders dressed as video game adverts for Castle Clashes or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a casual. Don't play this. Yeah, really sold them as wrestlers here. Is that the reason they're here? To plug a game? Oof. Feels like a Mania match? No. And then, as if we didn't get it enough, we get the proper full Clash of Clans advert. Thanks for coming, War Raiders.
Is that with Cody Rhodes with his famous moustache?
I thought it was Triple H as Cody Rhodes as a Viking.
As Hulk Hogan.
As Hulk, yeah. The most racist wrestler of all time.
I think it was Ross saying in the build-up to this, and probably not just you, but everyone was saying, "Why is this on Mania then?" Because Big E will get involved.
Right.
That's why it's on Mania. So I was thinking the Vikings would win, or the War Raiders, because the New Day will try and cheat. Here comes Big E. Or the New Day will win, gloat, and then Big E will scupper them somehow or whatever. I just thought, even if he can't do anything physical, and I wouldn't expect him to or anything, but he would be there.
He was.
That's why it's on
the
pretty
panel.
Sure, yeah. But that's why it's on Mania. That's what everyone had convinced themselves, I think, and rightly so. But no, that's not why. It was just on Mania.
I apologize. Earlier I said the SmackDown tag title scene is the lowest importance in the way. I do apologize wholeheartedly. The Raw one is.
Well, who's going to challenge now?
The LWO, of course.
The Raiders get it back? Or the draft's going to...
Yeah.
The draft makes everything harder to predict.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, 1-0. A weather warning announces that a storm is coming.
1 second, lads. A bit of a storm brewing.
Let's just have a little rewind, lads. Jade Nelly got murdered, and this was her big final chance to get her hands on Naomi. And we're doing silly weather reports here.
Could they have chosen like maybe a tougher weatherman? he was definitely he was definitely the local weatherman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was going like, oh, we got some sunny. Oh,
And they definitely had a big bit of cardboard.
Oh, here's Bret Hart. We've got some sunny days coming through.
cardboard.
Just the way he kept like looking off, like if I'm looking down the barrel of the lens, he kept going like, "Oh, there's thunder coming!
Yeah.
Oh, hey!"
Oh no, it's the War Raiders gear they've thrown backstage at a wall.
Because Richard, Jade Cargill came out dressed as Storm from the X-Men. Yeah.
But with the haircut of a Backstreet Boy, I noted.
Oh right.
Yeah, she had lovely keratins.
See.
But I just thought that.
Seconds after that, after they did the weather report, and here is Jade, and they were like, "Oh, there's a storm coming," and Wade just went, "Good job, we're indoors then, huh?" Completely buried it.
I just thought it was.
Wade.
I liked the big window at the back of the venue though. That was different.
Oh yeah,
Good.
great window.
Great window.
I love the window.
Watch the storm from inside.
Just thought it was misplaced for Jade finally get her hands on the last to try to kill her. Because Naomi's entrance I liked, even though I think it's a Death Rebel special because of the drums. It's that drum beat. That's in there a lot. But I like the change of pace for Naomi. It worked. But then that happening for Jade, it took me out the moment a bit because I was like, right, I'm ready to see Jade rip this lady a new one after what she did.
You know what? The way we said that makes a lot of sense. I didn't mind it because it's Jade. They're treating her like a big star. It's a big return match, kind of. So yeah, makes sense. You're going to get an entrance. But now you put it like, have a daft thing. You're like, oh yeah, I guess.
Nothing says big star like the local weatherman.
You know, it's because we just had some lads dressed up as some crap Vikings. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Sometimes WrestleMania entrances don't have to be different. That's what I've learned here.
Her gear was cool, you know.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the match, Ross?
I thought the tone of the match was right from the get-go because they were very scrappy and just trying to all over each other. There was a draping X Factor to the floor off the apron from Naomi. Jade with the catching jackhammer with Naomi coming off the turnbuckles was great. The transitions that led to the bulldog off Brett's throat from Naomi were very tantalizing. They could have fallen, but they didn't. The new finisher is incredible and scary, I wrote down until I realised that's not the new finisher, but it's a better move than Jaded.
God, the electric chair bomb.
Oh, what a maneuver. Nearly move of the week, but not quite.
I guess I didn't mind her not using it as the finish because immediately she then hit Jade. Yeah. You could argue that one would have finished.
It's a better move, isn't it?
It's like Phoenix's debut.
It's
Emerald Fusion to set up the Phoenix bomb.
It's a better move, and I'm not doubting that Jade's very strong and stuff, but it was scary though.
She did land high, Naomi.
Yeah,
but not low enough, but high all the same.
Yeah.
But I think it turned a bit less gritty as it went on, which sort of left the story of like the attempted murder behind a bit too much for me. But it was a ding-dong battle with plenty of good moves from both lasses.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded some kind of stipulation, but I agree. I thought it was largely, I think the positive outweighed the negative, I suppose. At the end, when Jade's celebrating, she teases like she's going to, like the ref's like, stay back, Jade. And she goes like, all right. So this, I guess, is the end of the end of the feud?
I
guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
She got her own back.
I thought it was fine. Yeah, I thought
Dave Benson Phillips.
I thought it was. Yeah.
And Pat being like, "Oh no, she ran over Jade with her car." It's like that's not what happened, mate.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So he's not been watching. He's not even been watching.
He's everything's a haze to him.
Right.
I liked. Oh, do I already put that bit? Yeah, Jade landed big power moves to counter Naomi's offense. Everything making her look grand in the process. Didn't overstay its welcome. Good job. Feels like WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel like WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's what you want to see.
2-1. So
2-1.
WrestleMania.
Against WrestleMania.
And then Cole hyped up Fatal Fury again some more just because life is not real. Okay. We live in the Matrix, etc. LA Knight defends the US title against Jacob Fatu. Knight reverses a moonsault attempt with a mid-air BFT, which sounds like something a small child will write down, and an adult will come along and goes, "No, that move can't happen. That's too risky." But Jacob grabs the bottom rope just in time to avoid a pinfall. Jacob gets the win after an avalanche Samoan drop and a pair of moonsaults. Haku, bless you, congratulates Jacob at ringside.
Yes.
A sobering start of the match. Sorry, Jack.
But I just this one, I think people were like, this was the best match of the night so far at this point.
100%. But we realised that LA Knight is nothing more than a scrub at the start of the match.
Go on.
Because he's hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at us. Yeah.
But they said, didn't they? Like Wade did Wade, MVP of the weekend, maybe. Just going, well, he wrestled 2 matches on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's been driven because he wants to make sure he's focused on his body and stuff like that. And I'm like, only you could have covered for that.
He's not like Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
Oh, I was going to say,
Less about what we saw on camera, but have you seen the fan footage from missing the ramp?
You missed the ramp as well.
Oh, you're not logged in on Twitter, are you, Richard?
He missed everything.
I was going to say, it's just the big, where Ellen and I drove up in his Maserati.
Yeah.
He just missed it and plowed straight on past it. It was incredible. Anyway.
Is he all
Rick
right?
Mail would have laughed at his quad driving abilities.
Oh, God, yeah, he had a horrible crash, didn't he?
He did.
Wow. But no, I like as well, just before we talk about the match itself, that Solo came out with him, but in his nice white suit, but didn't...
Like Sabu.
Yes, but he wasn't at ringside. And I like that, because this should have been about Jacob, I suppose. If you're not going to do the turn between Solo and Jacob yet, then I think they did this the right way.
I was about to say, I thought that's what everyone was expecting to happen. I was going to cost him this or that or whatever. But he went, no, focus isn't on me. It's all on Jacob. I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's going to be a bit dangerous, having Fatu against Knight, and we're going to be getting the double turn. But thankfully, it seemed 50-50.
Yeah. Yeah, Ellen Knight, it was very Ron Seal for me in the terms of like Ellen Knight only getting moves in sporadically as and when he could do because Fatu was on top. Ellen Knight getting a lot of moves you get with an X button press back in the day.
Yes.
Like you're looking for a circle press or a big suplex or something. He couldn't get it done. He continues to stick and twist and gets the German off the top with a release flip bump from J Cobb. It's a WrestleMania moment I've written down as he reverses the mighty moonsault into a BFT in midair. Very well timed it was, very well timed. Could have gone wrong very easily there.
Yep.
2 moonsaults gets it done. A little bit sudden, but I think that was the point because the moonsault is a fantastic move. And he did it twice, and LA Knight was knackered from the night before. So good job all around. Right man won.
And he used a scrub.
He is a scrub.
Yeah, and crowd very happy to see Fatu, the evil heel, win after, again, Wade did a good job explaining that he beat Braun Strowman in Braun Strowman's match.
Yeah.
Good stuff here.
Yeah,
was
just
good
good
stuff.
stuff.
I did read, I don't know if someone's pulling my leg or not. I do apologize if this is complete misinformation, but someone said Haku wasn't supposed to go say hello.
Who's going to stop him?
But that was it, isn't it? I get just someone kidding with me or
I
saying
liked
like,
it. I think it's...
hey, you can't. Oh my God, it's you. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's his little boy's tag team partner.
Yeah,
yeah, I think that was absolutely fine.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
said
also-
little boy about Tamatong.
His little boy.
His big boy.
If you like Mania, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
it did feel. It felt like a mid-card Mania match, and sometimes you need that, and that's great. And that's just great.
Vikingo is in the front row for Rey Fenix versus El Grande Americano. The heel argues with Vikingo before the bell, so the AAA man hits him with an enziguri.
Should have been kicked out. Disgusting. He's a fan.
Wade said that, yeah.
He's the guest of honor.
And he
Along
went,
with
come on,
Dana
come on,
White.
Wade. The match hasn't started yet. And he's like, oh, all right. Towards the end of the match, Americano slips the metal plate into his mask as the ref checks on his opponent. Fenix does his tightrope kick and a diving headbutt, which both hurt him more than Americano due to the metal plate. Americano finishes him off with a diving headbutt. Vikingo checks on Fenix in the ring.
And the ref's telling them to hurry up. But King was checking on him, and the ref's like, all right, lads, wrap it up now.
It's a weird one, this one, because the result is all people will talk about because a lot of people don't like the build because it's, I think it's obviously meant to be showing disrespect to Lucha Libre and all that kind of stuff. But people are like, oh, obviously it's leading to Grande Americano getting his comeuppance at WrestleMania. So the fact he hasn't is very interesting. I was saying earlier on, just in case you skipped it, they might be doing the unmasking in Mexico when those shows get going. I think that would be a fitting thing to do on the first one, maybe. It's a big moment. It's like in Lucha Libre, runs wild all over America. But from the point before the finish, it was a fantastic showcase of Lucha Libre.
Oh,
from
yeah.
both men.
Yeah, the WWE's version of Lucha Libre, here it is. Get used to it,
I mean,
folks.
Phoenix is great. Gable's a great wrestler. Well, he's a brilliant wrestler, but I just didn't think he had a reverse 450 moonsault in him. What the hell was
nowhere.
that?
Move the way,
Bloody
Richard
hell.
Tillman.
Oh, baby.
A 054.
A terrifying bump, because if you watch it back slowly, as I did for some reason, he stots his head off that canvas.
Oh,
Boom.
Luckily, that metal mask was there.
No, the back of his head.
Oh,
He goes
bollocks.
backwards, doesn't he?
yeah.
The bit where there's no metal.
I remember thinking,
There is now.
what's he going to do here? I was expecting a big, lovely Kurt Angle moonsault, big up and no. What was he doing? It was WrestleMania.
Lucha.
It might not actually be Chad Gable, lads. I think we're talking.
Yeah.
It's a backwards 450 there. If that was me, I'd be taking the mask off going, look at me, I can do this move.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care about kayfabe.
If I was Tony Khan, I'd be asking Trevor where he was on the night.
I like the bit with the metal plate as well, because Phoenix breaks his foot off the metal plate, but then for some reason, Chad Gable works the other leg for the ankle lock.
I didn't mind that because Phoenix got out of it.
Yeah.
So
well,
he rolled out of it.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe it was by design, maybe not, but it didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
The finish did. Sorry.
Pat was doing his best to do that, though, because he was like, Zidane Zidane. He was like Zidane Zidane was Grand America.
Zidane Zidane.
Zidane Zidane.
I missed that.
As in at the 2006 World Cup, right?
Against Marco Materazzi.
Zidane Zidane.
Oh no!
That's like when
Just like Zidane Zidane.
It's like when John Travolta got Idina Menzel's name wrong when he called her like Nadal Dazine or something like that. Zidane Zidane.
It's Zinedine Zidane, just in case you're not informed, who headbutted an Italian in the heart for having a go at his mom.
Yes. In his last ever game.
One of the best booked World Cup finals.
So great.
Because there's a shot of him walking past the World Cup after he's been sent off.
Yeah.
He walks past the trophy itself.
It's
Next, they
career
filmed that
ending.
bloody documentary,
It was
didn't they?
his last
Zidane.
match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so it was shot from 100 different angles.
Zidane
Zidane.
Zidane. Unless there is a different Zidane Zidane that I don't know about who did headbutt.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Zidane Zidane. I have to go back and watch. I didn't hear that. Also, at the very start, as he's making his entrance, El Grande Americano has his mariachi band play Stars and Stripes Forever, which I thought was a nice little... Oh, okay. That's a
I like
nice
the sepia-toned filter on the entrance as well.
sepia tone. And then...
Breaking Bad filter, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, of course, yes.
Oh, when there's a
They didn't
flashback,
increase like everything like it looks orange because they're in Mexico, which is near the surface of the sun. But no, instead they said from the Gulf of America,
And then the
they're
commentators-
like, oh no. Apparently they've gone back on this.
Yeah.
But and they were quite quick to go. No, we're sorry because they Pat on the Pat McAfee show, who's getting just drunk with people on the WrestleMania weekend. They said, look, no, we've checked. Apparently, he's not a month and a half old. So when he was born, it was the Gulf of Mexico.
But then
so they've gone back on that completely. But you're like, isn't that part of the
They
gimmick?
haven't, though, because in the middle of the match, Michael Cole's just like, I'm just hearing in my ear that he is actually from the Gulf. They haven't gone back at all.
There was clearly...
It was, I don't know what they were, because they were like, oh, she said the wrong thing there. And then they're going, no, we are doing it. But I'm like, all right. I mean, obviously, that was one of the many things that annoyed a lot of Latin people online, going, how dare you bastards.
Clearly, there were decisions being made backstage in real time.
That's what it seemed to be like. But like,
Triple H is looking around to see if the AAA presidents are there. He's like, no, do it. Call it the Gulf of America, do it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, are they trying to have their cake and eat it here? No, we don't do that. We are. Let's say the racist bit really quietly.
Someone either the ring announcer got told the wrong thing or the commentary team weren't tipped off because they scrambled when she said it. They were like, the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, because they completely did show it when they were doing that video package.
I didn't hear them
months
go back
ago.
on it, though.
It was just Cole. It was when
right.
on the outside of the ring. He just goes, I'm hearing he is actually from the Gulf of America.
Really? They want to like, no, we're okay.
Who's the heel here? What's going on?
Tony Hitchcliffe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that funny moment aside. Yeah, he worked really well here. I dare say that he worked better than Phoenix here, but that's absolutely a very bad comparison. Phoenix was not expecting to be in this match. He's also still getting used to the WWE ring and everything else like that. It's a different style of wrestling. Lucha Underground did get mentioned. I did approve of that.
Oh, did it?
But yeah, it was also funny going, wait, yeah, who is the Rudo who in this match here when El Grande is outshining his opponent and getting big cheers, especially when they said the Gulf of America, yeah, like yeah, yeehaw. That was just Roman Reigns.
Alvarez mentions this on their recap of night one. He goes like, some people did cheer that, Dave. And then Meltzer goes, well, that was obviously the racists. I thought this was, I'm staggered like Alan Shearer. This was staggering, as I think you always point out Shearer says.
It's his favourite word.
Yeah. Because I was staggered by this booking decision. Why have Phoenix lose? Put Dragon Lee in the match if you're going to have him.
I mean, interesting.
I was staggered.
I think that's what the argument is. Well, he's really over. The gimmick is getting cheers. It's getting positive reactions.
Yeah, but
if he got cheered, and the last match they had, the 6-man tag on Raw, he got more cheered than the LWO did.
Oh, of course he did. He's funny.
It's like, yeah, he's very entertaining in a dumb way. So it's like, well, why would you end it at Mania then if this has still got legs? So I'm all right with him retaining.
If we go a few months down the line, and Rey Mysterio is the one to finally vanquish Americano, and he's the one to unmask him, then we're back where we've been for the past 20 years. We're still looking for the next Rey Mysterio in kayfabe terms,
Right?
Because he'll get the big moment when somebody else maybe should get the big moment.
I have made my peace with that. Ray has outlived 17 popes.
We can't outlive Phoenix, for God's sake.
You watch him.
Penta he can't outlive, for God's sake.
Oh, Penta,
Again,
I reckon Penta might be a heel by then. He'd be heel lucha.
Penta will have retired by then. It's not happening.
See Penta in the blimp having a great time. And
That was so
glasses.
great.
You having a
Skip ahead. It said Penta got to ride the Goodyear blimp, and he said it was one of his career highlights. And I laughed at that and went, to be fair, I'd love to ride a blimp.
When I saw Io Sky in there, and I saw that even a small lady like her looked quite large in that small cabin, I thought I would hate to be in that blimp. It looked terrifying.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it looked so
you wouldn't want to go
scary.
up in a blimp?
I had a tiny plane once, and when I went to Italy, where did I fly? I can't remember where I flew from, but it was like one of maybe 20 seats in the cabin, and you just everything you
I've been in
feel,
one of
every
them.
single bump.
I've been one of them because I got really nervous when the two lads came out with a big lackey band for the propellers.
I don't want to feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones movie when I'm flying.
I was going over the Alps as well, so it was a bit like, I was going to crash right there and explode a big ball of flames.
No, we're gonna just...
I think I walked past it and went, mate, if I kicked it with like my foot, I'd write it off.
Yeah. We're just going to practice some evasive maneuvers now. From the peaks of the
Here we
Alps.
go. Loop-de-loop.
Yeah.
Anyway, did it feel like a Mania match?
I don't know.
I was a bit on the fence, but I'd say because I enjoyed the match, yeah, a C.
Okay.
I don't know if it did. It would have
No.
done if Americano had the moment of getting unmasked. That would have been a WrestleMania moment, a modern one, this year, just this year. But the fact that didn't happen, and we're getting another
Okay,
bit
so it's a no.
I'm gonna say no as well.
Okay.
But it's close.
So
it's very close.
3-2.
It was good. Though.
Maybe if it had been Ray losing to this fraudulent luchador, that would have felt like a big heel Mania moment. But
Is this where we spread the rumor that Ray was like, I'm not winning. Oh, my groin. Oh, I'm in so much pain for 24 hours.
I don't think so. But stranger things certainly have happened in wrestling. So you know.
Lucha's
I
gonna
think
lucha.
we can spread the rumor that Dwayne was like, "Oh, that's what we're doing, is it? Oh, I'm watching telly, busy.
I'm watching New Japan World.
Why would Dwayne not have liked what happened in the end?
I don't know, getting upstaged by Travis Scott or something. Egos at play.
I assume if Dwayne was there, we wouldn't have had the big Travis Scott entrance on his own.
But why
Yeah.
would Dwayne not
Hey, wait,
be
wait.
there for WrestleMania?
Guys,
I
please,
think
hold
he
your, whoa, hold your horses, hold your
Could
horses.
he just not be asked? Did Dwayne know that this wasn't going to go down very well, and he can then claim that the year he was involved,
He's actually a big CMLL fan.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels announces the night one attendance before Tiff Stratus defends the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair.
Interesting. So it's 61,467 sellout, but then there's more there on night 2.
Yeah, it's
And also,
sell out both nights, but
Big Sean's eyes must be buggered. Do you see the size of the text on the card?
No.
I mean, fantastic.
I think we all know his eyes are buggered, but I mean, if you're going to be cruel.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just thinking about his booking of the ladies division NXT.
He fancies all of them.
Yes, he does.
Uh-huh.
His eyes work then.
Yeah.
At one stage, Charlotte jams her knee, landing on the canvas, and the champion immediately targets it. Tiff survives several big moves and retains the title after hitting the prettiest moonsault ever. The pair appear to share a nod of respect as Tiff celebrates. I think of all the matches that happened at Mania this weekend, this is the one that had the most divisive opinions. So I'm very eager to hear
did it?
what you guys have to say about it. We'll start off with you, Ross.
I thought it exceeded expectations because I was expecting, just based off Charlotte Flair's past against the likes of Nia Jax, where stuff's gone wrong in the build-up to a match and she's not been afraid to let that hamper the match. I was expecting this match to be hampered by what's happened before. There was a couple of moments where it looked like they weren't quite working together, but that can happen in wrestling matches,
Right.
where they were trying to go for moves and sequences and they were just a bit like, they didn't go quite right. But apart from that, I thought these two ladies smashed it out the park, so they did. I thought the tone was right at the start, where they were, well, I've written down Joey Styles would have been screaming about battle cats at the start of the match because they were doing the roll over the top of each other. But that fit the tone of what had gone before. I thought the big spots were done very well indeed. I thought the right winner was done and Charlotte made sure to put her over very clean indeed. I know the Alabama Slam didn't go quite right before the setup, the roll through before the PME, but that sort of took the crowd out of it a little bit. But I thought when the moonsault was hitting and the pinfall happened, I thought based off how it could have gone, I thought that's as good as it maybe could have been.
Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite Charlotte match or maybe Tiffy match, but it was still, I thought, a good match. I feel like they must have like sat down and had a meeting together where they've gone, please don't ruin this WrestleMania match for yourselves. Like, because they did seem, there was some like, they were laying it in or whatever, but like, I reckon if it was a men's match, no one would have batted an eyelid. It's just because of the, it's just because, or a match without the background that this match has had, I suppose, is more accurate. But I don't think they were like, it wasn't like they were sandbagging each other at all. It was very full-blooded. Yeah, I thought it was good as well. I don't think it was like my favorite match of the weekend or anything, but it was. I agree with Ross. It exceeded expectations.
That's a good point. Now, if you didn't know about the backstage goings on before the match, you wouldn't look for the stuff going wrong.
Yeah, I think people were overanalyzing it because of everything they knew about it before.
They had that bit at the start with the shoot-style brawl, and then they rolled to the outside and the big throw into the ring post, and commentators, I think the commentary were going like, well, they're not holding back here. We can hear these shots from where we're sat. But apart from that, it was like a WrestleMania title match.
And I tell you what, I'm very happy Charlotte Flair didn't do it at the end.
You're all right,
Yeah,
kid.
you got me, kid.
We had a little bit of respect. She was like, not quite a nod, but just a little like,
I will enjoy taking this title from you at Backlash, yes.
Tiff heading out in a Barbie doll box. And I thought they're glad they dressed differently, but
So-
not that much different.
Apparently the other two Tiffany's were like AI, and it was meant to be dead convincing. Which one's the real one?
It's very clear.
Really?
Very clear. Two on the screen, and then one was real.
Is it the one right in the middle of the room?
She came out, and then someone went, "Oh, she was the middle one." On commentary. Did you hear that? It was funny.
Yeah, that's gotta be Wade.
I think it was Pat. It might have been his best line. It was him, but someone went, "Oh, it's the middle one."
He went through the middle like famous footballer Peel.
Yeah.
But
Zinizuzi, what did he call it?
Zidane Zidane. I'm just going to Google Zidane Zidane and see. Zidane.
But I like repeat, make sure what you guys have said. It's a few moments of, are we going left or right? All right, we're going in the middle, fair enough. That aside, the fact that it wasn't a disaster, the fact it was well worked, the good bits far outshone the bad bits, it was just a sigh of relief at the end.
Yeah.
Charlotte didn't win. Tiff looked good. Tiff got a good crowd reaction. She nailed the prettiest moonsault ever several times because Christopher Daniels retired as your Hangman Page. Yeah, this was all right. I didn't think it was amazing, but it wasn't bad. And I think that's all you can ask for in a situation like this that was threatening to go off the rails.
I thought it was a bit better. I think you've got the sold there, Maffew, in my opinion.
You know what? Because I rewatched it because I listened to my folks and they were like, "Oh, the worst match of all time."
Oh, were they?
I'm
They didn't like it.
What? Like the most botch-filled thing ever.
No.
Let me rewatch it. All right, maybe the Alabama, whatever, and Cole didn't get all of it. I'm like, that aside, this is just what some wrestling matches look like. Sorry, pal.
Especially when you're trying to make it, I think it enhanced, it's one of those matches where it kind of almost enhances it in a way because the struggle feels real. It feels like a real
Everything
thing.
they said on SmackDown was right, Jack. Yeah, I agree. Like, people are more invested in this match now than they probably would have been if they hadn't talked about shagging. So
And it certainly felt like a WrestleMania match to me.
It did.
I full on. I like.
I'm sure Tiffy got some points backstage for her mouth
going
away, but she still has all her
got
teeth.
all her teeth, though, yeah.
Thank you for explaining that. Yeah.
Tiffy
time.
Tiffy time.
Charlotte also had a car entrance too. A nice roll.
Oh, she had rolls.
Yes.
Yes, you knowed her role and lay down for the pin. The class of 2025 Hall of Fame is brought to the stage.
Where was
Nearly
Lex?
all
Where
of
was
them.
Lex, by the way?
Lex Luger, according to it. Go on, pal.
Well, apparently he was at WrestleCon because they were paying more.
Yeah, that's the story that's going around. He pulled a Nitro 95.
Yeah, but that's shocking from WWE, though.
Not even mention him. I thought it was
Pay
bad
him a
as
bit
well.
more than WrestleCon.
What? Pay them? What are you on about?
Well, I don't blame
In
Lex.
this economy.
I don't blame Lex in the slightest for being a big carny there. Fair play, go to the one that's paying you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gave a lovely speech on the whatever day it was that happened.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. He stood up.
That's why he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I thought he just had to, go home. What? I can't believe that.
He goes, "We're going to stand up again."
I bet
Oh,
Brett and Steve were wishing they did the same thing, weren't they? Especially
Oh,
Brett.
my God. Oh.
I think I'm putting it out there.
Sorry, Triple H gets a big entrance and shakes hands with the other inductees. Bret Hart rolls his eyes.
Triple H has made up this award so he could do this moment here and show that he is the biggest star out of him, Brett.
He's
His second appearance on the whole
He's
on
made
the
up
show.
this award.
the Immortal Moment Award.
Oh, right.
Just so you can walk out and get the big hoo-ha over Stephen Brett.
What do you think the first Triple H Immortal Moment's going to be?
The Foley match.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah.
The wedding.
When he married Foley.
Maybe the Foley one, but that's not like one of WWE's favorite matches. They don't like hype that up as much as the fans do. I don't think
It'll
that
be his
one.
leg.
He
falling
mentioned
off,
it
won't
apparently in his speech.
Finishing a match even though he was injured because he's really hard.
Apparently, he did say in his speech that the two Foley matches were two of his favorites.
That was a nice, but he said to Mickey, he was like, I hope you know how much you mean to me. Like, 'cause that was the big, that's why it went 70 minutes, is because he thanked everybody who's ever come into contact with him.
Well, like Jim, my Uber driver. All right. But yeah, it was funny because he changed his tune there though, because he used to like say, "Who lost to me on my way up the card?" And like Foley multiple times. Like anyway, what were we saying?
Bret Hart, man. I was seeing
Best there is.
posts that were like, because I missed it live, I didn't notice he did that, and I saw people saying like, still the greatest of all time. Upstage is Triple H with one spot, just one moment.
I wonder what Triple H said for him to go, oh.
I think it was just Bret knowing what the situation was. He probably hated that Triple H gets the big entrance of that when he stood there as Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And he's
Well, I
just,
was gonna take that.
he's just, I would have loved for him or Austin to have been mic'd up just to know what they were saying to each other. Because Steve probably, I imagine, was more diplomatic than Bret. He's like, oh, you know.
I thought you could tell Steve was a bit pissed off
you
by
think?
it as well, yeah. Because Steve, he's rocked up in the same blaze that was covered in beer from the night before. Steve, he's not even got a new suit on. I think like, he's a bit more jovial than Bret anyway. I think that's an understatement.
Yeah.
But I think he didn't look best pleased either.
They're such a good duo, him
Like,
and Bret.
oh, well, it's great being out here, being like, Midian when Ministry of Darkness would come out and Undertaker cut a promo for 15 minutes. It's like, yeah,
Maybe they were
hope these pills kick in soon.
they're bonding now because they're both cat guys. Bret's always been a cat fan, cat lover, and now Austin's
Yeah.
a cat lover too.
Oh,
he dropped it.
loved those.
Not that.
Too easy.
Because
Too
I
easy.
recently, for some reason, his promo went round again where he's a heel in WCW. He was like, I knew it was going to be a great week for me because my cat Smokey jumped into my arms, and I know I have at least one fan out there. It's when he was checked out, wasn't he?
Yeah, completely checked out.
We got a Poncho reference from Steve on night too, didn't we? When he called everyone just a bunch of solid cats.
Solid ass cats. Macho's now a solid cat as well. He's graduated.
Oh,
to,
fair
yeah,
play.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Not been
job.
keeping up with him.
I miss
Poncho.
Lefty. It's sad what happened to Lefty. Yeah, all right.
Almost as sad as what happened in the main event, which is the triple threat match between Reigns, Seth, and Punk, accompanied by Paul Heyman, of course, as per the favour. All three men end up down on the canvas, so Heyman grabs a chair from ringside. Both Punk and Roman want the chair. Heyman eventually slides it to Punk, who prepares to hit Roman, only for Heyman to low blow his pal from behind. Paul gives Roman the chair, and he beats down Punk with it. Heyman points out that Seth is in a perfect position to recreate the Shield betrayal spot with their roles reversed. Roman goes for it, but Heyman low blows him as well. Seth hits Roman with the chair and pins him after a stomp, turning heel in the process. He leaves with Heyman. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Oh, God.
I think, well.
Some interesting noises come out of the Ross now.
Yes.
Do you 50p in the meter, or are you
Yes,
just
well,
feeling conflicted?
Oh. If the reason was the favour, then I don't think that's good storytelling. I think there's a good story to be told, but I don't think Rollins aligning with Heyman because Heyman thought a favour was owed is not a good reason for me.
No, I hope it's not this imaginary favour that's made
Yes,
up yet.
that should not be the reason. It's shocking, yes. Rollins has a fetish for a WrestleMania that ends with the year that ends with a 5. That fell flat.
Oh, 2015,
2015,
yeah.
The height
I
of the
see, yes.
century, yes.
And he loved 11 as well. Just loved it. Because it was 95. I don't know.
The famous LT HBK
Yeah.
match, of course.
Everyone's favourite.
But yeah, it was a hell of a swerve at the end. It had me going every beat of the way because first and foremost, it makes sense that Heyman would choose Punk because Roman's made that decision for Heyman. Roman's made that decision for Heyman in the previous few weeks, like burning that bridge. Then the turn on Roman, really, oh my God. Or the turn on Punk, sorry, really set me aback. Jesus Christ. I don't know what to say. It is a massive swerve. It's one of those ones where you have to go, like, let's see how it plays out, though, because it could be very good or could be very
Yeah.
not as good.
I
It's the
agree.
start of something new.
I thought that this was very, very. Well, I think Alvarez. Someone described it as a total Paul Heyman main event. Finishes, kick out, swerves, dramatic pauses, staring. It's a Triple H era WWE main event. I think when he says it's a Paul Heyman main event, he means like when Heyman was with Roman and they were having all these title defenses, and it felt like that. but with there was some really, really convincing false finishes. You could argue maybe certain people kicked out of too many things, but it's the main event of WrestleMania, so I suppose that's
I'm
fine.
alright with it.
And yeah, it was all about the moment at the end. It was very Triple H, but I thought I enjoyed it for what it was. Like Ross, I'm waiting to see what the reason is. We know why Seth's doing it. He thinks he's protecting wrestling. He's like this twisted, almost like a Drew McIntyre. Like he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Drew McIntyre's a perfect comparison there. 'Cause it's like, well, that guy's a bad guy, and that guy's an even worse guy. I'm the good guy here.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
When he came out with that flamethrower at the start, I thought I
did.
played a blinder on the pitches because I pitched that The Rock would come out and Rollins would align with The Rock because The Rock had the flamethrower at WrestleMania 32.
Yes, of course.
That's right,
Rollins
the famous flamethrower.
What's The Rock's flamethrower?
He set his name on fire.
Rollins set the building
Rollins
on fire.
set an
Come on,
imaginary,
baby, light my fire.
imaginary
Fell down.
screen on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pinned Eric Rowan in 6 seconds.
But you're forgetting, Ross, that Seth is the original fire starter, not the
Twisted
prodigy.
fire starter.
He's always burned it down.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Yes.
Then he had a costume change. Good entrance. Yeah.
That's good. All right.
But I did like the other main part of the match was the story between Roman and Seth. I liked Rollins trying to goad Reigns into working with him just because Punk doesn't belong here.
Moxley got a mention.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
God,
it was me,
Mox.
you, and Mox.
Yeah. So he slugs off Roman and says, "You would have been nothing without me and Mox."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, can you help me put this lad through a table?"
yeah,
And obviously Roman's like,
That moment was,
That was
brilliant.
cool.
I
Roman.
like that going, okay, yeah, you're right. Shut up.
You know when they go like, oh, you have to slow it down in the wrestling. And if you think you're going too slow, then slow it down even more. What Reigns did there was set up that like just little subtle tip. Well, not even subtle, just that turn on Seth. Just how slow he did it. I was like, that's what they mean.
Yes.
So he went backwards and forwards. He was doing the pose and then he'd hoo-ha.
I know, and he was gritting his teeth and everything. You can see his giant
They're
teeth.
lovely, aren't they?
"Yes."
They're like
so
the,
white.
They're like the gravestones that Del Boy accidentally painted with glow-in-the-dark paint. Anyway.
I like that because I was expecting then for him to just put Punk through himself, but then he also put Rollins through the other one. I was like, oh yes,
And those tables look beautiful. The
They were like-
WrestleMania Special Edition. Ooh, these look
Not the
expensive.
Unbreakable Raw one, though. Big difference.
No. That's a tank.
I think they were meant to look like poker tables or something, like casino tables.
Oh, because of the shape. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
probably
commentators
right.
looked a bit like the dealer. Not that. Right. Anyway.
That's handy for Pat, saves the trip. By the way, speaking of things, it took 40 minutes between the end of the last match and the start of this one to get going.
40.
So thank God for watching this the day after.
Yeah.
My God.
Machine Head's Sea Shanty song being the big song to promote this is funny to me.
The sport is back. Heavier music's coming back in instead of this subtle meh music.
It's just Sea Shanty Machine Head. Let's sail into the dark or whatever. It's like, oh, Machine Head is still going? Oh, that's nice.
I don't know much about Machine Head at all, but I thought the song was really fitting. It was
Yeah.
foreboding. Something bad is going to happen.
Right. It was
Yeah.
just, of all the bands and all the types of songs to have, I'm like, yeah, it's back.
And I
We're
thought
back, baby.
Punk's entrance was an all-timer. The promo package at the start of it, going through his career.
The piano ballad of this fire.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That song appeared. You
Here's
see all
me
the
in
fans
OVW.
in the arena singing along with it as it's playing.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't come out to that, but it's always
Yeah.
good to see
Oh, I
Living
would have
Colour.
loved for him to come out of that, but
How old are they now? But that lead singer's not lost a step.
his pipes.
He's barely Living Colour.
But his pipes are there.
Yeah.
And it is good that they're like, wow, here we see CM Punk. Cult of personality. Yep. I'll just wait then. The commentators having to fight over the song. It's like,
Maybe they should have been quiet. I do.
how dare they sing their song live?
No, maybe the commentator should have been quiet.
Oh, I see, yes.
I do think that OSW Review have a good point, though. But it was different because he was a heel then. But they really like how Punk ignores the band at WrestleMania 29. He just walks out. But here...
Just focused.
But here it's his moment. He's the main event of WrestleMania. And all
Yeah,
that.
he finally got
but
it.
he was too pally with the band for me. You're the star. Ignore the band. He was too
He cannot win.
I don't like CM Punk being a fanboy for anyone.
He was too pally with Heyman before they went out there because you know
I was gonna say,
Paul's face melted on his
he had like makeup on his hoodie.
Oh, but I was going to say, isn't that part of the... wow, I sound like a Triple H defender here, but isn't that part of the storyline? Now, Punk is, well, I'm relaxed.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
my friend in my corner.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And if Heyman fails, this band are going to help. They're going to jump Roman Reigns.
It was unbelievable
A
performance.
class 2
like.
It
felony.
was great. Yeah, it was great.
Seth has a flamethrower while wearing a big bin bag, which is 100% against the instructions on the gun. But who cares about that? I honestly, 10 minutes into this, was like, this looks like a whatever looking match like SummerSlam 2024 between Drew and Punk. I was like, oh no, I'm not liking this match. This
Lot of
feels like
staring,
all filler.
lot of moments.
It feels like 3 big stars having an incredibly mediocre match. Thank God for the last 10 minutes. It got a hell of a lot more interesting. Like the finishes, like the turns, because I was like, oh, okay, Heyman's with Reigns again. That's funny. That they're like, haha, like, of course I gave you what you want, Punk, just so I could take it from you. Oh no, he's with Rollins now. That's even more interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going to get the tribal punks aligning to take down Seth?
The tribal punks.
Yeah, Punk and Roman together. They're so different. How are they going to get along?
Ooh.
No, I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
He's a liberal, he's a Republican. They're the tribal punks.
But they both have tattoos. Isn't the world crazy? Yeah.
I thought this match propped up the rest of the card and making it feel like a WrestleMania, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was the inverse for night 2. I thought the first half of the card
seen
propped
many
up the
people
second
say
half of the
it,
card, yeah. So it was a nice yin and yang of 2 nights of wrestling. But it's also maybe an advert that maybe one night is more than enough, which is obviously not from a businessman's perspective, because I imagine they make obviously twice as much money, if not more. But from a fan's perspective, which is what they should have at heart, really.
Yeah.
I feel like more like that was, by the way, this was a Yes Mania match, so that's
Yes.
5-3.
Of course.
I think,
Think so,
4-3.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm a huge fan of WrestleMania Night 2, I've learned over the years. Night 2 is where it's at.
Yeah.
Night 2's for the boys.
But I'm much more of a fan of watching these shows 2 in 2 days rather than
It was still 4 hours.
giant, ungodly things that we used to have.
Yeah, but
So
there was a
much more.
time before those giant ungodly things where it was like 1 3-hour show.
We're not going to do that again.
was nice.
Not with a 3-hour Raw, a 2, maybe 3-hour SmackDown, a bit of NXT here and there. AAA presents WWE Mexican Wrestling every Thursdays.
Bloodsport was full of WWE wrestlers. Now they're trying to take over the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
They're
the lies and all
trying
of it.
to. Well, they bought TNA without spending any money on it, so that's
We
well
don't
done.
know that. We don't
They
know
don't
that.
need to.
Definitely
They need to. If they're giving it for free, they don't need to, need to buy it.
I think a one night 4 to 4.5 hour pay per view for WrestleMania would be delightful. It'd be all banger, nay filler.
And if they put all the stuff that should be, but like tag title matches or whatever on the Raw and SmackDown around it, as not bookmarks.
Bookends.
Bookends. That's it.
They can't
these finishes.
have that now though, because the gaps between the matches are too big. It would take forever to get through that enough matches, which is a shame.
Which is why we have 2 nights. Stephanie McMahon opens the show ahead of their first match.
A double whammy for Steph, the Jobber entrance, and also the Def Rebel remix of her theme.
Yeah, right. With it. It's like, when did this song have a guitar?
It has for a little while.
It's at least, I think probably, it might have been last year's WrestleMania where she appeared with.
Kerry King should have played it. This should have been it.
No, he shouldn't, because they hadn't plugged his guitar in properly.
Steph starts the show because presumably her and Triple H both got nights in the divorce.
They are not divorced, they're forever, Maffew.
That's
Triple
a
H
rumour.
said this.
It's a vicious rumor.
Don't you like believing that even if they had separated at one point, that love is real and they've come back together? I like to believe so.
Lana and Rusev are back
you're so
together,
happy.
apparently.
Lana and Rusev are back together.
You're so positive, Jack.
Yeah.
I wish I was.
I watched them at the Hall of Fame. Their daughters were there. Oh.
And they look like a mixture of the two of them, as biological children often do.
That's how science works.
Genetics
Yes.
are, it's like Steph was there by herself for the first child, and then Triple H was there by himself for the next 2. That's how the genetics have been split up in a weird way.
Right.
They were
Great
spread.
stuff.
They're spread over 2 nights. Io Sky defends the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
Yes.
Everybody comes close to winning the match several times. Belair looks to have it in the bag after a KOD on Ripley, but Io breaks up the pinfall with a moonsault and covers Belair to retain the title.
What a match, lads.
And Minute Maid is the official juice of WrestleMania.
No, don't care about that. Was when you said the other match was your second favourite match of the weekend, was this your favourite one?
I think so.
It was brilliant.
I think it is.
It was great.
That would make.
Oh, a better one than this. Damn it. No, you've got me.
was-
In terms of just purely from bell to bell, because
Yeah.
obviously the moment at the end of the main event of night 1, that's the biggest moment. But in terms of like a bell to bell spectacle, this had everything, and it didn't stop the entire way through. It's like Triple H was like, "Oh God, the reviews are in and not quite very good." I know he says he doesn't pay attention to the internet. whatever, but
the reviews are in.
the reviews are in.
Go
The
out
paper.
there and-
He's got the
Hot off
Sunday
the
paper.
press.
Go out there and have a more explosive, go and do all the stuff.
He's lit a fire under these ladies' bottoms, and they've just flown around the ring without stopping for 20 minutes. It was incredible. Lots of moves involving all 3 women, like the Razor's Edge from Rhea, using Io to wipe out Bianca. Bianca getting booed again, which was surprising for me.
Oh,
Yeah, what did
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Was that her sister with her on the ramp?
It was
Sister-in-law.
Stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
right.
It was something in law.
Montez's daughter from
Okay.
another lady.
That was cool.
That's how that works.
It was a nice moment. There was the skipping ropes and that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I thought she was going to get in one and do a bit. She didn't.
She didn't.
Never
No.
mind.
Well, counters. Io counters a super riptide. Rhea counters the over the moonsault, rolls right into a KOD, but Rhea breaks it up.
That was beautiful.
And a lot of good stuff happened before the finish, but the best part of the match was the finish. The hair whip into the KOD, into the over the moonsault, and Io gets the unexpected win. But it works because the entire story has been the afterthought of every segment, because it's all been about Bianca and Rhea being at loggerheads. But then these two were, and then Io's just swept in there and won it in the best way possible. I thought it was it could not have been better.
It was, dare I say, the most important triple threat in WWE. But it was probably my favorite match of the 2 nights as well.
Yeah.
Really good. And maybe of the, including NXT as well.
Gold
really
medal
good.
to these ladies.
Yeah, very good.
Bronze to the triple threat of NXT. And a silver to the main event night one.
I'd have to think
Well
about
done
it.
for committing to that. I appreciate it.
I don't want to be guilty of forgetting about Hank and Tank, though, those belly boys.
There's only 3 medals.
Yeah.
My highlight was Io trying for a poison rana on Rhea, but gets her head clunked into the post, and it went dunk.
Oh.
And I loudly yelled at that because of the noise it made.
It was
My
great.
God. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
This felt like a Mania, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
yes.
Oh, yes.
Drew McIntyre takes on Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. After tweeting a mid-beatdown selfie with his brother, Drew...
We got the phone off his brother.
Yeah, there we go, yes. Drew wins the match, shoving Priest off the top rope through 2 tables and pinning him after a claymore into a steel chair. After the bell, Priest can be seen telling the ref that he can't breathe. That's just Ospreay. Sorry.
I enjoyed this more than I thought I would.
Oh, this is another one. All action, no bollocks affair that followed on from the opening match. Triple H has told these people to work hard, and so they bloody well did.
Yeah, humpy
They
wumpy.
certainly did, and just to completely piss all over the poor Viking Raiders who look like a bunch of wet bandits. Drew dressed as Doomslayer from Doom. Or is it more order? With the Doom guy tying little statue
He had to
thing.
pretend that was his pal, did he? I'm friends with this statue.
Again, for people who like games, you're like, what the hell? Where did this come from? And then, yes, here's bloody what's-his name playing a guitar and sounding terrible.
Before that, when Drew's taken off the gauntlets and that he had to wear, he did not look
Drew was not a
happy.
fan of the Doom series.
Get this off me.
Look, they're
now.
very, very good games. This one is... apparently, this was the
They're not
the
good games.
gameplay,
I've seen the original. The graphics are crap.
from Righty 3.
Pew, pew, pew.
But it's ageless. It's still good.
Oh,
but
right.
they said, I forget what they said.
I
But
prefer
they said
Red
that
Faction.
Oh, good. Well, that was 15 years later.
All right.
This was the preview of the gameplay that was showing was at WrestleMania. So they are going all out with these adverts, and other companies are going, wow, the valuableness of WWE. Because they love adverts, and their fans love the adverts.
Yeah, there are
And
lots of adverts.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch Man is on hand to... If Fenix wasn't there, he was going to wrestle El Grande Americano. But yeah, so that was very weird to see as a video game fan. And also Slayer are playing live again, even though they retired a few years
He's
ago.
on his own now, Kerry King. That's what they're saying.
Exactly where he belongs.
Oh, why?
Oh, Slayer are pretty... Ugh. They
Where
have
would you-
one and a
how would
half albums that are like, oh, amazing.
How
and
would
then
you
just,
rank the big four?
Oh, I mean, Metallica, number 1, easy. After
Even
that,
though they can't drum? Okay.
that was,
Interesting.
Yeah,
They can't drum
that's how
live.
good they are. Yes, yeah, that's true. Ooh, Slayer, Megadeth. Oh,
I don't even know if
that's
I know.
one after you think of, because they both had like a good 2 or 3 year period where they became a lot of great music, and then they got crap afterwards.
So is Anthrax
Megadeth,
bottom?
then Slayer, then Anthrax.
Anthrax the worst one out of the four. I don't know
At
any
least-
Anthrax.
We've had to pick those ones. That's the one.
I don't know much Anthrax. I don't like Megadeth, though. My only 2 songs of Megadeth, I crush them.
Oh no.
The one that's like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun. That's
Yeah.
Just sounds like any metal to me.
Yeah.
I'm not a metal boy, unfortunately.
Megadeth have been playing for decades and have lots of good songs, and it's just a testament to how good their guitaring is when the lead singer can't sing or write a lyric.
So Kerry King, this man, is the guitarist I understand from Slayer.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And I didn't realise that anything went wrong, but you lads there implied there was technical
sounded
issues.
horrible.
You didn't think it's... Oh, what a damning review.
No, he was doing like...
But the guitars don't sound like that.
Oh, he was
sound
doing
like he's
sludgy,
strangling a
doing
cat.
sludgy stuff.
Take it away, Kerry.
Have I done that joke about the joke that Radiohead fans listened to them tuning up and thought it was a new song and it was the best thing ever. Have I done that?
Yeah.
All right.
So something wasn't plugged in right.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, your ears, because this banging.
But apart from that, everything looked like it was hurting everybody. The steps being thrown, the suplex on the ramp from Drew, the chair shots, Priest's massive table bump, the future shock on the stairs in the ring, which Drew loves to do for some reason. That sicko.
He's been doing that for a while now, hasn't
he loves a stair bump. Drew got his yelly picture in, which I think it's got over 300,000 likes on Twitter at the moment.
That's because Tom retweeted it. Good job there. I went on Twitter.
Tom bump.
I went instantly
Not that one.
on Twitter to retweet it. I was like, I'll retweet Drew's picture. And I must have done it instantly. Scrolling up, just top of the timeline, Tom retweeted it. I was like, how is he so fast? How has he done that?
Drugs.
Cocaine.
No.
Lovely finish after the tailbump with the Claymore in the chair in the corner. It over-delivered. It felt like a WrestleMania match, even though the build didn't. There was no callback to the chain being stolen, as far as I could see, but I don't care about that.
He stole it on SmackDown.
It was like Hogan and Andre, Matthew. You should have seen it. Priest gets
Hogan and Andre now.
Priest gets a future shock on the stairs on the floor from Drew, and as he's selling it, he's like knocked out on the floor.
Oh, I saw that.
Drew steals the necklace, but there was no mention.
Yeah, but I didn't want them doing bloody, the bracelet storyline with CM Punk again. So
I really like.
Oh no, he took his copy of Doom, The Dark Ages, from him.
I really liked it as well. I'm surprised. I understand why Drew was the favorite going in for many people because Priest beaten him several times.
Yep.
But I'm still shocked because Priest is quite a WWE guy. Like, they're behind him. I'm surprised it was that comprehensive a win. Like, he battered him. Fair play. Really fun match. They've got good chemistry. It was better than their one in Scotland. But Priest hurt his leg in that one, so...
He did.
And it had the dodgy Punk finish. But
That dodgy Punk.
Drew should shift brands now. BJ's first challenger.
You should go to AAA.
The Claymore on the chair was class as well, not just the table.
Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, especially the bit where Priest threw the chair. And they're like, oh, it glanced off Drew. You're like, glunk. It didn't.
No, it didn't. It smacked him, but I like that he powered through it because
Yeah.
he hates him so much. And good.
Yeah.
Yes.
It made it look very impressive. Bron Breakker defends the IC title against Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Dom and Finn work together the first half of the match, but Dom eventually drop kicks him in the back and tries to hit a 619, which Finn avoids. Finn almost wins the match after hitting Bron with a coup de grace, or coup de grace if you're American, with Dominic breaking up with a frog splash and pinning his stablemate to win the title as the crowd chant for Dirty Dom.
Well, he's a cute little man with a lovely smile.
Hell aye.
Kayla was telling me on TikTok he's a bit of a sex symbol.
Oh, really?
It's Dom, yeah. Apparently she's flicking, and her algorithm is now just like mainly wrestling, but it's lots of people just saying Dom is a sexy boy.
Sexy boy.
He will be a boy toy.
Boy.
I reckon he will.
Toy.
If you really want him to, he will.
Ah.
Yeah, if the booking's good and you bring the chicken nuggies, absolutely. And it was funny because there were people I was talking with who seemed to be like, I can't believe he turned face here. I'm like, have you not been watching Raw?
We've been doing it for weeks, haven't they?
Yes, this has been the storyline. But if it wasn't for the women's match to start off WrestleMania, this would have been my highlight of the weekend, I think, in terms of in-ring, just because of all the talent involved in this, working their bollocks off. But don't take my word for it. Take Ross's word for it. What were your highlights?
Oh, cool.
I agree with what Jack was saying
that's
there.
all right, yeah.
I was committed to saying that.
No, you're the host. That's all right.
Bron Breakker was incredible. The massive flying thing into Penta over the top of the other lads on the floor. The double German onto Penta with Finn locked in the first half of the Penta driver. The throws, the delayed Frankensteiner, the spear on Carlito on the announce table. Even though he lost, it's clear that this doggy dog man is the one you should be keeping your eye on.
The
Doggy dog man.
I
apologize, Jack. I'll start with
Oh
you
no,
next.
no, sorry. I think you mentioned it already. The bit where Penta's like grandstanding on the outside, and then he just flies in. And I remember Aiden because he's writing like the live report for the website, and he's like, "What move was that?" And we were like, "It doesn't matter. He just flew into him." Another funny Aiden moment in this match. Oh, he must have missed it. He said that Carlito came across really strong because he kept Penta down with a couple of punches, and that took Penta out of the match. We were like, "No." Aiden got speared as well back in the ring. He was like, oh, Aiden thought Carlito had just taken down Penta.
Bad Carlito.
Spear on the table was cool.
Yeah.
Good on Carlito taking a bump at WrestleMania. Everyone laughs at Carlito saying he doesn't out. No, he Fair play.
Yeah, for WrestleMania, you'll take a bump.
Yeah.
And also, when he was dismantling the poker table, he managed to take off the lid and throw it in the crowd and hit somebody.
So
that was what they call foreshadowing.
Oh no.
But there was great crowd reactions throughout it as well. Like when Dom finally got to Finn, when he starts to do this, going for a 619, but Finn counters a great babyface pop for Dom based off what's been happening because Finn's been taking advantage of this little boy.
Yeah.
Lovely reaction for Finn stopping Dom, hitting the frog splash after getting that 619 in on Bron Breakker. You didn't expect to see a finish so similar to what we saw in the first match, but the fact that it did happen that way worked for me.
And it was part of the storyline.
Yeah.
Which is
he pinned Finn.
Oh, sorry, Finn.
And
A
he
guy
wasn't-
who's trying to usurp me from your own stable. Whoops.
Yeah.
They've kept that on the fallout's gonna be on TV. They didn't have Finn do anything yet, so that's good because Dom gets his moment.
Yeah.
And also, I noticed as well that it was a really similar finish to the first match, but it was really fun anyway, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care this time.
And also, Bron Breakker gets all the cool spots, all the cool moves, all the cool gifs and people reacting moments and stuff like that. Didn't do any of the silly bollocks. It was all Carlito and a bit of Penta, I guess. So well done, Bron. You are definitely getting pushed by losing this title.
Make him a champion, man. I love his. Ross already mentioned the move, but it's Frankenstein is so good. Like the way he falls back, it's so good.
Beautiful. Poetry
He's-
motion.
he is a beautiful man.
Yes.
He's a beautiful dog.
You just ask Izzy Dame. She'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking he's with Cora, but that's his ex, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
And Dom, so overcome with the cheers that he runs back in the ring and celebrates again.
Why the hell not?
I'm so looking forward to seeing the segments on Raw where it's like, isn't it great, Finn? Yeah, it's great. Look, we have more people join the JD. And it opened up the door and there's just a line of people. Oh, can I join? Dom's really cool.
I don't know if it'll last for long because Balor
Yeah.
looked annoyed. He might turn on him tonight.
Maybe.
Is this going out today?
Yes.
Tonight.
So please put out tonight.
Yeah, I think Liv and Dom are on for a hell of a babyface run now because Liv got good reactions as well.
She did.
Yes.
People love her.
Yes.
All the crazy people.
Oh.
So yeah, felt like a mania.
Yes.
Randy Orton arrives to find out the identity of his mystery opponent. It's TNA World Champion Joe Hendry, which I don't think many people expected.
I couldn't believe that we didn't think of it. Like no one even thought. And then Fraser, to give him credit, as Randy's doing his thing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's credit.
And then Fraser.
To give Fraser your card.
We're throwing out names like Aldis, Solo, Rusev, and then Fraser's like, could be Hendry. And we were like, it could be Hendry. It would be nice if it was. That was basically what we were thinking.
Yeah, but he's from the same area as him. He must know him. He knows his mom or something.
But no, what? Oh.
Randy tries a quick RKO, which Henry avoids, and almost pins Orton with a roll-up. The RKO eventually connects, and Randy wins the match. He raises Joe's arm, but hits him with another RKO. He steals Henry's taunt and celebrates.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was a fantastic little bit of business. I saw a lot of people going like, oh, well, Hendry just come out and he's just been hit with the RKO and he's been clowned. I saw the word used. Bollocks to that, man. He's just been on WrestleMania. It's Joe Hendry, who isn't on the main roster of WWE. He's on.
Yeah.
He's in a different. He's in a different promotion.
Yeah, that
And he's
will
on
soon be part
WrestleMania.
of WWE, right?
Yeah.
And he is a literal meme, which people need to realize. The pop from was
Hear
amazing.
the pop? Yeah, exactly.
He
Yeah,
wasn't going to pin Randy Orton with no build-up at
And he got
WrestleMania.
plenty of moves. It was a short match, yes, but he got plenty of moves in for a short match.
Oh my God. When he rolled him up at the start, I was like, oh! It really got me.
That would be nuts.
It would have been so
Like,
silly.
what?
But the good thing as well is because it's so weird when you see someone that you know in that situation. You're like, it's surreal because you're like, they don't belong there. What's going on? But he did look like he belonged there, and he did look like a star, and he had the point. Because imagine how panicked you'd be if you found out you're on WrestleMania at short notice. But he, like Ross said, he did the thing. He slowed it down. He had a big long entrance. He took in the moment. He just looked like he belonged.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I was
After-
shocked how tall he looked next door.
Oh.
Orton's maybe 6'5".
Orton was clearly taller than him, but yeah, it was a shame that it went like how it did. But what was anyone expecting? You know,
I'm all right with the variety. I didn't want a 10-minute version
No,
of this.
right.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Also, I know I don't like speaking about, but the normal people, they blah, 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 normals. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I'm a shareholder. My brother, though, did message me this morning to say, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
And he's not a
And my
wrestler.
brother does not watch wrestling.
Right, exactly.
And I put, yes, I've been a fan for him for ages. It's, it's crazy seeing him spread his oats, so to speak. And he said, oh, yeah, I've been a fan for ages. My brother says, what? My mate kept sending me his theme song. I assumed he was a parody or something. Crying, laughing emoji. So daft.
So daft.
So after Doom, Slayer, Fatal Fury, that DJ, and Zidane Zinedine, and all the other bloody people who showed up, I was happy seeing Henry show up. And people saying, this made TNA look so much further down than WWE.
Well, they are.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
What were you expecting?
But it bodes very well for him. So
Yeah.
I don't think him losing to Randy in a few minutes on WrestleMania when he
He was
wasn't announced.
knocking Orton down. He didn't look like a mugging. Like, I know he got Orton
Yeah,
got the two.
he is freaking nature. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
People
Orton got two RKO's in. One was brilliantly done with the camera work and whatnot. But that's Orton does that to lots of people. That's like when Randy Orton's a babyface. That's the sort of like,
Yeah.
oh, that cheeky chappy Randy Orton going
Right.
for a second RKO.
Right, it's like Austin stunnering someone. He really liked them. Yeah.
It's exactly what it should have been if Hendry was the pick. And I thought it was lovely
Yeah.
from start to finish.
It was just, especially at short notice as well, because Owens only. Well, I don't know how long ago they really would have planned it, but they still had the video package with Owens. And they didn't have any time to prepare anything new.
Right.
So the fact that they've gone right, who do we get? And Henry's the one. He's put himself in a very good position.
I assume all those people going, this made TNA look really bad. They watch Impact every week.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Got a TNA Plus subscription and listen to the best of
Well, this does.
Tessa Blanche. I couldn't think of any
I
of it.
do hope.
So I'm really sorry.
In kayfabe, I do hope this hasn't knocked Henry because his next defense is against the elite hunter, Frankie.
That's
thought you were
Frankie
gonna say
Kazarian.
Damien
That's what I. That's what I
Barnes.
do. No, that's what I do when the elite hunter.
Disney's Robin Hood. He's been up a fox with a hat.
No, Frankie's gonna beat him.
I bet he probably does because Triple H. I saw the post-match clip, the press conference.
Oh,
where he
I
said-
watched some of that. God, some
Hendry's
of that.
got-
It's more fantastic ASMR.
Well,
What did-
I
what
watched it.
happened?
He said Henry's got a big future and he loves them. I think he said.
Yes.
So I reckon he'll be at least NXT, surely.
Yes.
Come on now. Come on. He should be on the main roster. Really, he looked like he
The
belonged.
pop was huge.
Don't get pops like that very often.
No, snap, crackle, and pop. I don't want to see.
Imagine the braggability.
Just saying
And this is the thing. People will watch that and go, well, what happens after the music stops? Everything happens. Babyface, heel, serious, stupid. He does it all. The guy's got range.
Yeah, I don't
Range.
like. That was good. That I don't like people who haven't seen Joe Henry wrestle or do his thing properly. Just say like, "Oh, there's nothing after the bell." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't do moonsaults, you gimp."
Yeah, he's good enough for his
Right.
charisma. Like, obviously, he is the selling point, but his
Yeah.
wrestling's easily good enough. So yeah.
absolutely.
And he does different styles of wrestling.
Yeah,
And he can sing, as he's told us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, you leave our boyfriend alone.
He's ours. We'll defend him. He's our OJ. All right.
What?
Hang on. Hang on now. Who
next-
I remembered recently features in the song Green Light. Like OJ the Juice in this thing. Pitbull just shouting out OJ.
It's with Joe Hendry.
No.
Really?
In Green Light, yeah. It's in Pitbull's verse. He
That
goes
song
like,
came out in like
or
2017,
is it
16?
Flowrider?
Didn't know he was innocent then.
in one of the verses, it's like, I feel like Luke in this thing or something. I feel like OJ
Yeah.
the Juice in this thing. Yeah. Yep. The
Oh,
Juice.
Guilty.
I'm ready to go to prison.
Yeah. For an unrelated crime.
That's
No.
right. That's actually yes.
Yeah.
The next match is Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. At one stage, Logan's entourage member, Jeff,
It's that idiot, Jeff.
Cole
hates Jeff.
tries to give him a pair of brass knucks, but he's stopped by Karrion Kross. Kross tries to convince AJ to use the brass knucks, but Styles throws them away and lays Karrion out. He tries to hit the phenomenal forearm on Logan, who avoids it and pins AJ after a right hand and the pulverizer. The pulverizer.
Yeah. I learned last week it's a Teddy Hart move, Matthew. I didn't know this.
Excuse me?
I didn't know this.
What's a Teddy Hart move?
The
To
pulverizer.
still get booked despite your crimes. Oh, is it? Yeah, you're right. Well, good analysis.
I don't know if it was just because it was Logan
You've seen
Paul.
the match of Teddy Hart? It's on Twitter. I think it's Trips Wrestling. He takes a bump. Not that one. The Tom Campbell bump on his way to the ring.
I did see that when he's talking to the lady
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the hall, yeah.
I've seen the one where someone someone in Ring of Honor or somewhere shoots on him because he starts doing moonsaults from the cage and landing on his feet.
Arzo 3, yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was the one where CM Punk got in a fight with him.
Oh, it was Punk.
Punk wouldn't do that.
No, because then Punk, this is true.
Oh, yeah,
Punk then complained about it on his live journal.
Oh.
blog. It was such a sign of the times.
CM Punk's live journal, man. It's like,
I hate Teddy Hart.
It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls for wrestling fans nowadays.
It's the most CM Punk thing to do, though.
Yeah, it's crap on Chikara, Teddy Hart.
Imagine when he found out what podcast was. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is more interesting than this match, which did not really hit my expectations. Jack, what are your thoughts?
Thank you. Yeah, same maybe. I thought it was fine, and I thought that, we now forget that Logan's a celebrity wrestler because he can't just have a match which is quite long and complex and has all these moments. He had the high spot thing with when he sent his drone off to get a unique angle of the frog splash, cool. But the storyline wasn't there for me. So the action was pretty good, but I struggled to get invested because it feels like quite a thrown together match just to get Logan a match on WrestleMania.
Right.
I don't know if it was just because it was Logan Paul or if it was just after we saw Joe Hendry and everyone spaffed their metaphorical loads everywhere, but it was really subdued all the way throughout. I don't know if it was the story lacking, maybe also feeding into that, because it is an AJ Styles match. The action was all right, but it did feel like a bit of a Raw match. The dueling Styles clashes was a good spot, I thought. I thought Logan was going to drop Allen on that stack of dimes he calls, and next he's done haven't quite high enough, but he did get it round. I like the bit with carrying Cross. Cross continues to win me round these past couple of weeks, saving us from Jeff, because if Styles loses, Maffew, we all lose as wrestlers, because that's a celebrity. Cross has missed funerals and stuff like this to get into wrestling, and Logan can go and have a YouTube channel and take his spot at WrestleMania.
That sounds really cool. As Cross should put that in the promo.
He should, yeah. He did on
SmackDown, Raw,
he did
Mania.
in a shoot fashion on the Sam Roberts and Megan Morant podcast.
Sam Roberts podcast.
Which obviously is not scripted and he's speaking from the heart. It was a hell of a
swear
promo.
word.
He said the S word, he said the F word. It was a good promo.
That's not very nice to call Sam Roberts those things.
But that sort of bit, it could have been maybe hammed up a bit more before WrestleMania, but him going like, do the bad thing for the greater good.
The greater good.
The greater good.
Thank you, Joe.
And then obviously Allen doesn't choose to do that and loses the match. That could have been made a bit more of a thing before the match, so when it did happen, it felt a bit
similar
higher.
to the main event angle as well.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. I don't know why this is this high up on the card. I think they should have switched this and Priest matches
Well, I
around.
don't think the card works like that at WrestleMania. It's more of a bell. It's more of a U. You know? Like the good match. There's a big match.
Oh, you're being serious? Sorry, I thought this was letting up something.
There's a
Go
big
on.
match at the start sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not like Wrestle Kingdom where it just goes up and up and up like that. WrestleMania opens with the title matches. Don't act like that's not a thing for like 10, 15 years.
I'm just saying in terms of the importance on the card and my desire to watch it,
Okay,
this should have been in place just purely for my ego and my enjoyment, not because of any common sense things like that. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
No, it's all right.
I should have thought about the chief operating officer of the WWE.
Did this feel like a WrestleMania match?
Lord, no.
no.
This felt more like AJ Styles does his best to make Logan Paul look good, which I am completely and utterly over at this point. Way too long a damn match. AJ Styles, God love him, Father Time's getting to him. And I don't mean that as a negative. It's just the fact that the match was way too long.
I
It would have been
know.
a fine, really tight 10, 12 minutes.
I think that we
17, nearly 18 minutes.
We
this
now
went.
know that Logan can do these, so I don't
Yeah.
like, and I didn't really hear much commentary during this one, but apparently there was some people were tweeting like it's like we're being told off for not liking Logan. Is he heel? Why
Yeah,
are
they have to
doing
keep
that?
on going, well, he's a once in a lifetime, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We know.
But, like-
We've had them for like 5 years now.
But he's a heel, so I don't want to do that.
Oh, York, I don't like you, but I have to appreciate you. Shut up.
We know now that Logan can do these long matches and that he is a good wrestler and everything, despite his lack of experience. But how long are we meant to care about that? Now he can do different
Right.
things. Now he can have a shorter match. Now he can do a different angle. Now he can do. But this seems to be the Logan thing: is have a long, impressive match where people go, "Oh, he can do all the cool things." Well, we know that by now. It's been years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was all for Logan and not for AJ. And it is apparently building to Cross versus Styles.
Yeah.
Oh, goody.
Logan.
Hey, if Cross gets more TV time to cut promos, I'm on board with it. He's won me over the past few weeks. The more he's been allowed to do stuff.
He did get a nice pop for appearing, but I don't know if it's just because he stopped the mighty Jeff.
Yeah. Because he has been booked. That go back, that gimmick where no one mentions him, but he rocks up and then nothing happens. And he goes, haha, I got them. That does nothing for me. But when he talks, I like what I see. I do. I like what I see.
I think that Logan will get a title shot now, probably against Jay.
Logan Paul will be world champion within 2 years. This is. He's beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon couldn't even beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Logan's going to end up beating Obafemi in the main event of wrestling.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. This match did not have Shane McMahon, so it could have been worse, yes.
That's still AJ's best WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Is Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that statement, but it's true.
Yeah, I can't argue that. I'd like to, but... then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend the tag titles against Lyra Valkyria and her replacement partner for Bayley,
Hulk Hogan!
don't be daft. It was, of course, Joe Hendry. They're returning Becky Lynch. Becky pins Liv with a manhandle slam, and we have new champions, Begora.
Hey.
The disrespect to Pam does not sit well with me.
No.
That's why I use the Hulk Hogan term.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, I thought something.
Do you think this was
Again,
Becky's
you say
idea?
Hogan now, I just think racism, but no.
No, this feels like Becky was like, pal, I'll come back at WrestleMania for you.
Speaking of race,
That's not race.
She said, there, we'll come back.
there you go. That's okay. That what you were doing was offensive. That is absolutely perfectly acceptable.
No, this could lead to Pam versus Becky.
I think that's where it will go.
Who beat you down, Bailey? Don't know.
Yeah.
The footage has shown. It's a bit Naomi Jade. It's a bit similar.
It is a
does
bit
go that
similar.
way,
And it wouldn't fit for Becky to come back and then be a heel, would it?
No, but she loves
No.
doing that. She did that time when she beat Bianca in like 2 seconds. It was weird. No one wanted her to be a heel.
Oh yeah, that awful. But yeah.
But to take Pam's match against Roxanne away, we said this earlier just in case you skipped it, and then take this away as well, just doesn't sit right with me. The match was Ron Seal, the new lass takes the beating, that's Lyra Valkyria, and the man saves the day. I felt a little bit like, ugh, when Becky won and held the titles aloft.
Did you?
I don't know what it is. Just the way it's been done. It's a bit underhanded for me. Obviously, I'm criticising things before they've played out, and as we all know, you got to let things play out as wrestling fans. But it just feels a bit. Just feel sorry for Pam. Pam would have been a good person that match as well. Is she that? Oh, she probably is that far below Becky in terms of star power.
I know, which is
The
sad
last few
because
months, yeah, sure.
Bailey's like over with the smarkier fans. Like whenever they tour Europe and whatever, everyone's cheering for Bailey and everything. But in terms of wide appeal, it's Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is great news for you, Matthew, because they started trying to get over during the celebration Lyra 2 belts. So we can just call her that until she loses one of them. That's good.
How dare
Sorry,
you with your
sorry.
outdated jokes? I've said her name perfectly these
Sorry.
past few months. You know that.
You got it right. earlier
Lyra
on.
2 belts, yeah.
Yeah, I'll start messing that up now.
No, I thought it was. I'm undecided yet on how I feel about Becky replacing. Well, it's sad that she replaced Pam and everything, but we'll see how it plays out. I thought the match was fine for what it was.
It might be nice to see, like, yeah, Bailey come back and Larry be like, yeah, but she's Irish. Yeah, I
She's
know.
my pal.
Racism against America.
She hugged me in my lovely wing costume that I came out in.
She's a bird.
After they tried to,
She had a look at her face
after
like,
they tried to-
yeah, I know.
after they tried to tell her she's not a bird, she comes out. Someone in the office compared it to the birds of war.
I saw that. That's all I saw
That's what
online
it
was the birds of war.
But
When
then,
have you ever seen a golden winged bird with
then-
white on the outside?
but then it was actually good in the ring because when Liv hit Oblivion, they landed in like a little pile of feathers and it was atmospheric. It went like boom. Yeah, it was great. It was actually good.
Aye.
Like, this felt like a Raw one to me, though.
Okay.
Not a WrestleMania one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we really did peak with Joe Hendry getting squished. Don't worry though, I'm sure there's a little bit between this main event. Steve Austin comes out to announce the attendance and just fully crashes his quad bike into the side.
Have you seen this, Richard Tubman? This is worth watching WrestleMania for.
As he announces the numbers and says, I don't think these are right. Let me start counting the numbers. 1, 2, 3. Almost like a sobriety test. Like a
What?
policeman stopped him on the side of the road, which is well needed.
Why
Then
would you
Nick
suggest
Khan
that?
himself is later seen talking to a woman who fell backwards where it happened. In fairness, though, it took like 6 seconds for her to fall afterwards.
She was looking
No.
for a claim. She knew
No.
what she was doing.
Oh, bless her, right? Imagine the fright you would have got. I would have been in shock. Not only because it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, but because he's nearly ran me over. I would have burst into tears as well, probably.
I'm sure the
Just-
barricade people can use that in their promo videos. Look how strong these
Yeah.
barricades
I
are.
would have been very.
They stopped a
over-
drunk Texan.
I think I'd have been very. He wasn't. We don't know. I would have been.
Yeah, we don't know if he was
We don't know
drunk.
if he's drunk.
I don't know if we can say that.
I would.
Yeah, he just...
He definitely had to be after the crash, after in the ring. Yeah, a little Steve-ski.
I would have been very overwhelmed, and I felt bad for her because I saw one guy in the comments of my What Happened That video saying like that guy needs to break up with her. I was like, what's going on?
What on earth?
Yeah.
What, Steve Austin?
No, saying that
Well, it's not often he hits women.
The man who was stood next to the woman who fell, He was like, yeah, she's clearly, he needs to break up with her. That's a red flag. I was like, what are people?
YouTube
I was like,
commenters, man.
People on the internet.
And they'll tweet their entire
People on
arse.
the internet are mad. But
Where there's a blame, there's a claim, and I can't.
Oh.
She must have been in heaven when Nick Khan walked over.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Did you hear the announce team? There was a bit that came through that I don't think we were meant to hear on the broadcast. I think they thought they were muted. I don't know if you'll be able to find it because they'll have got rid of this straight away.
I'll
but you
find it.
hear like Austin's music hits, he gets out the ring, it's all like, and I think they think they've gone to break or something or like you just hear them go.
I hear that,
And then
yeah.
I think one of them goes like, "This whole thing's about to blow up right now," or something. He says like, "This whole thing's about to explode," and I was like, "Oh, that shouldn't have been on air." Very
Hey,
excited.
if I was her, I'd be looking for free WrestleMania tickets.
Have you been injured?
A Raw
No fault of
season
your own.
ticket.
Yeah, boyfriend doesn't want to break up with her. He should have been like, stay down, like Mickey. And
He's calling spots to his wife.
Sell the leg. Sell the leg.
Free WrestleMania tickets forever.
Here's a razor.
Hang on, why's your head cut open? You hit the knee. The pain travels.
Ric Flair. Getting kicked out for playing. I hope she's all right. In all seriousness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
We were saying...
She laughed all the way to the hospital.
I've not seen him miss the ramp at the start, but when he does his
So funny.
when he does his first lap of the ring, we were like, oh, he's going a bit fast.
That was a really overpowered quad bike compared to the one he saw at, I don't know, WrestleMania 20.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Try and find it. I'll try and find the background.
Well, this will be a lot more interesting than the following match, which is the main event.
The main event of WrestleMania 42.
I wasn't ready for the dirt bikes then. I was like, careful, lads.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, so yeah, during Cody's entrance, they had some dirt bikers just going
Yeah.
over the ramp, and I'm like, even if they hadn't seen that,
Here he comes.
if
Big
seen that
Steve.
previously, so we're showing the footage.
Well, that one's
Missed
more
it by that much.
that one's more understandable, maybe.
I'll send you the link, Richard, if you want to put it on top.
Also, there was footage of Dom on a
Oh my God, that's even better.
on a golf cart. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, this is
Out
why
back-
it took so long for him to appear when his music was playing.
We're just watching several men try and lift the quad bike back.
Oh, this footage is still going on, yeah. People had to like help Austin with his overpowered quad bike. Like, no, the giant
Whoa,
ramp.
it's got some acceleration on it, though.
Brum, brum, brum.
He was always like that. He was always getting two
Yeah,
wheels
yeah.
going. I remember when Lesnar commandeered Steve.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Brock was going.
Yeah. So yeah, the one with Dom. So they're outside because after the post show, he goes and talks to his people, and he's like, "Hi guys!" Everyone's just cheering his ass off
All right.
for him, and they're leaving, and they're going beep 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 on the horn so people can get the f out the way. And some woman just gets hit.
Someone gets hit by Dom's car.
Yeah, she gets
Yeah,
knocked
well, I mean,
over.
and the camera cuts in the exact
my
moment
God.
she gets hit. Yeah, but not very fast, and and they're like, "Get out the way, move." So.
Again, assuming that the woman's all right, the memes have been. I saw like 1999, who ran over Stone Cold? 2015, 2025, who did Stone Cold?
Would be in my Hall of Fame this week, honest.
Oh,
Maybe if nothing else happens the next few days, which In the main event, Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against John Cena. Cody survives several AAs. He kicks Cena into the referee, who goes down before hitting the crossroads and getting a visual pin. Cena sends Cody into exposed turnbuckle twice and hits the AA again, but Cody kicks out. The man, the myth, the legend, Travis Scott arrives and makes his way down to the ring. Cena holds Cody in place for Travis to hit him, but Cody gets out of it and hits the crossroads. He makes the cover, but the ref is pulled out of the ring by Trav. Cody tells Trav to get in the ring and blocks a right hand before hitting him with the crossroads. Cena tries to hit Cody with a title belt, but Cody grabs it from him and thinks about using it. Cena begs off, and Cody can't bring himself to do it. Cena hits a low blow and lays Cody out with the belt. Ref gets back in the ring. Evil Cena pins Cody to become a 17-time world champion as the crowd cheers their ass off. Ross, what have you got?
I thought the finish was. They swore there. I thought the finish was woeful.
Right.
Woeful.
And why was that, Ross?
I didn't like Travis Scott's running.
Walking.
Walking. I didn't like
Yeah.
Travis Scott, who was noticeably smaller than the WWE world champion at the time, or the undisputed, whatever they called it. What's it called now? I forgot what it's
Well,
called.
sometimes they call it the undisputed WWE Championship, but in the build, Cody's been saying I'm the WWE champion.
Because it's easier to say.
He's noticeably smaller, but he wasn't threatened at all by Cody Rhodes at all. He was peacocking him, so he was. I didn't like that part about it. I didn't like the underwhelming nature of. Well, I'm a bit 50-50 with the nut shot and the belt shot being the actual finish of the match, because Cena does say he's here to ruin wrestling, and that was a really underwhelming finish to a WrestleMania main event. So it fits John's modus operandi. If you want to go down that way, me as a fan, I thought it was woeful. As I say, that's all I can talk about, because I really enjoyed John's performance in the match itself, because he did just stop anything fancy. It was just like sledgehammer. Well, off the top sledgehammer.
He did some double axe handles there.
Double axe handles. That's what I'm looking for.
Pretty.
He did a punch.
gnarly.
He did a kick. He was doing really basic stuff.
The long pauses between the 5 moves of doing and stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the change of Tron, just to say John Cena.
That was
black
cool.
and white. Just because he's no thrills now. He's no bollocks, John Cena. But it's just
That'd be a nice gimmick name for him. No bollocks.
yeah. It was pretty not predictable before Travis Scott got in, but it was what you would expect from this kind of match. That was just saying the same thing, but in 2 different ways. But you know what I'm trying to say.
I do know what you're trying to say. Yes.
But that finish is just so woeful. Where was The Rock? It's unforgivable that he wasn't there for this.
I thought
Right.
Travis Scott's entrance was just going to be like a precursor to The Rock's big entrance,
Yeah,
and he was
right.
behind him. But no,
Yeah. No, Trav, you're not the final boss.
Travis Scott felt like product placement. It was so weird.
Right.
It was like
My God, look, it's Clash of Clans. Here he is. He's going to hit him with the Viking special up, which you can get on Monday from $9.99. Oh, God, shut up.
I was fine with the match until Travis Scott's entrance. Really, I was like, oh, this is building quite nicely. It's building to something. Travis Scott. Well, Aiden pointed out, because he's a stickler for the rules, he was the one who was annoyed with the Bandito match restart and everything. And after the match, we were like, maybe Cody's family should tell the ref what happened and he'll restart the match. Because they were at ringside. But Aiden was like, the ref's right there. When he's holding him for Travis Scott to hit him, he's like, this is not a DQ. And you could say, like, yes, The Rock controls the show and it wouldn't have been a DQ or whatever, but they didn't even try. It felt lazy. Like, if the ref's been bumped before, just have him stay down for that bit. It was just little things like that annoyed me. And then the tone of it annoyed me a lot as well. And I tweeted about this. I was like, imagine Gorilla Monsoon being like, well, you can't, you don't have to like him, but you've got to respect Ted DiBiase for getting Andre to win the belt for him and give it. They should be acting like Cena's the worst bloke in the world. And they should be saying like, oh,
I think that's what Cole was doing.
No, after the match, he was going like, well, he's the record-breaking champ. I thought it was going to be like when Punk ran away with the belt, like he's taking our title away, because that was the build. Cena's like, I'm going to be the last champion. And they're going, well, he's won though, he's ruthless.
Yeah, it was technically like, well, I don't agree with him, and obviously a completely evil heel
Imagine
act
Jim Ross.
as the crowd cheered their ass off. But he is technically the greatest of all time now because he's beaten Ric Flair's record.
It's fine if the crowd cheered Austin when he turned heel at X7, but Jim Ross is still making it a moment, going like, damn it, Stone Cold.
I hope you die.
Yeah.
I hope you return decades later and run over a woman.
For some reason, even with this really angle finish of a match, they're trying to make it like a sports stunt. Well, he did. We got the better of him. And Cody, after the show, walks past an interview and goes, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm like, there should be panic.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, shut up, Cody.
They should be like, we need someone to take this belt back from Cena before he leaves forever. And I'm sure it will become that, but in a very slow, controlled WWE way with adverts.
The closest we got to what we're on about with Jim Ross there is Wade, because Wade, this was at the start of the match, not at the end, just saying this isn't the best John Cena. It's been thousands of days since he won a singles match. He's having to turn things into a dogfight because he's not the same guy as he used to be.
Right, that was asking people, when was the last time he won a singles match?
Yeah.
He lost to Austin Theory.
So that coupled with John Cena.
Cody's just lost to the bloke who lost to Austin Theory. Sorry.
The worst wrestler of all time.
Cody's just lost to the palest man alive. And that's the most detrimental thing I could say.
Yeah.
Let's forget about the neck or the gangly legs. Let's forget about them.
Yeah.
It's the pale skin.
The pale skin, the
I thought
baldness.
this missed the boat completely.
Me too.
Yeah, as a match, I didn't think too much of it because I feel like I've seen that many Cena matches. If I shut my eyes and guess what we were doing, we will be there. Even with the heel stuff at the start where he takes a punch, he's like, nope, I'm going to go outside and have a little think. Just so the crowd can build heat because he knows what he's doing. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, there we go. The match started and the crowd was so into it. I'm like, look, this match is basic as hell. You could make it in Duplo, but the crowd are going nuts for it. That's what's important. Work rate, schmirk rate, as they say. And then, yeah, the finish, as everyone said, oh boy, Travis Scott. Well, that means The Rock's going to... The Rock's not coming. That was the heel that was what we did at Elimination Chamber. What do you mean The Rock wasn't at WrestleMania? If The Rock was going to be at WrestleMania, why did you bloody have him do this? Was The Rock supposed to show up?
I get the feeling that The Rock turns up when he wants to, and then when he gets there, the writers are forced to write something for The Rock that The Rock likes. That's what I get the feeling of now.
Yeah, I seem to agree with because, the proof's in the pudding. But, like, for Mania, you couldn't show up?
Yeah.
You could miss Backlash in France, but you got miss Mania. So, all right. So, we deal with Travis Scott.
Yeah. And like the show
The
goes
Man
off,
Mountain.
the show goes off the air with John Cena celebrating with Travis Scott.
I think you could even have retconned it a bit by having like the Heyman and Rollins thing linked to The Rock because it would make sense because Rollins was speaking about best for business
Well, they
before
might do
WrestleMania.
that. They might do that tonight. You never know.
Yeah, plus I think having Heyman and Rollins alongside Travis Scott would have made it a lot more palatable.
Yeah, if Rollins had come out, you're right. Actually,
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
that would have been nice. And then plus the whole thing of like, look, I have to turn heel so I can win the world title again, so I can ruin wrestling. All right, fine. You did all that for a Travis Scott run-in.
I know.
You couldn't have brought something exciting with him. Austin had a quad bike for a crowd announcement. You could have brought with him a gun or something.
And that's the thing as well. Like, they've done a
Tommy Dreamer.
I saw after night.
the Sea Riches
there was some tweets after the night one main event. Tommy Dreamer, you must pay for your. But no, it's not. I don't want anyone to think that we're annoyed because Cena won. I do think.
That's not the point.
I do think that's better for the storyline. If the storyline was to then go as Cena has been building it in the thing, so I'm going to take the belt. But they're acting like they did when, as people point out to me on Twitter, they were like, they've acted like when Roman would cheat to win, and Cole be like, he's the tribal chief though, he's the greatest.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Well, this
You have
isn't
to give him up the
this
Ula
isn't
Fala.
what the NWA was like with Flair as the champion. They weren't like, well, he's bloody good though. They'd be like, you're a horrible guy.
Yeah.
Can't wait until someone beats you.
Yeah. And also another thing, the thing with Cody that I like is he's not, I'm the most face ever. It's like, no, your dad was Dusty Rhodes, and he was as NWA can get. You'll do the bunkhouse stampede, you do the bloody and the fighting. You nearly crippled Kevin Owens at the Rumble, for God's sake.
Aiden said that as well.
And
Like,
here-
you won't cheat against John
and Cena, don't hit me. Oh, okay then. That was so un-Cody.
It's like a Vince
and
baby
that
face.
took
Yeah.
that's what Cena would have done.
Yeah.
And that was like last year's Jay versus Jimmy match where Jimmy went, come on, Jay, let's be friends. Oh, okay. Like, you dumb person. I hate you now. That's what got me. Cody shouldn't be doing that. That's not his character.
But isn't that just...
So that's but obviously what you said.
Yeah.
Probably what they had to write. Oh, The Rock's not here? Okay, well, unless Travis Scott's going to do a
It
Canadian
also
destroyer.
makes, I guess, off John Cena's promo on SmackDown, I guess they're going to go, oh, that happened there and then that happened there, so that's why it happened. Him going like, you got your two choices, and he went the wrong way, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's any
It's
other
still- it's
way.
still bollocks.
It's like I was all right
Yeah.
with the low blow and the one belt shot. Okay, fine, whatever. That's he's a heel. Okay, I get it. But just
'cause he's
I can mix the two up. For Cody to go, oh no, I can't hit you, Cena.
So
after
soon-
you beat the hell out of me and left me for dead, Elimination Chamber.
so soon
That's
after
not
the-
him. It's not
so
him.
soon after the Owens feud as well.
Yeah,
It makes it nonsense.
I'll
Yeah, you're
kill
right.
Owens, but I can't kill you.
Yeah, mad. Yeah,
Oh,
Cody's never
really
been-
weird.
Cody's virtuous and he loves the fans and everything, but he's always had a bit of like grit though about him as well. Yeah. What?
One of the most disappointing WrestleMania main events.
Oh, yeah.
It's up there
It's
with
up there.
27 for me. Thematically feels quite like 27. Feels a bit like it though.
It's up there. It's not surpassing that because Jesus Christ.
I don't think it's as bad as 8 or 9.
In fact, I'd like to just say on behalf of Cultaholic Ventures Limited, that was a great main event, Triple H. You're doing a great job.
Oh, of course, yes.
And I love you. You're a great guy.
Yes. Should have been Henry. But yeah, not quite what I was expecting or wanting. But to disagree with what you said, where you're saying like, well, Cole was like, you have to give it up to him. Again, the crowd were cheering for Cena. Not quite a double turn. It's just because people go, it's Cena.
People
We're
want
gonna
the
boo
moment.
him.
People want the
Bizarro
moment.
land.
Yeah,
but
which
I
is what
don't-
the concern was going into this. Like, are they going to cheer Cena over Cody? I said this months ago. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but-
I mean, I'm saying like I'm a smart
I don't
person.
think that
Anybody
means
could
that
predict
the
that.
announce team should suddenly be fine with it.
It's just because he's finally beaten the record, which
Why?
means something to
Yeah,
some
but
people.
he did it. But where's the drama of wrestling? He did it by cheating. They should be like, you horrible man, you've sold your soul. That's what wrestling should be.
It's so they don't have to bring up Rick Sex Pest Flair.
I get it.
anymore.
I understand, and they want. But to me, this was geared way more at the wider market than it was wrestling fans, which is always the thing, isn't it?
And it's so weird because there was so much to enjoy on night 2, and it just kind of fell off a cliff.
The start of night 2 was class.
It was, I said earlier.
3 banger matches, then Hendry.
Yeah, the opposite happened on both nights. Main event propped up the undercard of night 1, then the undercard of night 2 propped up the main event.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Rock.
Stand and Deliver worth a watch as well.
So you could have showed up to the biggest show of the year.
Give me a honk honk.
Yeah.
Honk, honk.
Honk, honk. That was WrestleMania weekend.
Let's have a rummage in our mailbags.
Oh, God, we've nearly forgot about the producers.
Looking at a t-shirt here. Finally, The Rock has come back to Las Vegas.
But he didn't.
But you know who did come back? Reno 220.
the future and could have warned us about Travis Scott. He could have.
He knew what was going to happen.
Noah Anderson.
Of course, the man who injured John Cena and ended his long title reign back in the day. Good lad, Noah Anderson.
Levi.
And
Thank you.
So-
Levi LaRue.
goes in for the kill.
like Travis Scott did when he felled Cody Rhodes.
But he does it for the thrill, and like Travis Scott for more selfish reasons.
Jimmy Gillen.
Gillen, the best a man can get.
Yeah.
Love his magic hat with pen and jello.
Oh, so close.
Pen and Janella.
He wrestled Sabu. Tear of Grace.
Feel those tears on your grace. No one else can feel them for you. Only you can let them in. He likes cats. He likes cats. It's a solid cat.
Sawdust cat.
Lord Bushi.
Bushi, you're so fine.
You're so fine, you blew my mind.
Lord Bushi.
Hey.
Lord Bushi.
Kendrick Alltop.
Hey now, Kendrick Alltop on the Patreon. Yes, Kendrick.
Tade 2.
Na 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 na. Take 2.
Jake Rowan.
Keep rolling,
Rolling. Yeah, rolling,
Christ alive.
No, you'll be loving this. Jake,
Jake right here.
Yeah.
Jake.
Jake
Rowan's right here.
People in the Jake, put your hands in the
It's a work in progress.
whole song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The rest of them are foolproof. Brilliant work.
Yeah, the rest
Foolproof.
are cast iron.
Jake's is work in
Do you
progress.
enjoy that, Richard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mailbag time.
Yes.
Hi, Guy.
Huh?
Hi,
It says
guys.
it, just one. Hope you guys are well and can soon get some sleep. Writing this, having watched night 1 and the amazing Stand and Deliver, but not yet seeing night 2, the Triple Threat main event saved the night for me and was the perfect combination of great action and a predictable storyline that the majority of people wanted and predicted. You see Triple H, people predicting what will happen enhances things if the booking's good. That's what he says here. Although, major missed opportunity for Seth not using his flamethrower in the match. However, the mention of Mox got me thinking that the match really should have been a Shield triple threat. So, do you think we'll ever get to see the Shield triple threat match at Mania? Thanks for all you do. Here's to another year. Graham from Billingham. Thank you, Graham.
Cheers, Graham.
No.
I mean, if they did book it, Mox would almost certainly take the flamethrower bump. So there is that to consider.
I'm very torn because on one hand, everyone always comes back. Bret Hart came back, Bruno Sammartino came back, CM Punk came back. But Moxley's a real, does what he wants guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he cares that much about it. Well, he claims that he would wrestle, if he got paid the same, he'd wrestle in front of no one. He'd wrestle in a bingo hall. And I kind of believe him sometimes because he's very like his own man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know. I wouldn't rule it out ever, though.
Yeah, a few years ago I said, absolutely not. No way Mox would ever do this. Now, absolutely.
AEW have rewarded him for always being there for them when there's injuries and Punk's kicked off and stuff. They've rewarded him with
Taking his holidays away.
a really panned angle that's been drawn out.
Yeah, right.
Which, despite his best efforts, because his promos I've maintained have been really good,
Yeah.
everyone hates him now.
Yeah, I'm a Mox defender. Don't think it's all him to be blamed on. Yeah.
Can't wait for him
At
to become
Mania,
Buck's
though,
sidekick.
because we did get it one time, a Battleground, I believe was the name of the
It's
pay-per-view.
mad that they blew it on a B pay-per-view. They did the same with Roman Cena.
Yep.
That was Vince just trying to prove something, I think. I don't know what it was.
They said it was a WrestleMania quality pay-per-view, and those two matches weren't.
Weird.
I think there were very low expectations.
What's his relationship with Triple H like, historically?
When he was doing those, I'd hate WWE because of this, thing. I don't think Triple H came up very often, but
Yeah.
like Punk coming back when he said recently, like the issues between him and Triple H were just miscommunications. It's also lumped into this. It was Vince. Vince is the problem. This is the new WWE. So we have to take what things considered in the past and throw them out the window and go, yeah. But nowadays, for a Mania though, I mean, sure. I mean, at some point, Rollins, and even Mox, I guess, if he comes back, do need to wind down and just
What
be
has
a
Roman
part-time
said
thing.
recently?
Rain said it was next couple of years, didn't
Yeah, he's going to be off soon.
Yeah.
he? So I'm got. Well, he can always come back for one match, can't he?
Yeah, well, when you wrestle
he?
once every 3 months, I mean, I'm sure even he can do that.
I think the chances of it happening are grown by the week and month along with this Death Riders thing. Because there was that little report that came out saying that Mox just sort of went, just keep going, do what you want with it. Whoever took over the reins of the story, because it started
checked
off.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the idea of Heyman hooking up with Mox would be good.
Oh,
Just
yes.
be like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to go outside? No. I want to talk to you about ECW for 10 hours. He's like, no, please.
I'm going to say yes. There's a fair chance. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say so.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I'm writing this fresh off the back of a mere couple of hours sleep. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't know how you guys do this regularly. I stay up for 2 pay-per-views live a year, the Rumble and Mania. And that is enough.
Well, I then get the Monday off. That's usually what happens. But, well, not the, or the Tuesday after this, I guess.
Yeah. Given Tom is the guy closest in age to me, I need his secret to staying so alert that doesn't rhyme with Colombian arching chowder. Alas, as it is a trait for this podcast, I digress. So WrestleMania was an odd one, wasn't it? Made up of TV-level matches with a phenomenal main event night 1 and a set of absolute bangers finished with a wet fart of a main event on night 2, in my opinion anyway. With that in mind, is there an argument to go back to a one-night Mania? I can see value to the convention circuit, the wider market and financially for the WWE in having 2 nights, and even a below average, in my opinion, Mania like this feels less of a slog. But it sure would have been eliminated a lot of the guff and low value matches that made up most of night 1. I may have changed the narrative with the main event going to Punk as his wish. On the flip side, a lot of strong talent missed out on a Mania payday. Zayn, Andrade, Hayes, Gable, Nia Jax, Motor City Machine Guns, Street
Gable?
Profits, DIY, for example. Gable wasn't on the show. And this would mean more talent would lose out. Insert story of how you've been a great help and how I have followed you since a certain date. Oh, okay, thank you for trying there, pal. All the best. Get some rest and love to you all. Former Fulham and Arsenal Japanese legend Junichi Inamoto, a.k.a. Pachiti's favourite Twitch mod, Adam Jonesio. Oh, no, how you doing, pal? God, you are a real fan. Thank you, pal. So, one night or 2?
I'm going to disagree with Ross and I'm going to say 2. But I wish that they varied the cards a bit more. Have a Battle Royal on one of them. Have this, blah, 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 do a bit that. But I'm going to go 2. I'm going to go 2. It just doesn't need it doesn't need a 3-hour pre-show, that's all.
We had about 30 years, 31 years of a lovely length show.
I feel like I've just got a promo and Ross has gone, fine speech. But here we go. This is good for me.
No, we had those 30 to 31 years. Maybe, how long was 32? 32 wasn't that long, was it?
32 was still going.
Was it?
As of like last year.
35 is still good now.
35 is the
No,
one
30, I mean, 32
35 is the one that everyone said.
Way longer.
35... No, I thought 35 was the one where everyone went, because the crowd were dead by the big Becky Lynch main event.
35 was the one where people were abandoned at the stadium because it went so
Raining
long that
and
the
that.
trains had stopped.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not advocating for that, but we did go at least 31 years of nice length of WrestleMania one night, and no one said boo to a goose. It's obviously a non-starter of a discussion because they're making double the amount of money for 2 pay-per-views instead of 1, and everything else that comes with that.
SummerSlam's going to be 2, innit?
Yeah, SummerSlam's 2. The Rumble will be 2 soon, I imagine.
Yeah.
That'll all kick off. But
Yeah.
for a fan, I think we had that many years of just one nice night, and I think for a fan, we could go back to that, and we'd be grateful for it. I don't know what's happened to my voice, but
You're redoing your proper speech there. I appreciate it. This will be our Independence Day. No, I think it's fine being 2 just for the poo-housery of them coming out and going, well, day 1 had 63,000 and day 2 had 64,000. So combined, they had 120-something thousand. And then proclaim that as like the event for the Mania.
Oh, as if it was
And that's a new record.
as if it was 2 completely different sets of 60,000.
Yeah, except it's like, how dare you? Oh, wait, it's WWE. And the fact that people are more going, well, that's number 2 if you count that and that. It's like, well, so
Well,
not
if a
doing that
band
then.
sells out Wembley 3 nights in a row, do they count the
I'm sure the PR guy goes, absolutely,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
it only sits this amount, but we had 250,000.
I changed it to a band in my head because my original sentence was going to be, well, if Ed Sheeran sells it, I don't know why I went to Sheeran.
He could do it.
He did do it, yeah.
Bless him, little kid. Good evening, morning.
Hello.
Hello.
As always, love your work and appreciate all you do, especially during a busy Mania time. The quizzes that Ross and Jack have been doing are hilarious. Smiling, laughing emoji.
There's a playlist on the channel. Go check it out. It's called Wrestling Quizzes.
My question is, if you had the booking power for next year's Mania, what are your Night 1 and Night 2 main events? Keep up the excellent work from former Newcastle defender Titus Bramble. I know who he is.
Former Newcastle and Sunderland defender and Wigan.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Sunderland.
He played for Sunderland
Ipswich.
because he was a Steve Bruce guy. So when Steve Bruce got the Sunderland job, he was like, I know who I'll sign. Titus Bramble.
A.K. Michael from Aberdeen, Scotland.
Thank you, Michael.
Go Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
Fantastic. So, Mania next year. What have you got, Jack?
I've got... Oh, I don't know.
CM Punk. One that's in my mind is Fatu Reigns.
Oh, yes, great shout.
Yes.
Damn
Great
it. That's a really good one.
record. It's too soon for Braun or Ober, maybe. Oh, no, maybe not
I
Braun.
don't know if it's there, not Braun.
Maybe not Braun.
Yeah, Braun, whoever's champ. Just do a Jey Uso type. Well, it's time for me to take the belt off you.
One thing that I thought they were going to do, and it's not necessarily what I'd book, but I thought when they had their little scuffle on SmackDown, I thought Rhea Jade would be something they'll build to in the future.
Yeah, I think after another year more working on the job, that'd be fine. If not that, then just putting the two biggest faces at that point, Ripley, Tiff.
Ripley Tiff.
Ripley
Tiff.
It's like a Bob Mortimer description.
Ripley oh, it's a Ripley Tiff. I'll go with... I like Roman Jacob as well. That's a great shout.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
I'll
one.
go...
Solo in a pole or the shark cage or something.
Punk Cody if one of them's heel, if one of them's turned heel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because imagine how emotional those promos would be.
They haven't done it yet, have they? I know they've had promos together, but they haven't wrestled yet.
Yeah, I'll go Punk Cody for one.
Have they?
No, because they've been like, hey, hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll go Braun versus Ober versus Von Wagner versus Smashy Crashy Crash in night one and do that.
Smashy,
Yeah.
crash.
That's right.
Everyone's favourite wrestler. Smashy, smashy, crash, crash.
Smashy Crash.
All of
But
demolition.
it'll be like Logan versus Roman or something in like a 45-minute.
No. We've done on Sorry.
Oh yeah, they did already do that one.
Yeah, they
Did.
did.
And I know that because I watched that bloody post show and he's like, yeah, well, I'm so great and blah, blah, blah.
Ooh, I've got one for the night. One of my two.
Go
night
ahead.
thing. I'll go Gunter versus Braun. There we go. I was going to say
happy with
Gunter versus Ober, but I'll save that for the next year.
Ilya. Ooh, Ilya. Remember him?
I do remember.
He'll be fit again.
Oh, he's never not been fit. According to people online, it'd be Ludwig Kaiser versus Gunther.
Did you get reminded of that because,
When it gets
because
Europe.
of Germany there? Were you like, oh, Kaiser as well? There we go.
It's just because people have been like, oh, Ludwig Kaiser's going to be a big face next year.
Well, he's
and
gonna
you're
be
like,
future-
are you sure?
Future world champion.
Future world champion.
According to Fraser, yeah.
Okay, that's right. That's the
Oh,
source,
we'll see how it goes.
He's got a bright future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see great things.
Yeah.
I'm never doubting the ability. I think Kaiser's great. I'm just doubting Fraser's prediction. That's all. It was the way he said it. Oh, he'll be a future. Anyway.
Yeah, I can't wait for all of these to be completely incorrect, but we'll still feel happy if they do happen. Because of us getting at someone who listens to the podcast a year later going, Ross got it right.
I doubt it.
You're so clever.
The Rock will come back when we least expect him to. WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
Why would he be here WrestleMania season?
Why would he be? Ruiner of everything.
Oh.
We made it, lads.
That was a long
Yay!
Oh, there's no Reese's Pieces.
one. No.
Oh, well.
That was not in the
No.
middle of it. No.
No. Well, I'm just relieved.
No.
I'm just relieved that we did it before the main podcast on Thursday, because imagine.
Well, that's what everyone wants, don't they? But
No.
we are human beings at the end of the day.
Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, it's a really busy week, and I can only remember one thing from last year's Drunken podcast, and that was you said something that ended with "of," and I went, "That's her Russian name."
That's good.
It was something really out there, and the fact that no one else remembers it shows how important and funny it was. So.
That was a stupid podcast, that one.
Yeah, I was mixing drinks that day.
Silly.
Yeah.
Hey. I had whiskey and beer and everything.
Ooh, God.
We went-
Recipe for disaster. Jack, I don't know. Anything to plug or that's WrestleMania related? I mean, you just sat at home tugging one out.
Oh. No, I'll be doing a podcast special for my matches of the month, but I'll do like just a WrestleMania week.
Nice.
Matches of WrestleMania week.
So
And
Butterbean Suzuki.
hopefully, if I've got time as well, then I'll record one for wrestlers of WrestleMania week for the Patreon. But
Nice.
that might end up being a bit later out because it's just a lot to do.
Of course,
But,
you
there's
are
all
only
that.
one man.
And I misspoke there, but we're back. That's pretty much all I've got.
Fantastic, Jack. What about yourself, Ross?
WTF will be on the Patreon Thursday, Richard, maybe Friday. What is it?
We'll see. I'll get it done as quickly as possible.
Quickly as possible. So that'll be live
chop,
then.
chop.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah.
Maffew will be remembering how to walk. I think after this.
Learn to walk again.
Yeah, I'll be doing a Lex Luger just because of being bloody ill and disgusting and
That
horrible.
was a nice moment, actually. at
Yeah,
the
it was a
Hall of
lovely
Fame when he
moment.
stood up, yeah.
You know, it's a shame we're all asleep to watch it, but there we go. Them's the breaks. And just enjoying the love and support of a magnificent bunch of people here at Cultaholic, working their collective arses off like Santa's helpers, all ready and willing to prepare for us for this week's podcast. Not just the mania one, but the one happening on Friday as well, for what it will be another amazing week of wrestling.
Wow. There's going to be so much.
There is lots.
And it never stops.
Never ends.
Huh.
Never ends.
Yeah.
What are we saying when we point at the screen now?
What was your favourite advert of the entire weekend?
I don't know.
I
Do
skipped
you like lugs?
Skip them all.
Yeah.
Crowd barricade.
You don't be buying Doom or
As
Fatal
you-
Fury?
As you say, when Austin crashed into those crowd barricades, that they held up really well.
Wow.
It's probably them. Probably the crowd barricades.
Yeah.
I don't know, lads.
Oh, what did Austin yell about cats?
Solid ass car.
Solid ass cats. That's what we yell.
Yeah.
This has been Jack. This has been Ross. This has been Maffew. This has been the amazing Tubman. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
and
Richard.
we'll see you on Friday for even more wrestling. But until now, 1, 2, 3. Solid ass cats.
Do the Cody thing, but
And dogs.
What, lose?
yeah.
Great dogs.
Dogs are great too.
Are you implying Cody shot a dog?
No.
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 Oh, okay.